This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Well, so far we're off and running, and I don't think anybody's mic has failed, so we can't blame any of this debate tonight on that.
That's not true. I never said that.
There's also a chance, a very slim, though good chance.
Wrong.
We might make it through this entire show without needing to be fact-checked. We're not sure. Oh, all right, well, see, already there.
No.
Well, I am Clayton McKee, your humble moderator for this debate.
That makes you smart.
Or stupid. Who signed up for this shit?
Makes me smart.
I don't know. Yeah, makes everybody smart. No, makes you a burden on the middle class, sir, just so you know.
As it turns out.
Yes, crazy. Well, hi, everybody. It's me, Clayton McKee. That is Kat Carlson. Marnie's on her way. And Al Perkins is wearing a different colored
We
shirt.
do have video.
Look at that.
Look at the boobies.
Look at you.
A maroon, if you will.
I know. I don't usually wear red because of
Very
my
nice.
Welcome.
unfortunate
to
skin color.
It's quite all right. Well, here we are in the old studio. This is, I also found out that last week I called last week's show 277, and it was wrong. It was 276. This is 277.
Were you promptly corrected
nation
by a listener?
wept.
I know. They were all concerned. I'm sure they were.
A listener.
I just didn't know how to work my calendar last week. So now I'm back on board. We're back on
It's like
board.
they go up by one.
I was looking at the wrong day or week or month or year, perhaps. Who knows? I don't fucking know.
Why try to narrow it down?
Yes, it is. But anyway, here we are. It's the 27th of September where we are. It might be the 28th where you are. Or in the future, it could be any day, really.
Right.
If you're Joey Ferrucci, who fucking knows when you're listening?
I also want to say hello to the listeners of 2020. Glad you could join us.
That is really reaching out there. You are an optimistic girl.
The future.
Yeah, wow. So maybe in 4 more years, there's going to be a show somewhere they dig up. This show they dig up, and I wonder what they were doing in 2016, right before the election.
Right. Like historians
knows?
could be. We
Oh
could,
yeah, I'm
we
sure.
could be a
The
historian.
historians.
Historians will want to know.
Yeah, they're not going to give a flying flip about this. I can pretty much guarantee that.
I don't know.
someone-
What if the rest of the world burns down and all that's left is the show with Clayton McKee?
God bless. I'm
Wow.
sorry. That's really sad.
Right?
That's gonna make some
I
important
don't-
life choices.
I don't
That's
even-
like finding out there's just box wine and basic cable.
I don't,
and a fly in the vase.
oh, it's not on the vase. It's on the outside.
I know, but well,
Oh, now it
worry,
looks
I'm
like it for
taking a
you. I
picture.
see what you're doing. Well, this is not what I wanted.
Oh, he's on the inside.
He's on the outside.
Oh, he is.
He's-
Feels
there
very
it is.
outsidey.
There you went.
He looked very insidey to me. He looked upside down.
Wow. So Kat's excited this week about insects in studio.
What do they call those nerds that study those? I forget.
Nerds.
I would say etymologists, but don't they study words?
Yeah, I think etymology is words.
Another thing we should
Dear Google, what
say
do
on this show.
they call the nerds?
Oh, Drew, cut to you
who
two, sir.
study
Happy. Oh, Marnie's girl's there.
insects.
Well, we've now established that Marnie's girl and Marnie are not in the same place because Marnie's on her way. The other one's in the chat room. Good to know.
You were correct, sir. It's an entomologist.
Oh, look at you, Alfie.
Oh, so you work.
Well, are you on the delayed feed tonight? Terribly sorry. Wow.
I only know that from
Now, not to be confused with, now they're very similar.
Yeah.
There's entomology, which is bugs, and
etymology,
which is words.
Yes. It's a joke in
Some people may not know the difference.
It's a joke in Bullets Over Broadway as to why John Cusack
playing
slept
at
with the
Phoenix
other
Theater
woman.
in the spring.
Yes, and it due to she says something like he says during a mix-up in etymology, my pants were mysteriously off, or something like that, something along those lines.
That sounds clever.
It is.
You had to.
If you haven't seen Bullets Over Broadway,
I haven't.
The movie,
Well,
very funny.
I'm in.
2 of the best Oscar-nominated performances ever. Diane Wiest as Helen Sinclair, with Harvey Fierstein as her manager, who's
Lord.
just hysterical.
Yeah.
But she gives one of the best performances in any movie ever. And then right behind her, and it's a shame that they had to be in the same movie and nominated the same year, is, oh God, her and her sister are both actresses, but she plays Olive, Charmed. Oh God, I can picture her from her Her sister was in The Big Chill. Meg
Stand
Tilly, Jennifer Tilly.
Oh, sure.
Jennifer Tilly from Bound. And one of the...
How many people are in the water? Flipper? Like, I'm trying to get to you. What Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly.
Lassie, where are the people? What's wrong?
Who's in the well? Who's in the well?
Right. That's what it
If Timmy's
sounds.
standing next to you, who's in the well?
Some other bitch.
I've had a really large iced coffee, and I apologize in advance for how random these thoughts are going to go.
Okay. Well, I wish that I would have had coffee, but I forgot to pick it up earlier today.
Halfway through my early... Because I got up at 6 o'clock this morning to work all day.
Ooh.
Ew.
I know. So about 3 o'clock, I realized I'm a raging bitch.
Well.
So I ran to the coffee shop in
today?
the hospital. Thank Jesus.
That was two things.
Thanks. Just the one, dear?
At one point, I screamed out the words, "Fuck Jesus!" And I meant them as two separate thoughts. And together, they're
Fuck,
even more...
comma.
No, fuck, period. Jesus, period.
Oh.
Right. In separate, maybe even
I
on
see.
separate lines
Yeah,
in this.
they were two completely separate swearing events that somehow, when put together, become ridiculously offensive to such a larger group of people than either would have been on their own.
How'd that work out for you?
There's a lot of explaining to do later about how
Oh.
I was upset about this one thing, not about Jesus.
Because really, Jesus hasn't done anything in a long
A
time.
long time.
Can't be mad
There's
at
a
him.
big difference.
It's been about, I'm thinking 2016 years.
Something like that.
Somewhere in that
It was
area.
Potato, give or take.
it really was bizarre to yell out "fuck Jesus," and it was over nothing. It was kind of like, oh my god, it's 3 o'clock. Fuck Jesus! Like we're gonna go get some coffee because now I'm doing Methodist
I'm gonna go
swearing.
with drinking word right there.
Which one?
Fuck Jesus.
Oh.
I have a new digital ability to write sticky notes.
I like that we're
gonna-
going with a phrase
we're
this
gonna
week.
go
I
with
enjoy
fuck.
sometimes it's better to have a phrase.
I'm not ready to give up. Wrong.
Jesus.
Wrong.
Sure.
Oh, that's, you know what? That's a fun one too.
That's a fun one too.
Mm-hmm.
So that happened. So like it's gonna be random thoughts by Jack Handy.
Good times. Good times.
Good times.
Mom texted me. She can't. For some reason, Mom can't find the show. Don't know why. Just go to YouTube. We're
Same
live.
place.
It's
Yeah,
right in front of you.
same
Same,
thing.
same.
Marnie's here. I saw her walk in through the camera in the carport, so she's on her way in.
so many cameras in this
there
fucking
she
place.
is.
Although I don't have
Marnie
a-
Ryer.
I don't have a notification that we went live. Did we go live?
We have been live for several minutos. In fact, I'm watching it live right here, right now, on this screen. It's
You are
going
so
out of here,
multitasking.
going in here.
Oh, it does say live now, right there. Look at that.
Shut up.
So Kat Carlson, what'd you do this
Magical.
week?
Nothing.
Before we go too far down the rabbit hole.
Lots of work. I got a letter from the library because I forgot to return the DVD with the DVD case.
Whoops.
Oops.
Dear diary.
I'll fix
Yeah.
that tomorrow.
Oh, Tom.
They said they would accept an identical item or the money. I'm hoping they'll just accept the original item.
DVD, yeah. How about I just give you the thing that I didn't give you before?
Yeah, I opened the DVD player and went, oh, Sound of Music is still here.
Did you make it through the whole thing?
No.
Oh.
I actually haven't watched it. I just ripped it onto my server
Hey, Drew.
and haven't got that far yet.
That's good. Ripped it onto your server.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
A delight.
It's copyright infringement going everywhere.
What? It's for my own personal use. Nobody gets to my
Oh, hi,
server but
Don.
me.
I'm sure.
And hello, everyone in the chat room.
Everybody's there.
I can't wait, but you can feel free to just text me live during your watching of the second half of
As
the
I'm
Sound
falling
of Music.
asleep after the
Well, watch it like in two parts.
in sections, perhaps.
Yeah, when the intermission comes, maybe take your well-deserved nap.
That's what's nice about making a digital copy to watch at my leisure is that it will just save my place for me.
When you're singing your way away from the Nazis, you know you're not at a fast pace.
It's a true story.
Can I interrupt you just for a moment?
No.
I have a
Please
question.
do.
Wrong.
As some of you may well understand, that this is we record the show live. It's not maybe live when you're listening to it, but it probably sounds as though it is.
Listeners of 2020, this happened a long time ago.
Coinciding with our live feed, Facebook also has a live feed, and just now,
What?
your other half has posted a
Oh,
picture
Lord.
about new lights for this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I see a whole assortment of new lights. Now they look to be maybe black lights and orange lights. Is this a Halloween thing?
So before I left the house today, they very excitedly went out to the garage and brought in all of the decorating bins. Like there's 100 of them. These people are crazy for
Our
Halloween.
decorating
These-
holidays are
These
upon
people.
us.
I like how all of a
They're-
sudden they're not part of your family. These people.
They're not even my family. They're just these people because they're 3 days early. Listen, decorations go up on October 1st. End of discussion.
Oh, look at Mario.
Oh, there's a set date for this.
Yeah. Because I can't take spillover. I cannot deal with spillover. Like
Now, are your Labor Day decorations what we're spilling over into, or what September holidays being infringed upon?
freedom from Halloween at this point, really.
Oh,
Okay. Decoration free zone.
Not being a Halloween lover myself, I just feel generally oppressed by all of the Halloween
I want to
things
show the
everywhere.
viewers the picture that
Oh,
she
please
has
do.
posted. There are
That's delightful. There's quite
lights.
a few of them.
Look at the lights.
That's
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So to delay the unboxing of all of the shenanigans, I said, well, you know what? I feel like maybe we need some more light. I actually sent them to buy the lights.
You need some quiet time at
Maybe
home,
we
did
don't
you?
have enough.
No, so that they wouldn't have time to unpack all the boxes while I was gone tonight.
Oh.
Because it's not time.
Okay.
Settle down.
What if they go up and they're just not on yet, but they're ready?
Well, they can. I mean, they can put the lights up tonight. I don't care.
Okay. all right.
But like, there is a lot involved in this Halloween decoration. Like, there are outdoor decorations, and then the entire house has just a thin layer of Halloween vomit all over it. Like, there are.
Oh, wow.
It threw up Halloween everywhere.
Does this involve caramel corn candies?
There are special table runners and special
Oh, no.
knickknacks that go on the knickknack shelves. Like, there are special everything.
I have a follow-up question.
Please do.
Oh.
What holiday did those nasty little candy corns
That's
go with?
this one.
This one.
Halloween.
That shit.
I'll bring you some next week.
And they usually make it through the Thanksgiving season.
All right.
True.
I just need to know, like, I know when to turn on my dislike of Marshmallow Peeps. I know when that dark day comes.
I didn't realize that there was a time you shut it off.
They also
Everyone agrees that Marshmallow Peeps are just offensive, and
Right,
she deserves
sure.
all she's getting.
Everybody agrees.
Everyone agrees.
Everyone
many
agrees.
people say
Many great people have said that Marshmallow
tremendous
Peeps
people, the best.
are the devil's
So-
sugar.
So if they preset all this, get ready, and then the timer kicks them on Saturday night, you're good.
That would be
all
delightful.
right, I think.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't think they're gonna climb on the roof because the way that these hang up, you have to actually climb on the roof and kind
Oh.
of hang off to, like, actually hot glue them.
So
to the
join
bricks.
us
There's a
next
whole
week
thing.
when we understand how many trips they took to urgent care from Kat's house.
That might happen. That might happen. But yeah, that's to be the mission for Saturday, not today. So we did.
Now,
something like
Ryer,
that.
she also does the light shuffleboard in front of her house because 8 or 10 little carriage
7
lights,
of them.
7 of them, 7 carriage lights, and I've seen her do that every season. There's Valentine's Day is like pink and white, and then she does the Halloween and the
Yeah.
Christmas. Does
I
it
have
all?
the pink, red, and white for Valentine's Day. I've looked like it's been kind of terrifying because I kind of felt like a Republican for the last few months because I got real fucking lazy after 4th of July and kept thinking, oh, I'll go back up there and change them. Then I did not. So they're still there, red, white, and blue.
I have often used the phrase,
And
I'm
I
going to go
don't mind
outside today,
them.
and then did.
But I decided like it would
Almost.
be too hot. It would be too, you know, and I'm like, fuck that.
These are all the things
Fuck
that
that.
stop me right at the door, and they're like,
Yeah.
nope.
So I decided
Whatever it is,
October
they'll deliver
1st,
Is
I
the
can
day.
change to my Halloween,
Yeah.
but
Well,
for right now, I was
Okay.
like, oh.
luckily, I got
But I
the same
love
picture.
doing that.
Oh, I'm not surprised you did.
Luckily for
It's
me,
on her
there's
Facebook.
only
I
two.
got the same picture.
Yeah, but it was sent directly to
Oh,
me.
well, I don't have that
How
privilege.
personal.
You can have it if you want.
Let her know that
those
we've already
people
shown
are.
it. We've already shown it with the world.
But lucky for me, there's only 3 decorating schemes that happen. There's Halloween, there's Christmas, which
Oh no, there's
kind of on
Thanksgiving
board.
as well.
no, and then there's
the Ryer
there's
household.
none of those things.
Yeah.
Like there's plain, there's beige, Halloween,
Oh, God, no.
There's
Christmas,
beige.
and back to
No,
beige.
because you can use the black lights. You can use the black lights as purple.
No, thank you.
So there
enjoy
you have
that.
the orange, purple, and you can do the yellow then. And I do those for Halloween. And then
Right.
just the orange and yellow for Thanksgiving.
No.
How'd the purple get in there?
Because it's like a Halloween color. You can use the black lights and they come across
Oh,
as purple.
gotcha. Okay, all right.
Are those people aware of that problem?
I don't know.
That the black lights look purple? Because
They
I
really
think
do.
because I'd be like, what the fuck is going on at this house?
I think
Yeah.
they're supposed
Why
to
purple
be.
and orange? What
yeah.
holiday is that? What which is going to wear that color scheme?
But with yellow involved as well.
You really are twisted up
Hocus
tonight on
pocus.
coffee. Wow.
I told you, heart failure.
Wow.
Well,
I like it.
hasn't stopped yet. But yeah, that's all of the excitement in my world.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Light diversion is what you're doing.
We were gonna go to Tucson and see a play, and then got up and did not. Although newspaper updates.
Oh!
My goodness. So I woke up early Sunday morning thinking that we might still go see Cabaret in Tucson.
Okay.
Oh, you missed it.
We did miss it.
She was waiting for the paper guy.
Well, it
sounds like-
it didn't work out, and it was probably for the better. But anyway, so I was up plenty early, and I went out onto my front drive and thought, well, gosh, I can get a head start on my newspaper today. I'm very excited, and so I go shuffling out there in my slippers and socks, and
We got to get a live shot of that slipper and socks look.
it's actually barefoot. There's no slippers.
Okay.
I'm lying.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, so I go shuffling out my front walk, and I get down to the end of the driveway, and there's no newspaper.
God.
Oh no.
I know.
How will the day go on?
Oh, tragic. But it occurred to me. It occurred to me that it was before 11 a.m. when customer service closes. So I thought, well, let's go in and report a missing paper. Because that's what you do. So I shuffled myself back in, and I found the phone number, and I called them up, and it's just an automated thing, and you type in all your information on your phone or whatever. I hung up the phone, and I was like, well, all right. You know, I asked for, re-delivery today, and I thought, well, it'll show up sooner or later. 10 minutes. What?
Well, there you
Come
have it.
in.
It's like the Amazon of paper.
It was
Oh.
like the Amazon of newspapers.
Was it
Within 10 minutes of reporting my newspaper not there, bam, newspaper at my door.
They want you
I
to
know.
remain a newspaper subscriber, and I am going to
I'm
do
working
it.
very hard to
I
be a
am going to
newspaper
do it due
subscriber.
to
Are
his
you?
husband's plea for all of us to start reading our local papers.
Mr.
I saw
Maddow?
that last week.
Oh, good.
So,
Mr. Maddow.
Mr. Maddow, I did. I have agreed to get my Sunday paper back, and I'm going to read local news.
Very nice.
I
Very
don't.
nice.
I don't enjoy the Arizona Republic in any way, shape, or form, or their political slant, but it's local news, and I
Although-
should know more about my local.
In breaking news for the first
Agendas.
time in their history, just an hour ago, they did endorse Hillary Clinton.
Wow.
Arizona Republic endorsed.
Hokey smokes.
Holy!
We are going to
Amazing.
turn this
Same thing
motherfucker
for
blue.
First time.
Same thing for
First time in their
Houston.
history.
Houston,
Yeah.
and-
Houston was a big
and
deal.
Was it Houston and Dallas?
Oh,
I think you're right, Dallas. I think
yeah.
you're correct.
Second,
Was
the
too.
second
Sense.
major.
In Texas, which was even more surprising to me. Like Texas, Texas on board.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I am definitely subscribing to those
Hey,
motherfuckers
Harrison.
tomorrow. How many days do I have to get and have it be official? Can I just get the Sunday?
You can just get the Sunday, and you also get a Wednesday, it appears. I'm not sure. I would call, based on my experience of subscribing online, I would maybe call them and speak to them.
Yeah, because you seem to have a lot of issues.
Right.
Mama doesn't shuffle outside in her slippers more than twice a day.
Sometimes not at all.
I only had to go outside one time, make a phone call, and then answer the door. So,
It's almost like a pizza delivery, Al. Almost.
kind of.
Shuffle to the door, make
Kinda.
a phone call, answer a door.
Although,
And I'm
don't-
surprised they don't have some kind of warning sign for the delivery people that come to my house. Wait till you see what she's wearing. You know what I mean?
You could make one for your door. We could print one up.
I was in something that you should just throw away yesterday
Uh-huh.
as a top, and then the bottom was, I don't know what that was, maybe rags. I don't know how that was held together.
She's from a
But ordered the
Swiffer.
pizza anyways and answered the seriously. It was like past lives of Swiffers are being worn to the door. And I could tell that the delivery man was thinking, we're clearly not homeless.
Because I'm at your
I'm
house.
at your house.
Sir, is this your house?
Do the residents know that you walk around dressed like this?
Is the Perkins family on vacation?
Are the hauntees aware of the haunter? Because that ain't right, Ichabod.
Is your nurse okay, sir?
It was, and I walked in the house because as I signed for it, I felt like he was going to hand me a 20. I honestly did.
Just keep the change,
At
sir.
least-
Just keep it.
How about I pay you to get this out of my sight? And I went and looked in like the half of a full-length mirror that I have in my house. I was like, oh dear God.
Did you call to apologize to them?
I was like, there's probably a warning going around the city. Wes Campbell, don't do it.
See,
Wear blinders. Wear blinders. Don't look directly at it.
I tell stories and pretend like it looks like I'm wearing pajamas, but I'm literally like shorts and a t-shirt, no matter what. Like there are
Well,
different
that's
levels.
usually the level I aspire to.
But
is
it's
shorts
also
and a
different because
t-shirt.
they think you're a guy.
Sure.
They think that's
sure.
a woman.
Oh my God, I had a guy.
Not yesterday. They just thought
They
that was
knew
a
for
blob
sure.
of white coming at them.
Could have been a woman with chemo. They
was-
weren't sure.
It was the P-Town T-shirt that made it through the Mud Festival in Hawaii
Oh.
that has the mud because I was cleaning my tub, so I didn't want the splashback from like the stuff I was cleaning with, and I threw on I don't know like a t-shirt, but I wore it through my legs. I don't know what the fuck I was wearing on the bottom. But this t-shirt is looks like it's still covered in mud. It's been washed 15 times, and it just has like shit spray, like a monkey threw its feces at me for about an hour.
Wow. Sounds like a lovely
Potential
trip.
suitors, please write to us at info@QTalkAmerica.
Actually, if you get it, I'd like to get us a.
Like this to me is like almost in a suit and tie compared to what I was wearing yesterday. It was ugly.
What I'd really like you to start doing is daily ensembles. Can you just start taking a picture, a
Ensemble.
selfie, and then submit them?
Of what?
And we'll just start putting a reel together, and then we can go through your week based on your outfit. Here's
For
what
how long it's been since you were responsible for anything. Clearly, at day 1.5, all hope is lost.
was it almost like Grey Gardens? Where
Oh.
you're like, really?
That was the look I got. Like that guy was bending over to tie his like pants down so mice couldn't run up it. Like what is behind that fucking door? That's what felt comfortable walking out.
How did we get to here?
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Your pajamas, my life. Oh, I'm gonna order a newspaper.
oh, please
that's
do.
it. Yeah.
Well,
We're gonna spend the
because
whole show saying, "How did we get here?"
because as it begins,
I've been asking that for years.
since the Arizona Republic began publication in 1890, they say we have never endorsed a Democrat over a Republican for president. Never. This reflects
that's
a
insane.
deep philosophical appreciation for conservative ideals and Republican principles. This year is different. The 2016 Republican candidate is not conservative and he is not qualified. That's why, for the first time in our history, we support Clinton for president.
I
blah, blah, blah.
got to tweet my boyfriend. Stand by.
Please do.
I'm seriously. I'm
not-
I got to do it. I got to. Marnie, talk.
Dear Meadow,
What'd you do? What'd
hey,
you do
Mark,
last
what do you
week?
bet?
We went and we picked apples down in Wilcox.
Is that
We
a
went,
euphemism?
Nope.
Is that like a metaphor for something?
Wrong.
Nope.
Wrong.
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 I did not say that. It was. We were down in Wilcox. We got.
I never said that.
I never said that. And Aaron found cute little Annie's orchards. And
Oh.
we went down there and we picked a bunch of apples, and peaches are in season, so we picked a bunch of different.
Really? I thought we were past peach season.
Apparently, it is.
Because out at
September.
Schneppefa Farms, they do it in July.
At what?
Yeah, it's like July,
Schneppefa.
August, September.
I like to say all the consonants at one time.
They have in Lewiston, New York. They have a peach festival that like everybody wants to go to,
You
and I'm like, oh,
You
a
don't.
whole city smelling
Yeah.
like hot vomit? No,
Right,
no, thank
right,
you.
right.
That's what peach smells like to me.
Yeah,
Hot vomit.
Nice.
He's not a fan.
No,
So there was that. We had a really nice time. We
Then
drove.
don't drink this.
It's about 3 hours, little under 3 hours away from Phoenix, and it really was a lovely time. It was a lot of fun. So we went down and we just kind of road trip for the day. That was just on Saturday, and then in completely unrelated news.
Is any of this news
Something-
ever related, by
Well,
the way?
it's like the good news and then the difficult news.
Oh, no.
Aaron's school was part of the threats that went down yesterday. If you guys heard about those, it was not something that was really put out there.
I was saying, I missed it altogether, and I'm
there were
usually
about-
finger on the pulse
Yeah.
of.
There were about 10 schools that were threatened. Facebook. It started with, I believe, if I have the chronology correct, it started with like threatening with a knife and nobody paid attention, and then it went to threatening with a gun and no one paid attention, and then it went to threatening with a bomb and no one kind of paid attention. And so she just, I think, put a link in the chat room. Thanks, hon. And it was weird because she sent me a text about it. They didn't shut down, but they were down about 80% of their students.
Here it is, page 7 of today's paper.
There you go. And yesterday,
Threats
Above or
made-
below the fold.
Above the fold,
Oh,
above page
wow.
7.
yesterday,
Page
yesterday
7.
we were watching the news at about 5 o'clock, and they mentioned 3 schools. There were, I think, at least 10. But the schools were more in the West Valley.
And no one cares
initially.
about those.
Well, I don't know about that, but
Well, I'm speaking
I
for
didn't
Joe
at
Arpaio.
that point. Right, exactly. Joe Arpaio
If I may.
clearly didn't give a shit.
Speak for his honor.
Correct. But yes,
Very
please.
excited. We just directly tweeted Mr. Maddow.
Very
I
nice.
hope I get a response,
Very
or
nice.
I hope so, too.
or a mention on the show.
Oh,
tomorrow
a
night.
shout out.
Oh, I'd love a shout out. God, I'd love a
Very
shout out.
Good.
I'd be very
Pissy,
excited.
pissy. His pussy just puckered.
So it was, that was a new,
This is a
Definitely.
very
So
what did
alarming
yeah,
article.
yeah.
Did they
The kids paid attention. She said the school admin did not give it any attention because the threats weren't valid. She was scared. Kids were terrified. And she had a little bit of a meltdown last night, but
so the threats were all coming in via social media, yeah? Mm-hmm. Which is why the kids were freaking the
Right
fuck
on
out
it.
about it,
Well,
because it was
and-
right there in their media.
and at one point
Right, in their
there was a picture that was taken at of her hallway, like where she's teaching. And
Oh,
that's,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and that's where I think that's the kind of well, there's the edge. And
Yeah.
so it's really scary, and she had sent me a text about it, and she seemed pretty good with it. I thought, well, that's interesting, good.
But there's probably a delayed reaction,
Right.
which is what
And
she's saying in the
didn't-
chat room.
And
but
I didn't think about that. It was just, it was one of those things where I thought, well, okay, because I didn't hear anything.
Right.
Right? There wasn't anything.
You're thinking more good news is bad.
Right.
No news is good news.
Right. And that it was just this ignored thing. But apparently, Homeland Security was involved, and these kids.
But
There's
it's
a clown.
terrifying because you have
Remember,
to,
we were
right.
talking about the clown.
and you have to take all of it so
Every one of
seriously.
them, yeah.
Absolutely. And
Because you don't want to be the one that blew it off.
That's
and
so
then you're,
funny. My kid
Nope,
and I were
yeah.
just talking about the lockdown they went through last year.
Oh, that's right. I remember you talking
Oh.
about that. Yep. Wasn't that for a kidnapping thing, though?
It was a potential kidnapping. They
right.
never found a missing kid. They never found
That's
a
right.
complaint. They never found anything. A neighbor saw somebody roughly putting a kid into a car
Right.
at a time when kids are in school, and all of a sudden shit was locked down.
yeah.
Which I'm not upset about.
Oh.
I don't. I mean, as
Lock
an
it down,
outsider,
count 'em.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because
As an
it's all
outsider-
about the first 48 hours.
Sure.
So if there's a
That's
suspected problem, shut
Yep.
it down.
right? And it
Well, and
causes
that's
a
what we
whole
were
lot of
talking about today.
distress,
We were
but-
like, you know what? We're patient.
Right.
We picked you up. You were safe the whole time.
right, right.
And Ernie is in the chat room, and just at around 11, the Facebook page posted a current pic of
Yep.
my hallway with a serious threat. Oh, that's when you call 911 and
Right.
we bring them in.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And but they didn't
I'll even take
have
Dick
any.
Cheney.
That's
Like, who
interesting.
you
They
got?
didn't do
Bring 'em-
any
bring 'em in.
evacuations or any lockdowns.
Well, Cheney will
so-
have a gun. That's good. He can help us out.
Shoot, yeah,
Yeah,
shoot a
but
fri- he'll shoot his friend though.
Yeah. He's just aiming at people,
Wrong.
So
Wrong.
anyway, yeah, just really kind of a.
Yeah, that's
kinda
very scary. Very
and
scary.
and again, I certainly felt guilty, or I don't know, thoughtless because I just did not think it. I thought, well, good, like you said, no news is good news, and it's calm and it's okay. And there wasn't anything on the news
Right.
about her school, so I thought, oh, maybe, And then I realized that she had a little bit of a.
And,
of
but
a
a lot of
stress
times
break,
adrenaline,
yeah.
adrenaline hits, you get through the
bet.
moment, and it's not till later that you realize, like, what the
Oh,
fuck was that?
shit.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because
Yeah.
the adrenaline's going to carry your fight or flight's going to get you through
Right.
that minute. But
Well, and she said it was like 6 a.m., I think, 6 a.m. yesterday morning, because the other three, the Trevor Brown, Maryvale, and
Oh, yeah, they're-
something, that those came in Sunday night.
and
then it
Camelback,
was-
Apollo,
Right.
Glendale, Betty Fairfax, Cesar Chavez. Oh, and North. So Cesar Chavez.
Cesar Chavez was the other
I
one,
was
that's
going to
right.
say something that I'm not allowed to say out loud.
Guacamole?
Yes. Wrong.
Fuck Jesus.
Fuck Jesus.
Hey, Jenny, how are you?
That was enjoyable.
Well, and it just, in this day and age with the different things that we've discussed with guns and with just what are people
And ships
thinking?
and
Yeah.
No, but
ships.
what the fuck are people thinking? To just, I don't know. I'm going to make this threat today, and now we're going to blow this up, and now we're going to go to
I
the mall,
get
and now
it.
we're going to go here. And
I
now-
actually get it. People on so many levels and for so many reasons are just frustrated and angry. And we don't teach people how to do anything about that, and we don't empower people
Yeah.
No
to
coping kind of
well,
things?
not even like we don't empower our kids. Like we don't say to them, "Hey, you have the power to change these things. You have power over these things." So you've got, especially at a high school level, you've got a 17-year-old who feels hopeless and powerless and angry and frustrated And no matter how his family tries and no matter how his school tries, he's just feeling these things and has no way to lash out. And so then he looks on TV and, well, this is what other people do.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're seeing dingle shits shutting down the Mill Avenue Bridge, you know, and for good reason. But, you know, there's not a great leader in front of that movement either. So, you know what I mean? There's all of this anger and violence in the world. So, of course, our kids are going to act out that way when they're feeling this way.
But may I just?
Oh, yeah. No, you can't.
What? Por favor. The idea of giving
Wrong.
the people. I did not say that. The idea of.
Make America bueno again.
Just 1 second. Former Israeli President Shimon Peres has just died.
No,
Not if it matters anything relevant. I just wanted, it's breaking news.
Shimon.
Continue on, my
I
dear.
miss him already.
But why are we? Well, let me ask you this way: does anyone give a shit what the name of the person is who is going in with a gun or a knife or a bomb or whatever?
I don't.
No.
Does anyone give a shit what they look like?
Nope.
Should they get any kind of press?
No.
No.
And
we've-
a lot
and
of that
is
is
the
changing
reason.
a little bit
A
at a time.
little
Like
bit
it's
at a
it's
time.
your liberal news sources that are refusing to say their names.
And I've talked
And
about it, and I
it'll
know
spread.
no one
We've-
remembers
no,
Oprah
we've
Winfrey,
talked
but
about
when
this,
you
yeah.
say someone's name,
Yep.
you give them power.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're validating
And
them.
it's
Yeah.
why it's one of the reasons why Obama never says the name of who he's
Sure.
talking about, because
But
it
that's-
gives it power. If you
No.
make it nameless,
The Orlando bit, they weren't going to say his name and they didn't want to put his
didn't
picture
say-
out there and whatever. But why the people that are living, right? So the jackass that was just arrested in New Jersey. Okay.
Yeah.
The
but they stay away.
alleged jackass.
But they stay away from these names so much now, and they're
Right.
doing such a good job that it isn't stuck in my consciousness.
Right.
Like they may have said it a time or two and shown a picture,
Oh,
but
they
I have
kept
no.
doing it. They
I have-
kept doing
Right.
it.
I have
Timothy
no-
McVeigh is forever
You're
burned
right.
in
in my
your
mind.
head.
You're right.
Right.
You're right.
But other
Yeah.
people who have done equally horrendous things, you're like, wait, what?
What's the name?
I don't
Because
remember the name of
because
that
they're
guy.
getting noticeably better
Right.
at it. That we're
Right.
not
Right.
we're not remembering the
But
name.
everyone
anymore.
has a visceral like response to
Yeah.
Timothy McVeigh
Right.
because that
You're
was
right.
burned
Right.
into
Yeah.
our faces.
I just think that should be a thing. Like,
I
no
think it's
names,
becoming a thing.
Absolutely not acknowledging a fucking thing except for anyone who was hurt or killed by them, and
unless you're
going
looking
with
for
that.
them. If there's a
Correct.
hunt
Right, like
on
what
for
Jenny
them,
says, only if they're on the run.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh look,
Yes.
Jenny, get out of my
Absolutely.
head. God damn
Yes.
it! And she
I
probably said it 5
completely
minutes ago. We don't know how this time's up.
As current as the time as the chat room.
I love it. But anyway, so that I'm just glad that Ernie, my love, is okay.
Yes,
and
we all are.
That all the
Yeah.
kids are.
You're all of
and,
our
you
love.
know, all of it.
As soon as we learn your name, we'll love you more.
Yes.
But for right now, Ernie will do.
Correct.
Oh, and I'm sure
One day
above
at a time.
all,
people.
Yes,
So-
indeed.
above all,
One
I'm
day
sure
at a time.
she's happiest about the fact that no dogs were hurt.
No dogs were harmed
No
in
dogs
the
were
in the threatening of the schools. But yeah, and the going with the fucking clown bit. I mean, that's what the picture is, and
Yeah.
And she said because then they apparently sent in a Yahoo email address, and then when they shut that down, they went with like 001 on whatever email address and whatever.
Uh-huh.
And anyone who
Did they have
she
a
had
Wells
said-
Fargo bank account? Because then
Right,
they just
right,
hit all
right,
of the
yeah.
top stories at once.
Jeez.
They
Yeah.
said that
Woo!
she said that anyone who comes in even remotely with clown anything can be arrested as a terrorist kind of threat
Wow.
Oh my god!
because
I thought
they're
this
just
was-
perpetuating the
Right, the fear.
the fear, right? And who
Sure.
knows if that's the person, you know?
that is-
Yeah. so scary.
The clown industry is just devastated.
Well,
by this.
another
they really
generation.
are.
There was about
Good,
to be
yeah.
a generation
Good.
that wasn't afraid of clowns, but boy, did we put the
That
nail
shit
in that
went
coffin.
sailed.
Yeah.
Put the needle on the record.
This just happened. I'm surprised at this. So I tweeted directly to @Maddow, which you can all do, @Maddow, and tell her about our wonderful show and my undying love. So I thought I got a retweet. Nope, got a reply from some asshole that's letting you know that not only did Arizona Republic endorse Hillary, they're promoting the Hillary Clinton crime syndicate.
Oh.
So they attached some other link and like, wow.
Oh, you got attacked
Now
by
I,
some.
now I feel like I'm successful.
you are in the Twitter now.
Yeah, God damn it.
Welcome to the twats.
Where's Rosie O'Donnell? I'm going to tweet her too. See what
Oh,
happens.
you
She
should.
responds quite a bit. You should.
She's probably sitting on a bed with a computer, according to Trump.
Yeah.
What? What? I mean, according to
Oh.
Trump,
We got to dissect that
I
shit.
did not put her and that comment together until you just did it.
Totally.
Wow,
I was
there's
like,
that.
He's an ass.
Oh
God.
Oh God! So I had a long week. I'm gonna move the show along.
Yes,
if I have
please
to
do.
drag you out kicking and screaming.
I'm pretty sure you're the producer.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
you're
you.
just the
I
one
am the
that's the
Mary
most-
Tyler Moore, Mary Richards. I'm sorry. I am the Mary Richards.
You're the
of this-
most laced out on coffee. That's right.
Oh, yeah,
you win
that-
tonight for
yeah.
that.
Coffee.
Where does it come from? We don't know. Probably beans. Beans. Is beans right?
Beans works.
Beans. Final answer.
Fuck.
Dang. Yeah, right. Fuck, it's right.
It was an alarming amount of coffee.
I have a little left.
Shit.
No, we can't. I have a half a cup of a 32-ounce cup of iced coffee because you know what I did? I went home and I filled the cup again with more
For the
coffee
love of
and ice.
Christ, my mom's on prednisone right now, and she's talking slower
You are.
than he is.
You know what? You are
Shit.
at Gilmore Girl level. Like
Oh,
you're right
blah,
there,
blah.
my friend.
I know. Whenever my friend says no one talks that
Fuck.
fast, I'm like, you have never talked to me.
That's true.
But she has. Somehow she
I
doesn't
almost
believe
feel
it.
like I need to go get a Red Bull out of the fridge just to try to keep up with you.
Just put it against your skin.
Right. A
Transdermal
transdermal
patch
patch.
that shit.
What'd you do this week, Al?
Worked a lot. Slept maybe not as much as I should have last night, which
Drank
is why
a
we need
gallon
the
of
coffee
coffee.
because of my swearing fit that went on. And I actually got spoken to today about you swear a lot. And I was like, Jesus fuck. Which is actually how you should say that.
Fuck off.
It's less offensive than fuck
It is.
Jesus.
Then fuck
Yeah,
Jesus.
imagine
right.
being right next to him, Harrison.
Takes a minute.
I do, however, have a sticky on my thing right now.
So I do have to add something to your story, and I'm not trying to like top or anything or add a similar thing, but at the hospital this weekend, we had a situation go down, went bad, and then there was I'm gonna kill you all or murder you all, and it was sort of like.
From accounting.
Yes. It's actually from the coffee shop. I'm going to murder you fuckers.
James
Starting with
from-
Perkins.
James from accounting. Club.
Where's Val?
Yeah. That bitch can't get her time card right. So it was one of those things that really like focused your attention on the prize.
Sure.
Like we went from like, wow, that was a rough morning and kind of stressful to that just got said.
Yeah.
And hit the panic alarm. We need security up here now. And somebody
Was it in your restaurant then? Or
Oh, no, it was right at
just
me.
In the, I
Oh.
see.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was-
okay.
and
Was this before or after copious amounts of coffee?
I was at the end of the coffee.
Oh, okay.
So, and it was one of those things that really made us all like, well, only, I'm not sure if more than two of us heard it, but two of us heard it loud and clear, checked each other like, you
you hear
caught
that?
that? Like, and then we were like, alarm bells, like call somebody now. And it was a little bit, like, well, that's about to happen. And like, you're just like, well, all right, moving on. Like, however this goes down, it goes
I guess
down.
I'm in the best place.
Yeah.
I
And it
mean,
really was
fuck.
like, and the person I was working with, we both were like, well, we're here. That happened. And just moved on. And it was a little bit later that I was like, I really want to go to bed. Like, I really just want to sleep for a while.
Yeah.
And it's really strange. And I had never had
honey, I'm
someone.
sorry that
Yeah,
that
and
happened.
it was just funny that, or weird that it happened there too. But it was really one of those things where you just have nowhere to process it.
Sure.
You're just like, well, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen, but I got shit to do. So
Right. And when you tell me or Aaron's telling me, when you're not there,
yeah.
you're
And
like, oh, so it sounds like everything worked out well.
And that's how it went down. Everything worked out well. It was just
And you
a
don't think
moment
about that
of
kind of-
yeah. But I really did like. It wasn't until I got home and I'm like, I just really want to go to bed.
Sure.
And I, like, watched
Did that person get taken away to another floor?
There was
It's a very tall restaurant, ladies
there
and
was
gentlemen.
security
Yes.
and people were
Yes.
involved and
And
talks
locked
were had.
doors
Yeah.
and-
But
Is it? May I ask you a question and answer it if you wish? Being in the restaurant, you come in without stuff. What method in which was this person thinking he was going to pull
I
this
don't know.
off?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
just a
Yeah.
It was just a threat. It's
Yeah, and
okay.
it was
Okay.
just and it was one of those things where you're like looking right at it and you're like, well, you probably could.
No.
You know, we all make snap judgments. Everybody does.
And you bring them a bad salad one time and they're all pissed.
I'm
Well,
telling
it's
you.
like on Columbo, right?
I was gonna say like Chipotle.
Wow.
You give somebody E. coli
No, like,
3-4 times,
you
eventually
know.
it's gonna turn wrong.
Columbo?
Well, you don't know, right? Because they're
I enjoy
always,
the Columbo.
You know, but there were
I
always,
ask only in passing. I stole that from Columbo in like 1972, and I still use it.
So I just, I'm wondering, like what happened then?
Right.
You got a light.
That gum you were chewing.
That gum.
Where did you get that
But
gum?
I mean, there's always,
It's
I
my
threatened
favorite
to
when
kill
we do
him. Yes, I
accents.
threatened
It always
to kill
is a
him,
good
but
joke.
I
I
didn't
love
mean
accents.
it. It's all about that.
I ask only in passing.
Yeah.
He always says that. I'm like, God, that's good in a trench coat.
Yeah.
A little
that's
dirty.
Just frightening.
And he
So-
walks around, he's got the cigar, and he's like,
Yeah. Like he's just got to
Yeah.
think it through.
Yeah.
So I,
I do enjoy that because
I
mostly
love
because it's
Columbo.
horrible acting
Awful.
and the cars are fantastic for me.
he was my favorite. Actually.
No, I have to.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, MeTV is on a lot at the restaurant. It
Sure.
plays
Yeah.
on like 8 screens a day.
Yeah.
So I watch a lot more Columbo than maybe I should.
I do love Columbo.
Late
It's
at
on
night,
Netflix.
The Rockford
I gotta
Files.
say,
Yeah.
Peter,
Yeah.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
It's on Netflix. It just makes me so
McMillan and
happy.
Wife. I know he's
Oh.
the
McMillan and
McMillan and
Wife.
Wife is where I get off. I mean,
I
I am
gotta
just.
tell
Well,
ya.
you
It's
used to-
Rock Hudson and
Yeah.
Susan St. James. I don't know if
Yeah.
I'm gay or
Yeah.
straight or in love
Yeah.
with Nancy
Yeah.
Walker.
Nice.
My sexuality is going so
Walker's
many
in
different
there.
ways.
Nicely done.
I don't know if I want to be an old Jew, the hot gay
Yeah.
guy, or
Weird.
Yeah.
It's weird that you just said Nancy Walker. She
She's-
was in a dream of mine last night.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's
We need to get you
weird.
off spicy
All
foods.
right.
I hadn't eaten. I didn't eat
Healthy,
last
man.
night. I didn't eat last night.
We need
Oh,
to get
I
you
had
a
this little
sandwich.
flash of some kind of heart failure again.
Oh,
Oh, honey.
It's not good.
No, I met her at a street
Drink some
fair.
water.
I can believe it.
I met her at a
Great,
street.
continue.
I met her at a street fair in this dream. She walked up, and I had to explain to somebody that it wasn't Rosemarie; it was Nancy Walker.
The flower in the hair.
right? But it was them back when they were younger. It wasn't like modern day where Rosemarie's kind of like this now. She's got the wilted flower.
All right, make fun of the stroke. I'm going to allow it. Go ahead. It's been a heavy show so far. You can make fun of a stroke victim for 5-10
But
seconds.
but in the dream,
I'll
she
find
was
you.
also impressed that I realized it was Nancy Walker. Like, well, okay, I get kudos for that, I guess. It was weird.
So glad you're
Now,
all
was
right.
she McMillan's
Glad
mom or
you're
wife's
right.
mom? I don't remember.
Fuck, I don't know.
Oh, she was Macmillan's mom.
Okay.
Are we still talking about Columbo?
No, Macmillan
Yeah.
and wife.
All right.
Macmillan and wife.
There was
Totally
a Saturday night. It was called like the Saturday Night Mysteries, and it was because
Oh, yes.
Rock Hudson was too
Yeah,
big a star.
Rhoda's mom,
Peter
exactly.
Falk was too
Yep.
big of a star, so they would rotate out McMillan and wife. Oh, Dennis Weaver as
different. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
He was rode the horse.
yeah, he rode
He
the horse
was,
through Las Vegas or wherever he was. Not MacGyver, McGillicuddy, McJew,
McLeod.
Oh, McLeod.
McLeod, that's
McJew.
right.
I don't think that
McJew.
exists.
Jew.
I think that's a whole other.
I-
Wow.
That
It's
was
been a-
in, no.
you know
That's
what?
the one that was filmed
Mazel
in New
tov
York.
there.
Yeah.
Dreidel,
Yeah.
dreidel,
Time.
dreidel.
Yep.
So McLeod,
We're
McMillan, wife,
usually
and
not
Columbo.
especially offensive to the Jews.
Keep writing
but we
post-its
are.
there, girl. I see you over there doing that.
Uh,
McJew and wife.
my apologies to the Irish and the Jewish, because I feel like I caught you both on that one.
God.
Yeah, leave that alone.
One of the more unintentionals.
That's
How do I
funny.
get into
Rhoda's mom, Nancy Walker. Jenny's on it. She's on it. Heart to Heart was another enjoyable
Yes, I
one.
loved
enjoyed
Heart
that
to
one.
Heart.
And then
Yep.
there was
That was the first foreign car I ever saw.
oh, the Mercedes, little two-door twin Mercedes they
The
had.
yellow.
Yeah. Oh, there was yellow and a red.
I appreciated Freeway.
Freeway the dog.
The dog.
Max's
yeah.
dog. Yeah, the
Looks
dog.
just like my Rudy.
There's a chance we had no lives as
and
children.
then there was also.
I had
do you
the
remember?
TV guide
do you remember?
memorized.
Remember
I love
Maverick? Ben Maverick, who was the real rich guy who drove the Excalibur and he drove all through town solving mysteries.
Look, I gotta tell you.
Not
now.
Maverick.
It was Lee,
Maverick.
Lee Horse. I thought it was Maverick.
No, Maverick was James Garner.
Yeah.
No,
I don't
there
remember that.
was Maverick, but no,
You're right. There was something else.
there was something else. But it was Lee Horsley.
Nick Maverick.
Lee, Lee Horsley.
He and McLeod hung out.
Well, hang on. We're gonna Google this because we're gonna remember.
well, tell us about your week. It's more
live,
exciting.
It's live fact checking.
Tell
Who was
us
that?
about your week. It was way
Who
more
was-
exciting.
Who was the actor?
Lee Horsley.
I do the live fact checking
Oh,
every
I
week.
remember him.
Yeah, drove a white
yeah.
Excalibur
but that's
car.
Not, no, it's not.
I thought it was
yeah.
called Matt Houston.
Matt Houston.
Matt
Good call.
Houston.
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
I'm good.
like, you are good because
God, I'm good. I was wrong
Yeah.
for 20 minutes, but I'm good now. Okay.
I don't have the advantage of Sanka that you're on. Whatever.
So, could you imagine?
Oh God.
That's a day to pull the plug. If I've been reduced to
Reduced?
I've been
To
reduced to
freeze-dried.
dirty freeze-dried coffee.
Yeah, he was like Magnum before
Yes,
Magnum.
Lee Horsley. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a good-looking boy,
Yeah,
but I
he
love
is.
that car.
I'd probably put out for that.
The
Not gonna lie
Excalibur
to
was
you.
built on a Lincoln Town Car chassis.
Not feeling particularly picky right now.
He's cute right there.
Either way, good on you, honey.
Well,
I'm pretty
that's
sure
what
he'd have
he's
to
hoping
chase me.
for.
Sitting down would be hard. So what'd you do this weekend?
Speaking of not
Tell us
picky,
a
I went to
story.
San Francisco this weekend with a group
Ooh, segue.
with a group of people. There were 9 of us in the group, and it was fun. It was interesting. I forgot that 6 a.m. comes that early of a day because that's what how early I had to get up in the morning to go. But it was
Does
really
not
cute.
sound
It
like
was
vacation
it was
to me.
very interesting. The both flights, both ways were just fucking full, and my trip started. And you'll appreciate this because you were brought up in the first few minutes of sitting on the plane, Al. Val.
There you go.
Well, I sit down, and the way we had all booked our plane, we were all trying to sit close together. Well, there was one seat in between 2 of us on one side. Well, there's little white-haired gal sitting there, and we kind of are all bubbly, and we're all excited. We're going, yada yada. So we're all chip-jamming back and forth. And she goes, "Well, you guys are certainly a lively group." She goes, "Well, where are you going?" And I'm like, "Well, we're all going up to Cisco. There's a street fair. Blah 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 blah." I'm like, "We're gonna have a good time." And she goes, "Oh," she goes, "Well, I'm a good time too."
Oh.
I'm like, "Well, all right."
Wow.
I'm like, "Well, we're gonna have some good conversations, and things are gonna go, and everybody's getting seated on the plane." We were not pushed back from the fucking jetway. We hadn't rolled backwards 10 feet. And she's like, "Well, I've got a couple things to talk about too."
Oh, boy.
I'm like, "All right. Bring it on, Marge."
Yeah.
She reaches down into her little stowaway bag and she's like, she shows me a pamphlet. The pamphlet says, "No on 205." And she goes, "Well, let me explain to you why the no on 205. And I'm like, "I'm going to stop you right there." And I went from happy-go-lucky homo to listen, bitch.
Listen,
Listen,
bitch.
bitch. 205 is a yes.
So
Is a yes. Is a yes.
she's got this pamphlet and she starts spouting off pre-highlighted. She opens this trifold thing and she's got pre-highlighted information that she needs to share with people. So she gets like through 2 of them and I'm like, nope, we're done. We're done with this. Not going for it. I'm all for this. I said, I don't partake. I said, but I'm all for this. And I said, in fact, I have a friend, I said, who has seizures and it helps him. She goes, "Well, I'm not talking about medical marijuana." I said, "It's all the same goddamn thing."
Yeah.
Right.
And she's like, "Well, you're kind of aggressive." And I'm like, "I didn't pull out the pamphlet."
Yeah.
I was saying,
Right.
listen, bitch, you're the
Right,
one that
right.
pulled out
So,
the highlighted talking
She's
points.
like, "Well, you're kind of aggressive and mean about this." I'm like, "Look, I know how you people are. I'm on vacation."
"Ooh, you
I
people."
used a you people. I'm like, I know how you people are. We all just started on a vacation, and I'm not flying for 2 hours next to you preaching to me about all this. I said, so what we're going to do, I said, we're going to put the pamphlet away, and you and I are going to talk about flowers or rainbows or music or anything else for this 2 hours. We'll be fine.
She
I said,
might
but we're,
be anti-rainbow.
like, but we're not talking about that,
Yeah.
and we're not going to talk about anything political on this flight at all. 2 people applauded. The guy in front of me stood up, turned around, and looked at me, and he goes, "That was the way to shut her down." And then he sat down.
Yes.
She never talked again for the rest of the flight.
I believe it.
Good.
I believe it.
Good.
But
Shut
I
her
was
the
like,
fuck up.
I was so astounded. Like, I literally had just put my ass had touched the seat, and she was all, "I'm going to pull a pamphlet out and teach you people what not to do." And I just thought it was funny that she, "Well, no, it's not medical marijuana."
Do you happen to know, and it sounds from your story that you don't, was she employed? Was she employed by the
Did she
No
have
on
legal
205 people, or do you think she
representation?
was a volunteer?
That I don't know.
Is where I'm going.
But based on the fact, here are the interesting things about her that I was surprised with her being anti on this. She's from Seattle originally, and she travels back and forth between Phoenix and San Francisco all the time. So I'm like, if these are your primary residences, you live in Seattle and in Cisco.
Well, you might
Well, but-
learn from the culture around you that maybe drugs are not the way to go.
Sure.
Well,
When you have
Well,
when you have when,
or
Alcohol-
she just
al-
works
alcohol and
for
tobacco, you're
Hateful
bad.
People Lobbying Company, and they're based in
right, could've
Seattle.
been.
Scottsdale, maybe.
Yeah.
But she was a little frail thing, and I was like, I just really was surprised.
Hateful
So
People
anywho,
Incorporated is based in Scottsdale.
I'm going to make the slideshow brief only because I know we want to get through this, but I
We
did
don't.
bring
Oh,
some
go ahead.
pictures.
Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it
Yeah.
on.
So
Show
we
us your
don't get to-
slides.
so-
you don't get to go too many places.
No, I
so
don't. Well,
you just show
I
us.
can
I haven't
if
had
I
anybody
want.
Wow, I
invite
was
me
just
over to
gonna
look
say.
at their slides in a long time.
We stayed.
send your donations too.
You should put them on the wall. That's not how any of this works.
Put it on my wall. I unfriend you.
That's not
Any
how
of
this
this
works. It's just not how any of it.
So obviously, flying in, the weather was gorgeous. We all take a shuttle, get to the house, and we pull up to this charming 1928. That's where we stayed in the
I love
upper
it.
level. Originally, it would have been a 3-level, but excuse me, it was a 2-level with a garage underneath. There were gentlemen. They rent this whole house out. In the midsection where you see the yellow sign in the dead center, there were 5 other guys that had rented that area. Then we were all on the upper one. And it's
How many bathrooms for 9 people?
there were 2 bathrooms, and then there was one that had a stand-up shower that wasn't a bathroom with just a shower and a sink. So there basically was 3 bathrooms.
Oh, okay.
3, well,
Okay.
2
and a half.
2 full baths, bathroom. But it was a beautiful house. So cool to see the old architecture and how they've redone it to make it modern. With there's new power's been run, new plumbing's been run, all that stuff. But it's a cute little house. We were right there, right off 3 blocks up from Castro on 18th Street. So we're right down the street from Harvey's restaurant and right there in the district, which was cool. But the one thing I figured out how people were thinner back then, because when you walk up, so you see where the red car is right there. Okay, well this is the shot of the stairwell. You walk up to the first one. Well, when you open that door, guess what? You got
More.
another stairwell. So people climbed a lot of fucking stairs in all these houses. So that's how they were thinner. Because I am in pain still. I did a lot of walking. There's up and down and hills and stuff. And the cute little lady lied about the remember we talked last week about the walking tour that I was going to do, which was fascinating. We got a picture of her coming up. But remember when I said...
She said, "Do you know hills?"
Yeah.
Not even technically
We were
possible.
all like, not
right. Well,
yeah.
the website says she's routed the whole deal to take the gradual hills, because even she's like, I'm not walking that either. And she's like, I do 2 or 3 tours like this a day. I'm not doing that either.
Sure.
But anyway, so it was a cute little house. And then different things. We did the tour. This was you've probably seen this before, Al, I'm pretty sure. The original site of the quilt. We went to that It's now a restaurant, and they still have one of the original sections of the quilt hanging on the wall. Inside, it's on the tour.
Oh, so where is the name project actually held now?
It's in. Oh, of course, you're gonna ask me the restaurant name. I don't remember the name of the restaurant. She'll live fact check me on that. I'd forgotten, but it was so interesting.
This is in the Castro, not the Mission.
Right.
Correct?
This is in the Castro district. Right.
Jenny was just asking.
So, and then here's a shot of the Castro Street. Of course, this is right under the marquee of the
quilt
Castro
tours now,
Theater.
doesn't it?
The
Carry
what?
on.
It can't tour anymore. The whole thing.
No,
can't
the whole
tour.
thing can't tour. Not at all.
I'll tell you in a minute. Hang on.
But the so on the tour, like here's just a shot of Castro Street, looking north. We're standing right under the marquee of the Castro Theater. That was our coffee. I had coffee at Castro Coffee which was amazing coffee. You'd love it. I'm sure you've actually probably been there before. Did that, and part of our tour, and here's our little tour guide. Her name is Kathy. This is 575 Castro, and that address might mean something to some of you because that is the camera shop where Harvey Milk had the camera shop and lived above it. It's now the Human Rights Campaign store.
One of my favorite dates was I told you it took
Absolutely.
place in that place. We had so much fun. The music was playing. Everyone was talking. It's just it turns into a little mini community center. Whenever like
It
4
really-
people show up.
Beautiful, yeah.
It really
It
was,
does.
and it was so cool though. As we walked around, like you say, pictured right there, her name was Kathy. She was our tour guide, and as we walked through the whole city, it was so cool because she's been around there for almost 20 years, and she does these tours, and everybody knows her. It's like she's walking over to everybody's, "Hi, Kathy," waving, talking, and she would even say, "Well, that's so and so. He's been here, for 60 years. They lived there. He and his partner." And the fact that they all kind of know, it's so cool.
Yeah.
Because it's a small town.
Yeah.
And did you see the thing I told you about where some of his ashes supposedly are, like right in front of the
Yes,
HRC?
yeah. She showed us that
Yeah.
under the I guess is it bronze plate? Whatever the plate.
yeah, right.
It's there. So ashes are buried right in front of the store.
And you saw the
And that was
Moscone,
the camera shot,
tribute to
yeah.
Moscone at the bottom at where Mission and Castro meet.
Yes, we have.
The tribute to Mayor Moscone.
That I don't know if we saw that. That wasn't on.
and I'm
Is it
going to
by the-
say I don't know if
it
we've
does-
seen that.
we does-
the
it is
rail
a-
station or the bus station. There's right at the end. There's like some kind of a stop there, and they have a bust of him.
we didn't go. We don't think we.
I don't.
It's down,
honestly,
down
I
by
don't
Twin
remember.
Peaks.
No.
Tomb with a View.
Okay.
One of the best nicknames for a bar in history.
Well, Twin Peaks is
No.
right there on the corner of Castro and Market.
Market. That's what I meant. Market. Not Mission. Market.
Oh, well, we went to the.
So like right across the street, I think, is where that bust of Moscone is.
Oh, it is, and it's in the Harvey Milk, the plaza,
Yeah.
where we go down and we saw the pictures, and it's the subway entry right there.
There's
And
no
it's at the base of the flag that the city of San Francisco gave to the Castro district in '77, where they erected. It's huge, like the big flagpole that's there. And unfortunately, the picture that I took of it turned sideways, so I'm not going to show it in this little deal. But if you Google pictures of Castro, you can see the flag. It's a huge, big flag that the city designated to them. We also found out it's interesting when you walk and you take those tours. There's a park right across the street from the Harvey Milk Plaza, which I don't remember the name of it, but if you look at it, you don't really catch what it is, but it's the Triangle Park. It's got 17, I think I'm wrong. It may be 17 different triangle little statues that are there, and each one represents 1,000 people who were killed for being gay in the Holocaust, men that were killed for being gay in the Holocaust. And
Wait
then
for you to show up there one time. I've been there. I don't know how many times.
Well,
I
it was on our
didn't know
little. It was on our little tour.
That's fantastic.
Also, she showed us an original gay pride flag that had all 8 colors, as opposed to the 6 that we currently have, which was I didn't really even realize that was a deal.
We've
Pretty
talked about
cool.
that here.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
It was mentioned before. Yeah, but
So walked different things, saw different things. She told us
Pink
the story.
Triangle Park.
Yeah.
A triangular-shaped mini park located in the Castro district at the intersection of 17th Street and Market, directly above the Castro Street station of the Muni Metro.
Yeah, and again, if you were just driving by, you're like, oh, that's kind of cute, but you wouldn't really realize what it was. But then when you see it, you're like, oh, because the whole park is a triangle. It's in an intersection that's a triangle. Like all those things kind of come together. Like, oh, well, now I get it. Totally
Sure.
makes sense. Just the symbolism of certain things.
It does some of that. Wow.
And then she also showed us places in the Castro when they filmed the movie Milk. They filmed on location, which I didn't realize. I thought part of it was just made up or they'd superimposed stuff. But no, they came into the Castro, changed things to make it look like it was the 70s, and then
Retrofit a lot of it, yeah.
did a lot of it, which I thought was pretty darn cool. And of course, I had posted on the Facebooks that I walked out to the big bridge across the bay. Well, I mean, I Ubered there. Then I walked to the bridge from the visitor center.
And you can walk across, which I did not know.
Oh, tons.
I didn't either when you
Tons.
posted that picture. I
They
didn't
what
realize
they
that.
basically what they've done is on one side heading east is it's pretty much all foot traffic. Occasionally there'll be a bike, but the other side is all bike traffic. They don't let you walk on the other side. You have to you ride a bike, and it's solid people walking and riding the whole time.
Escondido, Harrison, help me out. What's on the other side of that bridge?
So here he is, which again, you can all Google these things. There's obviously the look back at the city from the bridge, and then the shot of Alcatraz that's there.
Gorgeous.
One of the most beautiful cities in the world.
It
And as
really
I'm
is.
standing, I walked clear out to the first tower, and you're just looking up, and it's crazy. And then you look at it and you think of the technology that they had back in the day, and there she still stands.
Yep.
1936, they started building it. I bought 2 magnets for my fridge. They opened it in 37. So there's one of the little magnets I got, and then this one is the other one of them building it.
Meow Khaled's magnet.
She was a record breaker when they finished it, right?
Sausalito is
Wasn't
beautiful.
the Golden Gate the longest suspension bridge
Ever
date?
if I'm not mistaken, that's correct.
I think there are longer ones now.
In
but at the
the-
time that it opened, it was the longest.
Sausalito's on the other side.
Yes.
Sausalito, Summer Nights, the song that nobody remembers but me.
Beautiful.
They have in the visitors center.
Whatever you said before sounded right.
Yes.
And this is maybe boring to those of you who maybe have already been there. In the visitor center, they actually have a mock-up. I forget what scale it is. It's obviously much, much smaller. Of the upright towers that they did for testing purposes, and it's there, so you can actually see what they used to. There's a rivet gun that drove the final rivet into the bridge. Hard hats, paintbrushes that they actually used, and all that. It's just really cool to see it. It's really cool. And then one guy walks up next to me and he goes, "Well, the whole thing's just primer now. It ain't paint." I'm like, huh? And he goes, "Well, I painted for 40 years. I should know." I'm like, what? Also, Billy
He's
Bob.
married to the guy or the gal
Wrong.
on the plane.
Wrong.
I love.
He's like,
tour-
well, I
I
think
love
I
being
sh-
a tourist. I
Yeah.
love other
Yeah,
tourists.
I
Yeah.
do too.
I love it.
Yeah.
It
You
was-
just gotta.
And Nan, we
That's
got a lot of
fantastic.
places to visit. Come get
But
to the
San,
U.S.
but San Francisco is it is the West Coast jewel as far as I'm concerned.
It was
Like,
beautiful.
The jewel in
It
the crown
is.
of the West
I love the
Coast.
breeze. I love the ability to walk anywhere. And the other thing that's nuts is that we don't have here. Yeah,
Hills.
you could go to Circle. No. Yeah, if you need a snack, sure. You
And
can go,
seals.
You can go to Circle K and grab something, or QT and grab something. Oh, if you want fresh pizza, just walk 2 fucking blocks.
Yeah.
They're 24/7, and there's people there
Again, 'cause it's a real
all
city.
the time.
It's like an East Coast city. They
mean, that
realize, wow, the clock goes all the way around
right.
twice.
Yeah.
And
Two separate
sometimes
times.
people are up when it's light, and sometimes
Because they're-
people are around when it's
Right,
not
right,
light.
right.
It's amazing.
I was completely fascinated. So I learned about one of the electric trolleys. I never made it to cable cars, so I figured that'll be another trip.
Well, they
all
went
up
right
too.
by you.
No, they didn't. Not the cable cars. I wasn't in any area where cable cars were.
Oh,
right,
it was
right,
all
right.
electric.
That
Don't they go
makes
down
sense.
Market?
No, that's all.
They don't.
It's all electric.
Oh.
So I never made it to downtown
Yep.
San Francisco where the cable cars are. Which
Like,
which there's a free museum which I'm going to go to at some point.
Pier 30.
Nine.
Help me? 9.
Sure.
So
But you weren't down there.
no,
right?
I was not down.
Yeah.
Never went down there. But I saw there's an area right close to Market where the electric trolley pulls up and he stops before he actually pulls up to the actual stop where he picks up people. And I was walking and one of the conductors was there and I said, "Do you mind?" I said, "I just have some questions." And he goes, "Milan, Italy." I'm like, okay, I want to ask about the Milan, Italy.
Is that where you're from? Sir?
No, that's where all of the electric carts were built in Milan, Italy. And he goes, "Come aboard." He goes, "Look at all the woodwork in here, and it's just stunning."
Oh, he
The
had your
woodwork-
number.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
I'm
to-
sure it wasn't the first time somebody asked a question. So he
sure
went
he
through it
loves
all.
that shit,
They're
too.
all.
Oh,
and you
absolutely.
could tell that he did. Yeah, 1928 were all the electric carts. They're all the same exact thing. They've just refurbished, repainted, and redone. But it was just so cool to look at it and see it. And then the electric buses just blew me away. I didn't understand how all that worked. And those webs of wires.
Yes.
Just, I would,
Oh, yeah.
I would just sit there and watch. And then I had to get online and Google and figure out all this shit
How
works.
does this work? Right.
It was very cool.
We could have got you a joint to smoke while you were looking at those
right,
wires. You'd had a great time. That would have been a day, sir.
There was a
It's a hell of a day in the wires, sir.
there was a lot of contact going on because with that because they was smoked everywhere.
Yeah, and they're about to vote on legal recreational marijuana this November as well.
I think there's a lot of them around the country.
yeah,
They
is
have
there
a lot
four?
of commercials on for that right now that are just showing how all you people are just druggies. I
Yeah.
mean, like big time. I've seen a couple of these commercials and
there-
I think, son of a bitch.
Is there four?
How do you function?
Is there 4 states?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Um,
I'm gonna back up to my memorial quilt.
Yep,
Fact checking. It is still touring.
But not the whole thing.
But not the whole
But
thing,
not the whole
right?
thing.
Yep.
No. In pieces. They're also digitizing it so that it will be available
Oh.
to
Oh.
search and view in its entirety.
Okay.
That's
They're
cool.
taking digital and 35 millimeter photographs of each panel and cataloging it. And local interested listeners that want to see the quilt on display, it's going to be in Tucson, October 9th.
Oh, nice. Okay.
At the Pima County Court Administration Building, and that looks to be the only time it's close to here this year. But it's all over the place. It's got dates all year long. Oh no,
It
it's
really-
gonna it's
it's
gonna
fantastic.
be in it's gonna be in Phoenix the first week of December.
oh,
there
I
it
would
is.
love to go.
And where?
I would love
It'll
to go.
be at Southwest Center for HIV and AIDS.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
that's
okay,
where that's
makes
where they
sense.
had it last time.
Yeah,
Oh,
you,
I
I mean,
didn't realize
and
That's
you
where I
can
first saw it.
through their website. You can find the schedule. You can apply to host the quilt. You can, there's a link here that says make a panel.
Sure.
Lots
It
of
really
resources.
is one of the most amazing things
Oh, and
to see or be.
The
I mean, just
other
And
Have
I've
it-
never
you
seen
have-
it.
you've
I've
never
never seen
seen
it.
it?
No.
Oh.
if you get the chance. I mean, like I think it would be cool for all of us to go because it
Well, it was
really
a-
is
Sure.
just.
It was interesting. The section that they had here
And to
last
take
time
the
it was here
kids.
was several I guess it was Arizona panels, and there were a lot of names from former performers that had been there that I'd heard in stories. So it was interesting to see those
Now,
names.
how long ago was
oh,
that?
Wow, Jenny.
I
She's
did.
on
Well,
the
it was
panels.
on.
That's nice.
It was the
amazing.
night of the first. It was 2 years ago because it was the night
Oh,
of the
okay,
first
okay.
candlelight vigil that I went to do when they did the candlelight vigil for AIDS Day, and we walked
Right,
it.
Okay.
right, right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That was
Yeah.
that night because we walked from the LGBT center through the city, and then we went to the park where the proposed site is for the building of the memorial that they're going to do, and then we walked to the other
'Cause
building.
I can't remember if they did it at Indian Steel Park or if they did it. I can't remember where it was, but in the 90s it was here, and it was
in the
one of the
downtown. It was at
Deck Park.
Margaret T. Ants,
No.
Patriots
Patriots
Park,
Square?
inside at the
Civic Center.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. I knew I went. I just
All I could do is just kind of keep.
I was just gonna
picturing
keep
it in
Places
my-
in Phoenix.
Thank you. I was just picturing it in
Things
my
in
head,
Phoenix.
like, come on, get there, get there.
act it out for me.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I do want to add. Right when we were about to leave, we went back to the HRC store, and that's where I bought my
That's
HRC
nice.
hat.
Hillary
Yep,
Rodham
yep.
Clinton.
There you have it.
The coupon when you or that yes.
It took me a while to see the little equal sign. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, is that a Hillary
the
hat?
notorious
And where did you
HRC.
get it?
You could just say that it is. She wants
Sure,
equality too.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure the HRC will have something to say.
So
about
No, they're
Right.
good with it right now.
Yeah,
they
they
are.
are
so
right now.
the receipt they give you is like $1 off your admission to the one of two in the country. There is a LGBT museum in just up the street, like literally 100 feet from Harvey's restaurant on the corner. And I'm going to assume the other one is probably in New York City, would just be my guess. But we went to walk.
fair.
We walked through it, and it gives you there's some artwork. There's a lot of different stories. It tells the history in that city of different things with regards to when things started and how the laws used to be in the city and yada yada yada. But the coolest thing, two of the coolest things in the whole museum was you stand in front of a display and you can push a button and it sounds, and you listen to, remember in the movie when Harvey is recording in a little cassette deck his last will and testament?
Yeah.
You can
It's
listen
the
to it.
actual recording
Oh, wow.
of Harvey
Okay.
doing that. One of three, I guess. Then the picture changes on what you're on the wall, and behind it in a case is the suit that he was shot in.
Oh wow.
Oh,
And it's
interesting.
It's interesting because there's the blood on the
Yep.
the wrist. I forget which arm because he was trying to shield, the blood, and then the collar's got the blood on
they
it.
have a box of Twinkies anywhere nearby?
No, there was none.
Because that's fucking irritating.
But the bullhorn is there.
Oh,
The
really?
actual bullhorn that
Okay.
he stood up and said everything on is there, and I thought that was cool. You know what I don't know, and I could probably find this out. I wonder if they used the
Huge
same
or huge?
bullhorn in the movie. I never thought about that.
I don't know.
That
If
would
Sean
have
Penn
been cool.
used that, yeah.
Well, if you go to IMDb and their trivia about any movie,
I
you'll
could have
find
find that out. I just need to look at
And
it.
did you go into, and if you said this, I apologize, but did you go into the, yep, that's all. Where Harvey Milk was shot.
Oh, the city.
City
Hall.
Oh
Thank
no,
you.
no,
Jesus
I never.
Christ, I'm
no,
back to
I,
menop-
You never went downtown.
menopause.
I never went downtown.
Places in San
I-
Francisco.
Yeah,
That is downtown, that's right.
yeah. I didn't
That's
make it that
right.
far. No.
I get I don't know if you noticed, but I mean, like being in there, the minute you leave if you didn't leave the Castro at all.
Oh, I did.
There,
Well-
it just gets kind of turned around. So I can't tell you like how far away that is from the Castro area. I guess I thought it was fairly close, but apparently not. But that's where the bust of Harvey Milk is, and they have some really fascinating stuff within City Hall.
It was,
That's-
no, I didn't make it that far. That will be yet for another trip at some
Yeah.
point. But it was what we
Fantastic.
did see. What I was able to see was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I just want to throw
And the-
one more thing, and I'm so glad you had fun. I really
it was fun,
am.
and
That's
the guys
fantastic.
we all had
And you got
we
to
had
see
a great
Daniel
time.
Ray. Got to
and
see Bootsy.
well, and I'd forgotten. Apparently, at one point, Daniel had told me that he was going to be there, and I
he said
forgot.
that.
I think he was
Yeah.
sitting there when he told you.
Who knows?
He was in the chat room
Things
last
and
week,
words.
For sure.
No, but it was
Yeah.
fun.
He
It
never
was-
said that.
Yep.
It was a good
I
time.
never said that.
Never
Wrong,
said that.
Wrong.
I never.
Wrong.
Where'd you get that?
Wrong.
Call Sean Hannity.
Somebody call Sean Hannity. By the way,
Mainstream media
something-
won't.
Something. No, they will not. Something
I was
came
so
out-
glad to have that spot on my bingo card covered.
so
I was like,
awesome.
oh.
Something came in the mail. It
Bills?
would be my
Ah,
my
the
the Constitution.
Oh, it finally came.
Hooray.
Very
and,
good.
and it took a whole lot longer.
Is that your
than I
free
anticipated.
ACLU one?
Yeah,
Right on.
Yep, where and they had sold out, like even
Oh,
though it
I'm
was
sure.
free, but I mean
They had freed out.
they had freed out, and then
Freedom!
even then people I'm sure went online to get
Yeah.
the free one and saw okay, it's $7.95 or whatever it was. So then they sold out of them. So
Yeah.
they were trying to, but I just thought that was very fun
That's very
to
cool.
be able to get that. And if
Do you
I
carry it
haven't-
with you everywhere?
I do. I have it right in my satchel, and I carry it with me now.
Do you whip it out and smack
If
people with it
anybody
sometimes?
brings something
Do
up,
you
don't
whip
think
it
I
out?
won't. Well,
Do you whip it
like
out?
awkward.
I really just kind of want to keep it in like a coat pocket.
Right,
and then
exactly.
and then when somebody says something particularly asinine and
I want
to
to go in actually rather slowly.
not even
just-
show it to him, just whip
Yeah.
it out.
How sure are you, motherfucker?
Test me. Test me.
I would like to have you borrow a
It is
my
not
copy.
smack in the forehead.
Actually, I want to doctor one up and get a picture of Al. It says the Constitution of Cher, and then you can just hold it up. And
I'm
be
ready
like,
to answer questions.
I'm pretty sure her constitution is entirely wax and string at this point, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's her whole constitution.
Held together by
Different
Constitution
constitution.
chain and a little bit of a Epstein Barr virus.
You know, for
Right.
something that was written so long ago, it is typed out so well.
Yeah.
It really is. It looks
They were
good.
good typers.
They were good.
I mean,
typers.
all the best people
darn
were
typers.
They were the
All of
best
them.
darn typers.
All the best people.
That's very cool.
Oh, I enjoyed. That is cool, Marn. That is very neat.
Yeah, I
Your
was
pocket
excited about that.
Constitution?
Yes.
All right.
I was excited about that.
Oh, you should be. There's no reason not to be.
I
for
have not
God's
read the whole
sakes.
thing yet, so give it back before you decide that
Oh,
that's going to be
spoiler
a
alert.
thoughtful fucking vulgarity.
It gets
'cause
better
I'm
at the
gonna be
end.
an idiot. I can
Except
wait.
for the no ERA.
Oh, there's that.
Anyway,
Except
very
for that
excited.
missing amendment, like 35 or whatever number it is. that we're still waiting on.
Yeah, well.
Fucking Mississippi.
We'll get on them, bastards. I just did something I didn't mean to do.
This and that.
I hate when that happened. Nope, that's not what I want. Oh,
I don't see anything in the IMDb trivia about the
bullhorn?
I don't see anything. They did film in the real apartment.
I will.
Yeah.
I will text Kathy. That's what I'll just do. I'll send her an email and ask her. She'll probably know.
Kathy.
All right, yeah, just send her a message.
She was very funny. It was funny. She was funny. That's all there was to it.
Good. I'm so glad you had fun.
Yes.
Are
good
we on to
times.
another segment, or what are we doing?
We're gonna be.
How does Mary Richards get this train moving? Murray.
How about you just calm?
I think just read some books.
How about you just calm down and we'll get there like this? Here we
Settle
go.
down.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
What's this? It's a 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Our drinking word is wrong.
Wrong.
Snips, not. However you want to get there.
Okay.
Or you can tell a rambling story about your 10-year-old son's prowess at computers. Maybe perhaps mention a 400-pound person that no one's ever heard of.
Word salad, word salad, word salad.
So unfortunately, last night, because of my flight arrival, I wasn't able to sit down and pop the corn and get ready to watch it. Though I did see everybody blowing up on Facebooks with one-liners and comments and here or there, you got it. So I purposely didn't jump in the middle because I'm like, no, I want to see this train wreck from the beginning in. But I did sit and watch for 3.5 hours, Rachel and Brian and all of them dissect it and just be like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I enjoyed the shit out of that.
May I just say
Yes,
that
please do.
his husband, Mr. Maddow, and the Brian Williams, I can't say it enough this holiday season. They are just a handsome
Duet.
couple.
Yes.
And he's so fucking witty.
He is
like, I
very-
am so glad he got fired and put on, like, the B team. Oh, my God. Every commercial break is a joke that lands and lands
He's
hard.
good.
He is good.
Yeah.
I mean, he talks about, Nicole Wallace was talking to one of my
That
favorite
was
people.
funny.
Nicole Wallace was
I love
talking
Nicole
to
Wallace.
her Republican counterpart who
Doesn't
didn't
look the same at
who
all.
didn't feel like
Really?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I saw this.
Sorry about
Go
that.
ahead.
didn't who doesn't look the same at all?
Nicole Wallace. Wrong.
What do you mean she doesn't look the same at all?
She just, from the way she was on The View.
well, because
and
they
how she
glammed her
looked-
up pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't.
No,
I
that
don't
be-
think that.
I was, at first when I saw her on, I didn't see her. Like, I didn't recognize
yeah,
that
she
was
was in
her.
high def. Yeah, she's not in high def.
It was
I
different,
was like,
yeah.
but she never wear.
Bless you. Bless you.
Yeah,
Wrong.
I think she
Wrong.
was probably
Wrong.
the most made up in her life as she had ever been
Ever
on The
been,
View.
yeah.
Right.
So she's like commenting with her Republican strategist that was live on tape. And she was saying, like, oh, my God, we agreed on this. But then he was like, no, but I think Trump did pretty well. And she was like, wow, I'm like, that fell apart fast. So they come back, they're talking. And as they go to commercial, Brian Williams is like, and while we're gone, we're going to work on Nicole and her friend's relationship. That seems to be strained. And it was like the camera's like a mile away, but they're like, oh, don't go to commercial yet. He's going to say something funny. And every
Every
commercial
time.
break, had some little bone
Some little
mocks.
quip.
He's funny.
It was very
fun.
funny. I don't
He's
totally
very
agree
handsome. I think I have a crush on him.
with that. No.
Yeah, he is funny.
Sure.
Mr. Williams.
That's why he was so upset when all that happened with Brian Williams.
Oh, I was. Because
you
I've
were
always
upset with
enjoyed
that.
him. And regardless of whether the stories were factual, when he
Sure.
would be on Letterman,
No, they're
He
well
was
told.
enjoyable.
Well
Yeah.
told.
It's a well-told story. It could be all fiction, but what I always say, if you're gonna lie to me, entertain me.
Well, if you're
Give
gonna
me something
lie,
we can both enjoy
That's called
ourselves
books
with.
and movies.
if
Yeah,
you're
books
gonna
and
lie,
movies.
I say lie bigly.
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 Okay,
Big
I
league.
think I figured it out last night. Finally, I don't think he's saying
Big
big
league?
league.
He's saying
He's
big
saying
league.
big league.
But
Yeah.
he has
Yeah.
no idea how to pronounce
Oh,
He's saying
no
big league.
shit.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
It-
Yeah.
I always thought it was big league, and then I was like, wait a minute, this motherfucker is just mush mouth saying
Yeah.
big league,
Yes.
which no one has said since they were young enough to chew the gum.
it. Yeah. So the thing is I can't remember if it was the New York Times or Rolling
Exactly.
Stone. Someone did a
Someone
whole
did.
thing about what is this word he's made up.
Yeah.
Is it bigly or is he trying to say big league? And at the end of it, they're like, we think he heard big league so many times, but wasn't sure what they were saying, like the words to, and I'm not talking about your
kept,
linen.
He
Right.
kept hearing, you haven't made it
Bake
to the
me a
big
pie
leagues."
of love,
Big leagues.
right.
Yeah.
So he's just not talking about your learning. Like he doesn't know how it really ends. So he just leaves it flat at big league because he doesn't know where it's going.
Wrapped
big-
up in a douche in the
Right.
middle of the night.
Yeah. He's so that it's not
Hold
even
it
saying-
closer, Tony.
I
Dan.
never
Just
thought of it.
hold
Right.
It was a
closer.
really funny article in this paper where
Big
they
old
like
Jed
he's
left the light on.
Yeah, big old jet left a light on. Exactly. It could happen.
You don't know.
I went to school with a talking whale.
Wrong.
Didn't happen.
Right.
But
But-
according to Cher, I thought that's what she said for about 15 years. Never had schooling, but he taught me well. Went to school with a talking whale. That's what I heard.
Bake me a pie of love is my favorite.
Bake me a pie of love. I didn't even need you to cue me up. I knew exactly where you were going. That's how much coffee I've had. I can make your wrong lyrics fit the right song.
You know
We
what?
are so game show ready right now. Let's
I'm
just
glad
say it.
you're here. Let's play match game.
Yeah, let's do it.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that's good times. Big
Okay,
league.
I've seriously left my own brain and entered hers.
Seriously,
Through
you need
coffee.
to drink some more water because my life-saving skills are not up to speed here, friend.
We are going to. 'cause I
If
don't
you
think the
stroke
ambulance
out,
can
you're
get
in
here
trouble.
fast enough.
Right.
Bring me a
Look
red.
at coronary.
Bring me a Red Bull out of the fridge. I want to try to catch up with you. Well, now that that's over,
Oh my goodness.
we're gonna try to get through this. Marnie, can we do it?
Oh my gosh, we're on a second.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's try to get through this. We call it headlines. You call it what crap could they only find in the last 15 minutes before the show? Here we go. Ah! Oh, who's been sleeping in my bed?
Queefing in Macedonia.
Oh Lord.
High school ranch day.
Do not feed the alligators.
Couponing like a boss.
First time for everything.
Single mom disguises herself.
A bully and a moron walk into a bar.
And firefighters pose for charity. These and other stories in this Feel Good Tuesday edition of Headlines.
I do feel good, thank you.
Don't you?
Yeah.
A bunch of Red Bull.
Wrong.
I'm vibrating as fast as I can.
I can't even.
Trying to get into the big
I
leagues.
love it.
Trying to get
Anybody
into
that can bring us coffee.
And she sucks it through a straw.
Wait, does Google Eat Stew or not Google? Does Uber
Does
Eats
Uber
Stew?
Google
bring
Eats
coffee?
stew?
I
Well,
love
wait,
stew.
They Grubhub will bring gelato supposedly.
Okay,
'cause
I've
we
had a lot
ordered
of
food
coffee,
last
but
night.
I'm almost sure she asked me if Google eats stew.
That's what I heard too.
Okay,
Right.
I
We're gonna
realize.
look. I like it. I like it.
I realize
I
things
was
are
going
wrong.
I just
for-
really like to see you tonight. That's all. Talk about the linen.
By the way,
We talked about the linen,
just a very,
and I'd
very-
really like to see it tonight because I want to discuss that shit in person.
May I just? May I
Please,
just?
please.
If you have not already, because I don't think
And how could you have
there's
not?
a time
An off
limit
switch on
for
me?
today. No, there's not for sure. Ooh, you're just drinking
I
aspirin.
almost. I'm not gonna go to the hospital with you. Though.
Fine. I'm not sure if there is a time limit, but registering to vote. Registering to
October-
vote.
There is always a
October
time limit,
9th
yes.
Ninth?
in Arizona.
Yeah, October 9th.
But for anyone outside
Check
of
your local
Arizona
listings.
in the United States,
Please check and see when the deadline is
Please.
to
For
register.
those of you listening from Kenya, please register. It could be of help to us.
Yeah.
Yes, and
mean-
Anant, get out there and register
Everybody?
to vote and send in your ballot,
Do it.
Yes.
please.
Do you?
Wrong.
Well, when Jamie Barnes
never said that.
When Jamie Barnes returned to her house in South Memphis, Tennessee on Sunday after being gone for just a few days, she was shocked by what she found. Not only was her place ransacked, she says, but she saw a man and a woman actually having sex on her couch.
Ooh, first time.
Same
Quote, it's horrible in there. It's absolutely horrible in there. It's like they just had a big old nasty party, Barnes told WREG-TV. She says, quote, walk in. They're having sex on my couch. I picked up my broom. I wanted to hit the man so bad. Barnes said that, well, she chased the man out of her house. She kept saying, I don't know nothing, over and over and over. I don't know why. Why would he say that? I don't know nothing. Apparently how to have sex, maybe. The woman later identified as 44-year-old Tonka Barnes. Named
Tatanka.
named after a truck. She grabbed one of the victim's dresses to cover up before she exited the house. Now, again, Jamie Barnes told WREG-TV, she tried to grab one of my dresses and put it on as I snatched it off of her. She said to her, I said, what are you trying to do? Steal my dress? The Huffington Post has reached out to Jamie Barnes and the Memphis Police Department to see if the victim is related to the female suspect. The police department told Fox 13 Memphis that jewelry, appliances, shoes, clothing, and dignity were all taken from the house.
Dignity.
Barnes, who estimates the value of the stolen items to
I
be
like a
about
clever ad lib.
Thank you. The stolen items to be about $2,200. She had been away from the house since Friday. A witness told investigators that the male suspect, who is still at large, tried to sell a silver ring that belonged to the victim. Tonka Barnes was charged with aggravated burglary and is being held on $30,000 bond at the Shelby County Jail, according to the TV station. Now, Jamie Barnes is now looking for a new home, she says. I don't feel comfortable in this house anymore, so in my eyes, I am homeless. She's decided she's homeless. She's dramatic. Barnes has created a
Poor
GoFundMe
girl.
account for herself in order to get money to replace the stolen items. As of Tuesday morning, she has raised $65 towards her $22 goal.
Oh.
Atta girl.
$2,200 goal. I'm
I was
sorry.
saying, aim low.
No, $2,200 goal.
They
I'm
stole
sorry.
2 magazines
I want $22.
and a fifth of Canadian whiskey. I'm going to need $22.
Woo-hoo.
Nicely done.
I'm going to round up.
Funny
I was-
coincidence. For $22 plus delivery and tax, I can have 96 ounces of coffee delivered here now.
Nice.
Where?
Uber
just went-
Eats, my friend.
He
Uber
just
Eats
Scooby-Doo.
.com. I know.
Let me at him, Uncle Scooby. Let me at him.
Yeah. So I thought to myself, Uber Eats has a lot of, they'll just go pick the shit up wherever. They
There's
don't
not a lot
work
of-
for
Where
any
will they
particular-
get it from?
Cartel Coffee Lab.
Oh, that's what.
But at this time of day, because
Yeah, they'll go to the airport.
Says they're open.
Yeah,
Oh, remember
in
the one in
Tempe.
Tempe? Yeah. Hey,
Oh, my
for
goodness.
$22 plus delivery and
I
tip
put in
that fucker.
GPS for this location.
Oh,
And that's the
I
closest
searched
open.
for coffee, and my options are Cartel Coffee Lab, Copper Star Coffee,
Which is
Oh,
right here.
delicious.
Tea
That's
and
good.
Toast Company, Mama Toledo's The Pie Hole.
Ah, well, that's weird.
Now, see, here's what's wrong. 2 things. First off, if it's called Tea and Pie Hole, coffee's not in the name. Don't
Nope,
order
I
the
don't
coffee.
think so.
good point. That's a good point.
And then the other
However,
place,
can we get pie?
yeah.
2 stops. We're not going to make 2 stops.
And what came before Tea and Pie Hole?
Copper Star?
Well, you're mixing your metaphors. I had Tea and Toast Company,
Yeah, out.
and then I had Mama Toledo's The Pie Hole.
See? So neither one of these places are where you're going for coffee, because if you don't put coffee in the name, why would I order
Why would
coffee?
you get the
Right, I
coffee?
it. Right.
Yeah, it,
Call it
gets-
Dutch Brothers Coffee. I'm either going to order something Dutch, a boy, or some coffee.
Have you seen
Fair.
some of the kids that work there? I'd order the boy.
Put Dutch on your name tag. I'll order you up. Come on.
In any event, for all your coffee needs.
So how much does it cost to get coffee here?
So, well, that was for 96 ounces.
Well,
Oh,
let's
crap, I
go.
lost
Let's
it.
go for
What is that in
Copper
hands?
Star. How many hands?
Stand by.
Hands. Like measuring a horse.
Yeah, like
All right.
horsepower. Exactly. See,
Go,
you're with
go to
me.
the next story because I just lost it. I don't know how to
Wrong.
work
I
this.
did not say that.
Wrong.
Go to the next.
Ms.
Go to the
Ryer.
next.
All
Next.
right.
We got a Judy Garland
Next
this shit. I
seller.
got to get the
Next
downers
seller.
in me. Excuse me.
It's called water.
Well, apparently, sad story, but
I'm
you know.
nearly in tears.
queefing in Macedonia is a thing.
Okay.
But only perhaps after surgery. So a woman discovers that surgeons accidentally attached her colon to her vagina.
Oh,
And she reacts how you'd expect.
That's shitty.
that's
Yeah.
a circle of life. That's a circle of life no one wants to complete.
Wrong.
Wrong.
I did not say that.
I did
Does
not
that
say
mean
that.
that all of a sudden she's really into anal?
Yeah.
Could be. Jasminka
Oh,
Oh.
Velkovska.
sure.
Sounds good to me. underwent surgery about 3 years ago in Macedonia. And it was an effort to remove cancer, which is the sad part, obviously,
Yeah.
from her colon. Sure. But then they reattached it, as I said, to her vagina. So what, I mean, did they think they were doing surgery on a chicken? Like, what the fuck? I don't understand.
Doing that.
Not good for the
But-
chicken either, I'm guessing.
Right. So
Ooh, good
while
call,
she
good
was
call.
recovering, doctors came in and asked her if she was. Stop it. She says, while I was recovering, doctors came in and asked me if I was passing gas. And I said, yes, but it's coming out of my vagina. They told me that it would soon pass and I would be okay. But stuff had started to come out of my vagina and I was feeling scared. And it was all very unpleasant. Almost vomited during the story. She complained that she was farting out of her vagina. And they told her it would pass. That pun better have been intentional. Doctors
This too
agreed.
shall pass.
With a little
Right.
corn.
Doctors agreed to perform an X-ray, and yep, her colon was connected to her vag.
Yep, there it is.
Plus, they still hadn't removed the carcinoma.
Oh,
Like,
no.
so on top of all of this other bad, how does a doctor even deliver that kind of news? I'm sorry,
So
you
wait.
you still have cancer.
Wait.
And we randomly connected your tubes like a habit trail.
Two
Here's,
things.
You know, like
Two
what?
things.
What?
So they connected the pooper to the baby chute,
Uh-huh.
Yep.
and they left the cancer.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
Only in
Good recap.
Macedonia.
We need to re-rack
talk.
that clip.
Good
Can we
talk.
re-rack that, please?
Only in
Yeah,
Macedonia.
I'll be taking over Cliff's notes from now on. They'll just be
So-
They
Cat's
connected
notes.
the
and two
pooper-
things.
To add insult to vaginas,
Yeah.
Please, can I pause you for just a second?
pausing. Yes.
They connected the pooper to the baby chute?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
Can I write that down?
Yep.
Okay, continue on.
Yep.
Connected
To
the-
add insult to the vagina, the hospital only agreed to compensate her for about $33,500 and then reportedly refused to pay the entire total. You know, she said that she'll sue the hospital if she doesn't get the entire total. Do you fucking think?
I think, yeah.
I'm pretty
I think
much
she should
plus
sue
you.
them either way.
I'm saying big time. Unbelievable. Because, you know,
Bigly.
if Bigly,
Thank you.
if a mistake like that happened here, you know, she'd be a millionaire. Or not.
Well,
Wrong.
Or on
She'd get
Oprah.
the headline for
Oprah
the-
would come
Yeah,
back on the
right.
air.
Well, you spill coffee. You know, you don't know.
Address is
But-
wrong. I don't know what a
Well, sure. I just
I
GPS.
don't know what a box of coffee is.
It's 96 ounces of coffee.
And is that the
That's like the
good shit?
Dunkin' Donuts to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 3 32 ounces.
Yeah.
If I can put it in Taco Bell
Well,
parlance.
that's very nice
For you, thank you.
Way to Taco Bell that
So,
up for us.
so we can get that much Java
So I
for
can get a
$24.
box of coffee door to door for $24. Yeah.
It's good to know. We may have to use that someday.
All right.
I think it's good times.
Isn't that like technology as well?
Oh, I forgot to tell you about that.
Pinterest.
Okay, go.
I don't know about the poop and baby
Yeah, I
shit.
don't know.
no.
She'd be a millionaire.
I don't know
Well,
what to do with that.
Seriously, who keeps sending me this dead cat as a purse thing? This is the fourth time I've
Anand.
got this.
It is disturbing. I'm reading it now. The fuck?
That's the fourth time I've gotten that. The first two
Yes,
times they were
Drew.
like, oh,
She
I
was
would've
pooping
seen
out the
this.
vajayjay.
So wait. So there's no.
Terrifying.
So is there a follow up to this story?
Not yet.
Not yet. This is
She's
is
suing.
how,
She's still passing gas.
how current is this story? Do we
She's
know?
gassy. It was 3 years ago.
Oh,
That,
so
that she had the
come
surgery.
there's a chance
there's-
that things are coming out the right holes now. Not a good chance.
Not a good chance. We're still in Macedonia.
I can't
so
imagine
I'm
that
not
you
sure.
go through. You have to go through all
I don't know
that.
where
again.
Macedonia
You gotta
is.
sing that one. The
It's,
ankle bone connected to the knee bone.
up by
Pooper
Maine,
is
I
connected
think.
to the baby
I'm
shoot.
just-
Again, I'm able to match lyrics
Pooper
to
connected
songs
to the baby shoot.
due to the amount of coffee I've had.
I like it. I like it. a lot.
And
That's
I,
good,
I
Jenny.
feel like I
like
got
that.
all the medical training that I need, courtesy of Jenny.
I do like that one.
Yep.
That's
Thanks
funny.
for
That's
that.
all you need. If you can sing that song, you got it all.
Unfortunately, this is the first time I've seen the dead cat purse. This is interesting.
And I don't know what to do
I'm
with
offended that I keep getting it.
I've never got it before. The story. That
Oddly.
is.
it.
I
Well,
feel,
the itchy feeling's not new, but that part
I
is.
feel like I should. I don't mind the itching. I hate the swelling.
That's queef-tastic.
Queef test.
That's not a thing.
It could be.
That,
What is
that?
It is for her.
that has to not be a
It
thing.
is for her.
Let's
You
not.
don't know.
Oh my God! Did you see this one?
Just a suggestion.
We're
You
gonna
don't
sit
know.
here on
No.
this flight and not do that.
Put it back in your purse. We're gonna talk about flowers.
And rainbows and lollipops.
Something.
I gotta save this picture for later. All right, well, let me get back. We have to continue on. We have a lot
Many
to do.
things.
We have a lot to. We have a lot to
Many
cover.
things.
Menti.
This will be a story that you'll understand, I'm sure, because we've all want to do something creative at school. High school students often get very creative celebrating their homecoming week, but one 17-year-old senior just won over the internet with her school spirit. Brandon Valley High School in South Dakota, or further South Dakota, depending, celebrated homecoming week this week. And for Monday's salad dressing day, the senior class was assigned the theme of ranch. While most students dressed up as cowboys and cowgirls, Carson Hayes, well, she took that theme literally. She showed up all ready to go. Well, where the fuck is the picture? Here it is. She showed up as a bottle of ranch dressing.
Oh,
there you go.
Look at her there. When she posted pictures of her Spirit Day outfit later that night, the internet just couldn't handle it.
Atta girl.
Her friends, however, weren't surprised at all.
My
Quote,
spirit animal is ranch dressing.
I think my spirit animal actually is
I'm pretty sure that there's a large amount of lesbians that would say that.
white and creamy with just a little bit of herbs and spices.
Wrong.
I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling good about this metaphor.
I'm lost in it and
Wrong.
I don't want to be wrong. Go ahead.
Her friend said that she's hilarious and
Goes well with
that they're
tater
glad
tots.
that she's finally getting noticed for her creativity. Said classmate Peyton Roche told the newspaper. The newspaper, by the way, is called the Argus Leader. It was literally overnight, she said. I think it was the coolest thing I've ever created. I'm so lucky to be friends with the ranch girl. She enlisted the help of her friend and a friend's dad to make the cardboard costume. She says she was really nervous, what people would say, because I knew I'd be the only one dressed like this. No shit. So there's that.
Nicely done.
That is
Back to you,
fantastic.
fucker.
Well, alrighty then.
I never said that.
Listen, this isn't a debate, guys. We can be nice to each
I
other.
know, right?
Secretary.
How rude.
Are you happy with that? I want you to be happy.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he had to put 6
Secretary
quarters in that
fucking
jar.
you.
How
That's
about I just poke and prod you for the next, let's say, hour?
Does that hurt?
Did we-
Does that hurt? Does that hurt? Does that hurt? Does that
Watch
hurt?
you lose your fucking mind.
right.
Marn, what's next?
Well, there is a first for everything. And I'm stealing some entertainment kind of stuff, but
Because I don't have any.
ABC's hit TV series.
And he's not.
Never
No,
does.
he's not kidding. ABC's hit TV series Modern Family will feature TV's first transgender kid.
I saw this headline.
Yeah.
I assumed he would have it, but look at you.
In a groundbreaking show coming tomorrow. Actually, it'll be showing tomorrow. Shows such as Orange is the New Black and Nashville have cast adult transgender actors to play transgender characters, but Modern Family newcomer Jackson Malarker, who openly identifies as transgender, is the first child actor to appear in such a role.
That's not where I thought they were going with this.
Yeah, Malarker will play Tom, who Lily's character, the adopted child of Cam and
Mitchell.
Thank you. You guys are so good to me with my. That Lily invites over for a play date. And according to this article, an insult leads to the teachable moment. Jesse Tyler Ferguson, who
Mitch.
plays Mitchell, tweeted his excitement about the series' upcoming episode. Super proud of this week's episode. He was Ryan Case is the director of the show. And also shared her joy ahead of the episode's debut. So it's just really neat. The appearance comes on the heels of Transparent star Jeffrey Tambor challenging Hollywood to cast more transgender actors at
Right.
the Emmys. He said that.
And because he gets some criticism for them using cisgender, is that the
right?
Yeah.
that
Right.
they're using him to play the role instead of a transgender.
Transgender. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He had said at the Emmys, if you, for those that didn't hear it, to you people out there, you producers and you network owners and you agents and you creative sparks, please give transgender talent a chance. Give them auditions, give them their story. Do that.
Yeah.
So apparently that is something that is happening, and I'm excited to watch that tomorrow night. I haven't. I think last week was the first.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Was
funny.
it? And I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, so I'm excited. I think I'm going to wait and just kind of do the back-to-back tomorrow. So anyway,
I'm still on season 1.
yeah, you had said that you had just started watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just is I think, a brilliant show.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
one of those
they're-
shows
Yeah.
that the recurring jokes.
Oh, and I agree.
stay
I
funny,
tried
like-
once several years ago and just didn't catch.
Yeah.
Just the one 30-minute episode that I was like, oh, let's try that. Nope, don't care.
Well, and
Yeah.
I didn't get into it until much later.
No.
When, and I think it was Aaron was watching it, and I was like, ugh, everybody's watching Modern Family, and then I sat down and just got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
So it was the right episode to kind of get into.
And the fact
so.
that it really is, it's an ensemble comedy with like 20 working parts because the kids get real scenes to enjoy. Like, so everybody's working about 10 seconds an episode when you
Right,
spread it all out.
absolutely.
And now they're giving Lily her own storylines. Like,
Sure.
good Lord. And now they even give Joe, the little boy,
Yeah, they
stuff
do.
to do.
Yep.
Like, he gets to be a part of this. He's not just the kid in the corner that they refer to once in a while. Like,
Sure.
he acts and has lines and stuff, and he's kind of sassy and funny. Like,
Well, and they all play off each other so well. It just that show.
and I
I
can't
love
believe
Phil
they
Dunphy.
made it to the 8th.
Shit, I just fucking
Eighth
love
year?
Phil
I
Dunphy.
don't think it's the 8th season, but it could be. The weird part is how Luke has grown up. That all of a sudden he's kind of hot. I'm like, that's uncomfortable.
Okay, that is uncomfortable because I don't think so. He's also a horrible actor.
Yeah, I'm not real big on that either.
No, but he's one of the funny things, is that he's very, very smart. So
Okay.
he's
He
playing
plays
this-
an idiot?
He plays
Okay.
an idiot, like,
Sure.
and the running joke of like, well, one kid's gonna make it out and have to support us all. You know what I mean? And the fact that
Right.
they collectively know absolutely nothing. The
Right.
four of them together can't light a fire, but they have this one genius child.
No,
Yeah,
And
this
they-
is 8th season.
Oh wow.
no, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's right, because I think they won 5. I think they won 5 best comedy. That was the record. I think they tied the record for best comedy, and then the last 2 years they lost to Veep.
Damn it, Veep.
Even if they
Oh,
stopped
sure.
tomorrow, none of them would ever have to work again. I mean, the older cast, because of syndication and as much as they've already made, if they rat holed their money correctly, they'd never have
And
to do
all
anything
of them
again.
do commercials. There's not one
Yeah.
of them that's not
You're
even.
right,
And
you're
Ed
right.
McNeil was the last one to do it. I think Jesse Tyler Ferguson may not have. I haven't seen a commercial with him, but
No,
Oh,
he does.
yes.
He does.
It's
Oh, do
the
they?
little orange, the little things on the counter, the little orange money things
That's
that are
Oh,
talking
yep,
to
yep,
him.
yep. So I mean, they're all doing commercials.
Yeah.
Well,
And
and
the
Ed
oldest
O'Neill.
daughter. The oldest daughter
Haley.
Haley has been working. She's in
Oh, she was on
Annie
Law
the
and
TV
Order.
movie. Yeah.
And,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and she
But
was on.
she's the tiny, and she's grown like this much since
Yeah.
then. And they're all incredibly short. Like those girls are both like 5 foot nothing if they
okay.
even reach 5 feet. So that's
Well,
why
and that
Luke looks
Ariel-
extremely tall. Yeah.
Ariel
She
had
the breast
reduction because they were making such a big deal out of it. Hollywood kind of.
Oh no, she was very uncomfortable.
She
But
was
they
very
made a big
uncomfortable.
thing, and they had to strap her down for a couple seasons
Right.
because
Yeah, because all of a sudden
she was playing
she came on the screen. I was like, Jesus.
Jesus. Because you
What
can
the-
only strap those things down so far before you're like,
Right.
she's got big boobs.
Had that been in 3D, we'd all like had to duck.
Yeah, it was.
That was fucked up.
And it was funny because I had just heard something about her having that, and I was like, she always looks funny on the show, like they're doing something with her. And then I read an interview with her, like, I just can't be strapped down anymore. Like,
Yeah.
we
Right.
got to age this girl a
Right.
minute. And so she went from like a freshman in high school to graduating because
Yeah.
they're like, all right, everybody's
go
always
faster
playing
than this.
younger.
Yeah.
But this has gotten to a ridiculous point of like, she's not 14. Like, we got to age her like this.
Right.
Well, and it's just such a smart show because individually they're all very funny, but when you do bring them all together,
And just play on those recurring jokes.
Yeah.
And whenever Gloria gets a gun, and they're like, you could have shot me. And then she gets a close up. I could have put it between his eyes. And all her jokes about the things that go on in Colombia
Yes,
are
yes.
hysterical. Just
Yes, all of the traditions and everything they did. She always
Yeah.
goes, yeah, it's very funny. I still like it when Cam
That's
when Cam and Mitch got a car for Lily and she wrecks it in the house. I should have seen
seen
that
that coming.
coming.
Yeah, that was.
Still funny to me.
or when he bangs his head, when Mitchell bangs her head on the he's playing with her and he didn't want to play. You know, he was nervous that he'd hurt her, and so it was after Cam was putting all the wigs on her.
Yeah,
and
it's season
doing all
one.
the- yeah,
I've seen
and
that
it's
one.
Fucking hysterical because like he has a Diana Ross wig on her, and he has
So many
and
wigs.
he's like
So good.
throwing.
Oh, isn't he?
Mitchell's
Oh.
throwing her in the air, and she bumps her head
on the ceiling.
on
yeah.
the ceiling,
Okay.
kind of. And they take her. Oh, we got to go to the doctor, and they take her, and it's an Asian doctor, and so Cam's like, is there anything? I mean, and he's bowing to her. And do you have anything that could help us? I mean, he's talking slowly to her. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's
ridiculous, but so funny. And
Very
then she
fun.
comes over and drives, backs out of the driveway, and
Yeah.
she's like, I'm not Asian. I'm from Colorado or whatever.
She
Yeah.
crashes
And then
the
crashes into all the
Because that cheap joke
the
is never
trash.
not funny.
No,
No,
it's
it's always
always
funny to me.
funny. Always funny. Anyway,
Yes.
digress. Fine, sir.
Well, you could say this woman in this story is a cut above the rest. Lauren Puryear is in Woodbridge, Virginia. She's clipping coupons to feed thousands of people in need. So far, she's fed over 5,000 people on a shoestring budget, her personal budget, securing rock bottom deals on food and items through couponing. Puryear hopes to feed 30,000 people by her 30th birthday, which is September 14th of next year. She told the NewJersey.com that she can feed 150 people for as little as $20, depending on the items. It's probably the most exhilarating thing I could ever do in life, she told the site. Puryear told ABC News that she spends about 5 to 10 hours a week. Now, this could be something, Kat, for your youngest, because he's getting into couponing.
He's Mr. Grocery Store ads. I
She
know.
spends about 5 to 10 hours a week looking for coupons. She also recruits family members and friends to help her snip vouchers and accompany her on the shopping trips. Sometimes stores have limits on how much you can buy at one time. So, you get multiple friends to buy. You can only max out at 5 of, each trip. So you get 5, 10, 15, 20 people, whatever. Not 20 people, but, 5 people can buy 25 items if it were the limit. I get friends to come with me and buy and bring their carts so we can all transport the goods. Puryear's devotion to the deals started back in 2012 after her grandmother, who instilled in her the love of giving back, passed away. Puryear decided to start the organization in her grandmother's memory, and so far, the organization called For the Love of Others was born. The organization helps people in need through various community outreach events. One of these events involves buying food, preparing it, and distributing meals to people in the community who need it most. I just thought that was cool that that's her, not just for herself. These goods
In
are out
honor
there.
of.
I got enough for me, but I might as well just get the rest of this stuff. Help people with it. I thought it was great.
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
I thought that was
I
good.
feel like I don't have time for that.
I've looked at my calendar and I said, maybe not.
Because I've read some of those blogs and I'm very intrigued by the concept of having $0 grocery bills and things like that. But it's a lot of
It's a lot. I can't figure out how to do it. Jason Carlton is the closest person that I know of who can get through that. He knows. I don't know how he knows it, but he can figure out.
And some of those blog updates, they're like, okay, so you got to go to CVS and you buy 2 of this thing, and then you'll get a coupon back for this thing, and then you go over to this store over there and you buy this thing, and then you go return this thing over here. Like, who the fuck has this kind of time?
Jesus. Can I just buy the first thing and be done?
Right. Yeah.
Or can I spend $25 and have 96 ounces of coffee just show up at my door?
Yeah.
That's a
There's
thing.
the win. That's the coupon.
Right.
I feel like I'm kind of splitting the difference here in that I've got the grocery shopper, and he points out all of the things on the ads. He came home today and picked up an ad, and he showed me that grapes were 88 cents a pound.
Oh.
I said, "Oh my goodness, good eye, sir."
Well done.
Now go distract your mom from putting up lights.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get home and there's gonna be a giant fucking inflatable pumpkin.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Oh,
The great
alright.
pumpkin.
The struggle is real.
Yes, that's. What'd you say it was called? Uber Eats?
Uber
Uber
Eats.
Eats.
Yeah, and that's what it's called. Uber Eats. They just go to the restaurant, pick up your dinner, and bring
Yeah.
it back to you.
And I'm on the fence about it because I feel like Uber is just becoming another new evil empire.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
But
so I'm like, oh,
but I've
the
come to just embrace
convenience
it.
of 96 ounces of coffee in mere minutes delivered to the
I
door.
was fine. The fact that
It's delightful.
if I didn't want to walk up a hill, I could call somebody and they would transport me up the hill in San Francisco. I was
Right.
fine.
Well, sure, and when Uber was being developed and deployed into this city and many other markets, I was like, this is amazing. This is the best thing ever. I drove for them, but as time goes on and their corporate policies and ethics, I just start to go, they've got that ick factor.
I see.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't in the beginning, but now I've caught up with you.
Yeah. There
But
it
I'm
is.
still going to use them.
Well, I mean, we drink,
Oh,
Yeah.
Somebody's
Yeah.
got to take
Yeah.
us places.
Right.
I gotta get from A to B somehow.
Well, Drew sent me a fantastic article. Fantastic.
is that the one you're going to read or no?
Yeah.
All right.
So we're not supposed to.
Are we
feed the
using
alligators.
fantastic, facetiously?
No, it's bad. It's
All
bad,
right.
but it comes from the penis of America.
Oh, there we go.
Florida.
Wrong. Correct.
I never said
actually.
that.
Correct. So a Florida man
Wrong.
who was high
Wrong.
on meth
No.
Oh,
cuts off his genitals,
Oh Lord.
feeds them to an alligator. For real, Florida. What the fuck? A 52-year-old man.
Florida doesn't know either. I don't know why you're asking that.
I know. In Florida's Lake County, is intensive care after he was seriously injured during what has been described by investigators as a 5-day binge on methamphetamine. That just can't be good. Can't be good. It's dedication, really. I think it's dedication.
Wasn't the injury really? The injury really was from the knife.
Correct.
I mean, there was a buildup.
That there
was a buildup, sure.
Pre-methamphetamine kind of thing. So he was found by neighbors writhing around on the ground in pain. I can only imagine. As his neighbors approached, they could see he was clutching his groin region and soaked in blood.
Oh.
I asked him what he had done. Asked one of the neighbors. He told me he hurt himself badly and asked me to call for help. Well, I'm sure. Paramedics were soon at the scene.
Pretty sure that scene played out a little differently.
A little differently.
Sure.
My dick is gone.
Yeah. Oh.
What the fuck happened to you?
I don't know.
Yeah,
These are my guesses.
I don't want to talk about your linen anymore.
Well, wrong.
Wrapped up like a what?
Still funny.
So a 28-year-old woman apparently was on the property, believed to be his girlfriend. Not anymore.
Or dealer.
According to her account, they had spent the last few days leading up to the accident smoking the meth.
Like you do.
Well, like you do. He apparently got a little,
Something extra.
a little extra.
Well, he's not the girl with something extra anymore.
He smoked up the couple's remaining supply of meth. I mean, he got a little greedy and began to act really weird. Because that's what happens on meth, I think. Began, right. Maybe he was just a little odd before that, and then...
Full blown.
Right.
Yeah.
Investigators believe that Mr. Canfield's overconsumption of the drug caused him to experience a psychotic event.
Happens.
Do you think? No, I don't know. Wrong. Anyway, so moving on, she said that he had run outside and he was clutching his groin and he had a knife and that he was threatening
Was he trying to put it in her purse?
No, I don't believe so. He was trying to put it in his own purse.
He made a purse.
Remarkably,
I didn't even know he cut off his dick until I saw the alligator licking his lips.
I know. The alligator was very hungry. He had just come from Disney World. Anybody? No,
I caught that.
Thanks.
I caught
Remarkably, he seemed quite calm, for being on meth, I'm assuming.
And dickless.
As he began, no. It was as he began cutting.
Oh.
She said she was the one screaming, begging him to stop, because
she's going to need that at some point. So she was thinking,
right, I think so.
I'm going to use that.
However, her pleas fell on deaf ears or cut off dicks. And
tomato bottom.
As soon as he finished cutting, he jumped over the back fence and ran away. Because like you do, you're like, there goes the penis. I'm gone. I gotta go.
There goes the penis.
Because I'm cracked out and the cops are clear to show up at some point now.
They're gonna be here soon.
She's probably got.
And so she decided to flee the property because she wasn't sure, if he was going to come back, I don't know, cut out her parts or maybe hook it to her
I'd be
colon.
pretty skeeved out by then too.
Yeah.
Could have hooked it
I'd
to
be
her
thinking,
colon.
what else is he after? I feel a museum is starting.
Investigators now they figured out the cause of the gruesome injuries, but they didn't know what happened to the genitals. Like, well, where is everything?
Also in there.
Wrong.
So there was.
My 10-year-old son is really good at computers.
Super good.
Super good.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
that's what I was trying to find. I
amazing.
gotta go find that.
I'm not for kids learning anything
No,
about technology, but anyway, just like you have, Clayton, cameras, right? You have the cameras, the neighborhood cameras.
I like to keep up.
Well, you never know what you're going to catch on those. Because there
Actually,
was
that's a
footage
true
from a
statement.
number of properties that was collected and ultimately revealed the shocking twist. In the footage, Mr. Canfield can be seen running along the canal that runs behind the property. In his hand, he's holding his junk. Well,
How
they say
grand was the
genitals.
canal?
How great. It was a
It was a
grand.
grand canal. In his hands, he's holding his genitals.
welcome.
And at this point, he spots an alligator on the opposite side of the canal. Like you do.
Yeah.
You look up, you're looking for something. What am I looking for? What am I
A gator.
The alligator.
A
He
gator.
Of
screams,
course I am.
Free Willy, and throws his dick in his mouth.
Yes. And the alligator comes up. Oh, that's a different movie. And he flings his genitals in that general direction. In the video, which investigators have refused to release to the media.
Damn it!
I know, for
That's
sure.
the kind of shit we
'Cause
want to
that
watch.
would be really, really funny, I think.
Dickless man.
Dickless man.
Well, he still has a dick.
Feeding the alligators.
Dick in the wrong place, man.
Do not feed the alligators.
Even if it is just a snack.
Just a bite. Well, it might be just a little bite. The alligator allegedly then quickly pounced on Mr. Canfield's genitals to consume them.
Gosh.
There's no chance whatsoever of recovering them. Mr. Canfield, in addition to a long recovery ahead, also faces some drug-related charges, which, talk about your insult to
I
injury.
don't know.
right
I don't know that charges are necessary. I think at this point you're just like, look, come on, Your Honor. I think he's really suffered enough because the rest of his life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, given what's happened in this case, they're pretty sure that it's a slim chance that he's going to be trying to abuse meth again in the future. But you don't know.
Now the
don't know.
the one good thing about this story,
He might be like, fuck it, what do I have to lose? My dick's gone.
Oftentimes when you hear stories of body parts winding up in the bellies of gators,
Yep.
They usually find said gator and then euthanize. But I think in this instance, I don't think so because the gator was not attacking somebody.
Nope.
It's
He
just
was-
like throwing a snack into the river.
Absolutely.
And that's what it was. So I think the gator's in the clear on this.
I think absolutely.
I do realize that
I
may
feel
not be
like,
the
yes,
biggest point of the
true.
story.
No, I'm into that.
Okay. All right. I just feel for the
I
animals.
think that's
Save
probably
the
the
alligators.
follow-up. So Drew, if you find that, please.
in an odd way, this is the way that somebody, if the gator's ever caught or for any other reason,
Sure.
the guy's junk could potentially be
could.
part of a set of shoes.
You don't know. That's right. That's right. Hey, is that a dick on your foot? You don't know.
It's an interesting
don't know.
pattern in that in your luggage.
Is that a penile toe?
Just as
And you have to be
I've
very
got no
careful.
comments here. I got
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
You have to be really.
We've gone to a place where I can't even.
You just have to be really
Grand
careful
Canal was the best joke I had.
in Florida because
all I had.
people are losing stuff right and left. Apparently with the right and left. But there was somebody who lost their nose just because of a drone coming by and chopping it off. So you have to be really careful in Florida. I mean, it's either
Was
a
the
dick or a
alligator
nose or-
flying a drone?
Yeah, I mean,
They don't know.
And
at
where
this
is
point.
Captain Hook in this whole thing?
I know. I've got a gator, a penis,
in the clock?
a ticking clock.
Yep.
yeah.
You don't know. It could
got
be.
nothing.
It could be. I like it. So just be very careful.
I'm very.
Blast
I
you,
am.
Florida.
Peter Pan.
Yes.
I'm not sure what's
I
happened
am.
in
I
any
feel
of
that
this.
I'm very careful in my personal space with regards to
You just be
knives
real careful.
and gators.
I just checked to make sure I had my penis.
And-
All's well.
oh, good.
That ends well.
Good enough.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
I utilized it for one of its many purposes.
Everybody just be real careful.
Many
Oh.
purposes.
Menti.
Kickstand.
You don't. Yeah, you don't know.
I don't roll out of bed
Yeah,
in the morning.
absolutely. You don't know. Nope. Just be careful.
Well,
in
Kat,
Florida.
in an odd, this story is also for you because I thought
Oh,
maybe
no,
this
thank
might
God.
be good.
So there's not a penis in this story, is what
There
you're
is
saying.
Maybe.
no,
Maybe there is
but,
one, you don't know.
but it alleges there is one.
Oh, there you go.
Cue up a picture, stand by, getting ready. Okay, go over here. Nothing can stand in the way of a single mother's love for her child, not even a father's only breakfast at school. Yvette Vasquez was dropping off her son Elijah at school last week in Fort Worth, Texas, and she noticed more cars than usual in the parking lot. Well, whoops, I hit the wrong thing.
What was that noise?
Gator.
What was that?
When the mom of three asked Elijah,
Was that a queef gone wrong? What the fuck was that noise?
Colon attached to.
it was a Fig Newton kicking back.
Well, we'll get an update on the score later, I guess. See who won the Fig Newton Clayton McKee battle.
So far, Fig Newton's 1, Clayton 0.
something.
It's
I feel
early.
like
it's early rounds though. It's early
I
rounds.
feel like I lost part of that battle too.
I'm going to have to get up and go check in the bathroom in a minute. When the mom of three asked Elijah what all the commotion was in the parking lot, he said it was for a school event for students and their fathers known as
Dads and Donuts.
Donuts and Dads. That's exactly right. Then Vasquez and her son decided to return home and come up with a disguise so that Elijah could participate in the breakfast. I wasn't about to let him miss out, Vasquez wrote on her
A
Facebook.
donut.
I know that seeing other dads with their kids isn't easy for mine, but it's our life. Her son helped Vasquez pick out a perfect getup. Elijah's fake mustache and a plaid shirt, hat, and a spritz of cologne to top off the look. And here is how they showed up at school. Right there, the two of them.
That's fun.
Elijah was now ready to head back to school for the breakfast, but this
that was
time
cute.
he had a new dad with him. Vasquez told Fox 4
They're
News
just as cute as can be.
she was nervous but happy to show up at Elijah's school dressed as a man. She was shocked at the positive reaction she received since posting the pictures on Facebook. Most of the dads thought it was really cool. They thought it was really supportive and sweet. I did feel the energy of a few men who weren't comfortable with it, though. Vasquez says Elijah was excited and thankful for their impromptu decision. However, she says that she wishes that she had been involved in previous father and son events with her son, so that he didn't have to watch from the sidelines. But I thought that was cute that she went back.
Cute.
That's adorable.
And
And it always helps when the people in your story are cute. You know what I mean?
It does, yeah.
But I realized that you can walk in and know. Well, you don't need the
Wow,
mustache.
that turned ugly fast.
She gets confused for being a young man all the time.
You know, I had the new guy at the deli counter at the grocery store called me sir, no lie, 17 times
no.
as I ordered 3 items.
Oh. How can I help you, sir?
how many,
Exactly.
wait,
How can I help?
for 3 items, how many? Why did he have to talk to
'Cause
you?
he had
He was
17
very
times?
nervous.
He had 75
He had a
fucking
stutter.
questions. He
Oh.
did not.
Okay.
He couldn't understand. So this is long and too detailed, but you know how, you know, if you go to the deli and you say, oh, I need, you know, half a pound of American cheese, and they put like a little slice of that fucking plastic tissue
Sure,
paper between every fucking slice. I don't need that.
Yeah, fair.
I'm very like anti single use plastic.
good, yeah.
Right. So I say to him, I say, you know what, do the best you can and just make a stack or 2 if you need to, but just stack it together. It peels apart. I don't need all the fucking plastic, right?
Right.
So this kid could not get his mind around that. So it's like, hey, yes, sir. What can I get for you? I don't even say anything. I don't care.
Sure.
I want my fucking
We got
American cheese. Right.
we got cheese to order.
We need cheese. I need a pound of white American cheese. None of the fucking plastic shit.
Right.
It's a pound, so probably 2 stacks. Like, just make 2 stacks.
Sounds like you're rather aggressive in this transaction.
Listen,
Sir,
because you know what I got.
I'm gonna need you to calm down, sir.
After careful instructions, I got
I
a
said
ball.
good
I'm not
day,
even kidding.
sir.
I should take a picture of it.
ball of
I got
cheese.
a ball of sliced cheese crumbles.
One more
From
ball.
him peeling one off the other.
This motherfucker couldn't even. No, because it's all in a big block and they slice it for you, so
Sure,
you can
sure.
decide how
yeah.
thick you want it. You know, it's the deli counter. But yeah, like everything was a question. Well, how thick do you want it, sir? Is this okay?
How thick do you want it, sir? I love
Hey,
that question.
Hi, Joey.
Yeah.
Joey in Canada.
Hi, Joey.
Hi.
Joey,
Would you
do
like-
they know that we know that they know?
We're talking about cutting
love
cheese
it.
right now, Joey.
Yeah,
so
We
you're-
are.
But back to be related to the story, I've actually been
Cat
to.
has one more ball than the guy in Florida. Of cheese.
All right.
All right. Wait for it.
Yeah,
Wrong.
I didn't realize you were going to wait that long.
Hesitation.
Oh, it's making me wait.
Hash-
Oh, that's
That was
anticipation.
very
I'm terribly
good.
sorry.
That was very good. I like it.
But anyway, so the new kid at the deli counter and the guy that was training him, like the usual guy at the deli counter, just kept looking at me and looking at him and looking at me and looking at him. And he kind of gave me a wink and tried to say something like real quiet under his breath. I'm like, it's seriously,
Yeah,
it's
we just-
fine.
we
like,
just gotta get through the cheese.
We just move right along.
We
Was it
we
new
have to get
employee-
through cheese to gender
Yeah.
issues.
Someday the new kid is gonna figure it out and he's gonna be real embarrassed, and that's enough for me. Like
Yeah.
Sure.
he's gonna turn 100 shades of red and apologize profusely, and that's just gonna be.
And you
fine.
know what? You'll just see it on his face. You'll
Yeah.
just see the face fall. And,
just go
oh,
ding, and he'll
no.
go.
Or he's just going to see you from now and be like, oh, there's the man orders the weird cheese.
Maybe that might be it
He
too.
like
likes
him the
cheese
cheese
balls.
balls.
No, I wanted a square stack of slices. Anyway,
I would
That coffee, we're all psychic.
I would have made him oscillate the cheese so that they're just not stacked exactly, so you can just peel them off.
you know, and
Drive him crazy.
And some of the guys do wonderful things. Some of them make like a cheese stairway where they just like stack them like
Oh,
slightly
yeah.
off. I enjoy the
I
cheese
feel like I need
stairway.
to go buy cheese with you because there's some things
Where
happening
is
here that
the-
are really.
Can I get an address of where you're buying your cheese?
To
Fry's
quote the Sound of
Marketplace?
Music,
It
it's
is
beyond
Fry's.
my ken. Okay,
Who's Ken?
I don't know.
Cheese man.
Yeah, Ken.
Yeah, no, I know.
Call him
Of
whatever you want.
things beyond my ken. Who's Ken? Still funny.
That's why the
Did
sing-along
you
sound
happen
of
to-
music works.
did you happen to
Just for that
verify-
moment. You wait 3 hours for that.
Was it new employee day at the Fry's Deli? Because you said you had the established guy that's looking at him
Oh,
like, what the fuck?
there were 2 new guys and 1 old guy. It was a very busy day.
okay.
Bring your
Everyone-
sexually confused friend to work day. It's not on every calendar, but
Nope.
let me tell you.
To throw you
only
off,
on
we're going to bring mysterious customers
That's right.
in that you may or may not
It's
recognize.
only on the LGBTQRST LMNOP
Every letter.
calendar.
Tabs keep
God
it.
only knows.
Wow.
Who knows? It's a good time going grocery shopping with me.
I think it's a good time going
good
about
time.
anywhere with you because you never know what you're going to
You
get.
never know.
Cheese.
Well, a ball of cheese.
God, were you not paying
Sometimes
attention to the
cheese.
story?
No,
It
how
is
do you-
cheese.
you don't-
No, but it
listen.
depends on where you're going. That day it was cheese. The newspapers show up at random times, other things.
It's very busy where I am.
Very busy. I enjoy this. This is good
Taking
shit.
a Zumba class.
You're taking a Zumba class.
It's very loud there. It's very loud.
Why does this thing say not charging?
Also,
don't know.
Joey from Canada is not in Canada. He's in Scranton, Pennsylvania, for heaven's
fuck
sake.
are you doing?
What's
Oh.
happening?
Scranton.
What's a Scranton?
Tell Uncle Joe. we said hi.
Funny story. Both sides of my family hail from the Scranton area.
Do they indeed?
Really Dixon City, which is close
Interesting.
by, but I've been to
Well.
Scranton, Pennsylvania more than any
Many
human
times.
ever should be.
Why do I feel like that is a? What are
They're
you
cousins.
doing?
My parents
Plugging
were
it
cousins.
in over here.
Yeah, but I feel like that's a movie.
Yeah, right.
Al Perkins starring in Dixon City.
no, it's really called Dixon City, and
Bye,
my
Harrison.
parents
Have a great
were
night, honey.
cousins.
Bye, sweetie. Oh,
Thanks for coming.
I'm sure they still are somewhere, but they were cousins.
I didn't usually go farther north than Stroudsburg.
I've not ever been.
As far as I go. Scranton seemed far.
This accessory may not be supported, so this does not work on the new iPad.
well then,
Oh, sad.
unplug it, dear Liza. Dear Liza.
we have.
I feel like we should
there's
move
a-
on to a
a
new
hole in the
story.
yeah,
bucket.
Try,
sure.
try.
like it's-
Here, take
Move
that.
along. Marty, you
unplug
got something
that.
next?
No.
Yes.
Unplug the
As a
USB.
matter of fact.
There you go. Now plug it in.
So,
That's what I was
you
gonna
know,
do. I'm just gonna plug it in
the
first.
little line I had was a bully and a moron walk into a bar.
This little item.
And quite frankly, I think we all know that that's the same person. Donald Trump,
Oh, all right.
right?
I'm gonna go pee.
So, I love Dan Savage. We've talked about
Oh,
Dan,
Dan
Savage,
Savage.
before.
Who gave us Santorum?
Yes, and has written
not
unsolicited advice for Hillary Clinton, and I agree completely.
All right.
Completely with this.
Bring it on.
Because there were so many things from the debate last night that would have been fantastic if she would just be like, so what about the emails, right? I mean, and just go at it. Because the minute that you kind of just go at him, he just shuts down.
Right.
And if you can get rid of a story, get rid of it. Don't give it any power, right?
Sure.
Right.
So at the end, I don't know if you guys, well, you said that you had watched some of the after
The after party.
the after party. And
Oh, I
that,
did not.
You know, oh,
I,
you
I,
had not.
I watched just a straight stream with no commentary, no
Okay,
nobody.
okay.
I watched because again, not having cable, so I
Right.
hooked onto YouTube and watched the live stream that was provided by the Washington Post, and they had no before commentary, they had no after commentary. It popped
Okay.
on, it was the whole debate. It popped and the stream died.
Okay.
And that was it. And I didn't go seeking out any spin, like I just couldn't.
Oh, you had been spinning so much just from watching the fucking thing, I'm sure.
Well,
'Cause
you know,
it-
word salad is hard to digest.
a little bit.
It's a little
little
tough
bit.
on the track.
You know, the thing that was interesting was right at the end where he became even more of a tantrum.
Incoherent.
Oh,
is-
even
is
more of a
the word for that.
That is the
tantruming.
phrase you're looking for.
That man is a tantruming fuck.
Well, and
he-
I could probably find the timestamp because when I recognized it happened, I went, oh well, he owes a quarter to the Secretary Clinton jar because he stopped Secretary Clintoning
And Hillary.
and Hillary.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So he clearly had been admonished by some staffer
Right.
that said you have to address her as Secretary Clinton.
Right.
You cannot call her Crooked Hillary. You cannot call her anything else. You have
But I
to
think, she
on this
was-
stage. You
right.
have to address
Yeah.
her properly.
I wonder how much of that was because she wasn't Mr. Trumping him at all.
But
She
I
was
think they had
Donald.
agreed to, if I remember correctly from the spin afterwards, I think they agreed to Hillary and Donald because she would have been Secretary Clinton and he would have been Mr. Trump.
Right.
And it would have seemed, it would
Like
have pointed
she
out.
was more power.
Yeah,
kind of
that,
thing.
so I
Sure.
think they had agreed on
Sure.
a more
So better
informal.
than dumbass.
Well, because she has been to his wedding and he donated to her
Sure,
previous
sure.
campaign,
Sure.
there is a familiarity there.
Right,
they
right,
do
right.
know each other.
Right.
Where Obama and Romney had never actually met.
Right.
That was their first time ever being in the same room together. These people know each other and their children are friends. Like
Got
it.
they're not unfamiliar. They have playtime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
so
but-
I heard.
But there was
But-
a point where that just dropped
It
off
flipped.
for him.
Yeah, you're right.
And
And
it
I-
was in the middle of word salad.
Yeah.
Like it was in the middle of I don't know what your 10-year-old did to the DNC,
He
but
was
he should stop.
absolutely wrong.
And I feel like he started off with going above the protocol
Right.
to Secretary Clinton and saying, I hope you're
Yeah, but
happy
being
or
a-
I hope you're
I just
happy. I
want
want you to be happy.
I want you to be
Yeah.
happy. So I feel
being
like
a dick
he
knob.
started off there as maybe going a little higher than they agreed to, thinking it might poke her somehow.
Sure. And it didn't.
And she was unflapped. Like, this
she
bitch
really was.
is unflappable.
She really was.
That is what we have learned.
And when she just started laughing, I thought, good, because it was
Yeah.
it was.
But she didn't laugh
absolutely-
till like 89
No.
minutes in that
And I
she.
love
Well,
when
no.
she was like,
You would have blame me for
"Gonna blame
everything.
it, babe." Why not? That's right. Why not?
Yeah,
I mean, it was
there
kinda
was
like,
a point where she
come
started
on.
to see the comedy in it.
because you couldn't not.
Well, because
and I
there was
think
a
it
point where I
great.
think everybody exhaled. All of us.
right.
It's so weird. I don't know
Yeah, there's
why
something
that
weird going on.
doesn't-
That's
weird.
okay.
It works on the phone.
There was a point where every Clinton supporter in their homes just
Right.
Right,
Like-
it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
like, and because
She's got
we
this.
saw
Well, and she knew the split screen. Like she paid attention that there was a split screen, and he did not. So he did look like a tantruming fuck throughout the entire thing. But
that wheels fell off the bus so hard
Yeah.
and so fast, and
they did, and then he just started.
So tell your story because then we have to talk about. it.
But the
'Cause it's my whole entertainment
interesting-
section.
Okay.
The interesting piece was that
One deaf dumb.
when right at the end, when it was like, well, nana boo boo. Well, I was gonna say something really mean.
Where'd you read
but-
that? Where'd you read that? Oh
yeah,
no, that was
no,
post debate where he
That
went
was-
nana nana boo boo.
That's when he said his nana boo boo. But at the debate, at the very end, he said, "Well, I was gonna say some mean things, but because you've been really mean to
Oh.
me and all the commercials and everything. But well, I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm the bigger boy in the sandbox right now.
Well,
'cause
what he
I'm
was going
good."
to talk about was about Bill Clinton's
Absolutely. No, no, no.
indiscretions,
Right.
and somebody had to like poke him and be like, "You cheated."
Shh,
The analogy you're
Wrong.
making
Yeah.
is to you,
right,
Ring,
you
ring.
dumbass.
not to her.
Excuse me,
Pot-
sir. It's the pot.
calling.
Yeah.
He wants
Calling-
to say you're
well,
black.
he's
Kettle
not-
has just
yeah,
a
but-
word or two for you.
By the way, but I love that he has really been working on his time in the last couple of weeks with the African American community. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
nice.
just in the last few weeks.
Just in the last few weeks, but I've been
Because
doing
they're
really
new.
well. They really like me a lot.
And Aaron, I'm really curious to see. Not all broadcasts had a split screen because I watched on
Oh.
PBS. As
Well, I
a
watched on MSNBC.
I watched
saw.
on CNN.
a point that was made
didn't know
somewhere
that.
on the Facebooks was about turn to PBS so that no one makes money off of this. But they didn't cut away for commercial.
I had a DVR, but
I was watching MSNBC prior. The New York Times did the live with comments going,
Interesting.
and they did it like live where you could see the hearts or the angry faces go
Oh,
by.
sure.
You could see all the emotions going by.
Yeah.
So I never saw one that wasn't split screen. So
Me either.
Aaron, you have to tell us where they were not split screen.
yeah, what
I
you were
stayed on the
watching.
one same feed because
I would have assumed that would have been a pool feed coming out
Right,
of there,
right.
not individual.
That's why
network.
I'm not sure.
But this was something that was interesting because of the comments from Trump afterward, where it was like, well, I mean, I wasn't going to say it in there, but I'll tell you now what I was going to say. Therefore, I didn't really say it.
Yeah.
That's how he's coming across.
Yeah.
Like a fucking, he's a child. And actually, that's just mean to children. But
seriously, my
last
kids are
ni-
good kids.
Right. Last night
Stop saying that.
during the debate, this was what he had said. He said, Hillary is hitting me with tremendous, that was the other fucking word, with tremendous commercials. Some of it said in entertainment. Some of it said somebody who's been very vicious to me, Rosie O'Donnell, and that's where he brought her up.
And that's just evil. She has children.
He
Like, that
but
really
he
is.
evil. Everything about him. I was going to say something extremely, he says, but do you want to know the truth? I was going to say something extremely rough to Hillary, to her family. And I said to myself, I can't do it. I just can't do it. It's inappropriate. It's not nice. But she spent hundreds of millions of dollars on negative ads on me, many of which are absolutely untrue. They're untrue. Wrong.
They had a witch
And
trial
they're
in his convention.
misrepresentations.
They had a literal
They did.
witch trial.
Yeah.
How say you? Guilty. They seriously went to Salem
Yeah.
in the 1600s.
Well,
Yeah.
Christie did. But
no, but that's
yeah.
his campaign advisor.
Well,
like
and
that's
when
not
he's,
that's not third cousin twice removed that lives in Scranton.
Right, when
Right.
he's
That's
like Rudy
Chris Christie.
Giuliani.
This is his team.
This is his team. Like,
These are his people.
When
not
he's
that I'm
like,
yelling at you
Rudy-
like
no,
you're
I
Trump,
know,
but I've had a lot of
Rudy-
coffee, so I'm gonna yell at everybody.
What? Wrong.
We're still talking about your linen.
When he said Rudy Giuliani is here, and I thought you're excited about that because that man's a fucking maniac.
Yeah, that midget munchkin thing
Jesus.
is
So, but it was very interesting to me because it's just exactly what he has done when he went to Mexico. Like he got up on the stage in Mexico and he presented himself,
And then
in-
fell apart an
and then
hour
he
later in
And then
Arizona.
he comes back to the United States and is like, "Well, that's right. Well, I told him."
He came here right after that.
And you're
"Shut
like,
up,
wait, we
you-
just watched that.
we
you
just
don't tell
saw
anybody.
it.
Yeah.
You're a moron."
Maybe we need to explain that there's this little thing called television.
No, he
little thing
thinks
called
everything
tape.
But
is just in the
everything's
ether.
scripted, right?
I mean, the very first
He
thing
can edit it.
One of the very first parts where it went wrong for him was when she did her thing about it was very strange because if you really watch, I'm just gonna take over now. If you watch the 15-minute parts of that debate,
Right.
he scored 1 point. He did really well on TPP.
Right.
He was
Yep.
on point, on message.
Yep.
She did her thing about fact check on Hillary.com, and it was a little weird. And he was like, "Well, we have that too."
Yeah.
Like you just, I must have that too.
Yeah,
Right.
Somebody
I'm sure
must be
I
doing
do.
that.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Right.
And it-
clearly 7 people got fired for not having that happen. Right.
Fact.com. So I mean, he did well for those first few minutes, which
Right.
the Trump
And
people
he
all
did.
last night in the spin room were like, "Oh, nobody watches after the first half hour," and he did really well. But
Nobody could turn off that.
But the
fucking train
minute
wreck.
she said, well, he said climate change is some hoax built up by China.
And then
And he was
Twitter
like,
exploded
"Oh,
with, dude, it's on your
your
Twitter.
Twitter
right,
account.
right.
And
Yeah.
it was like, you don't need factcheck.com. It exploded on Facebook. It didn't even
Everywhere.
take a second.
Yeah.
I don't
The
think
minute
the
it was
thought
out of his
bubble
mouth.
was out of his mouth.
Right.
And people were like,
Yeah.
you're like,
It's right here,
oh dear God,
dumbass.
that didn't even take half a second. And
Yeah.
it just went all over the place.
That
Like,
hive mind is powerful.
oh.
Well, and
I got a little scared for all of us collectively. I mean, that's the coffee talking. It's not because I'm about to shit my pants.
Drink some water.
I'm paying attention, Annette. Go ahead.
I'll be your water minder
Oh,
for the night.
the bullet
So,
points.
I honestly just have to say, like, it just fell apart there.
Yeah.
And you could see it. Well, the sniffling started immediately.
It did. I looked at Mom. I said, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. And it became the meme
And then,
with
but
the
it was
guy
his
from
microphone.
airport
Yeah,
or
that was
airplane.
funny. Yeah.
I guess I picked the wrong day to stop sniffing glue.
Mom said that
Striker,
she thought
striker,
it was
striker,
something
striker.
she thought it was something to keep him calm.
I can make a
That-
brooch
that-
or a pterodactyl. It just started to fall apart to where there were parts of it that you'd be like, huh?
Yeah.
Like there was one whole
I
section.
looked. I
and
paused it. I go, "What the fuck is he talking about?"
Oh, no.
That was just one
The
time.
the my 10-year-old is good at computer speech was.
What?
I was like, one of us is stoned,
right.
and Donald, I'm not.
Right.
I'm
Not
sober
right
as
now.
a judge,
Right,
but
right.
you got to call me because what?
Where are you going?
Where
on
did
this?
that go with
Yeah,
that? And then
yeah.
when he was like, well, no one knows that the Russians did it, I think we all pretty much agreed to that a little while
Pretty
ago.
sure,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I think the intelligence agency and the briefings you're getting from the secret.
Right.
No,
police
and,
or whatever
and,
they are.
and in answer with Anand's question, as far as the moderator, Lester Holt, he lost
Control of
he
that
lost
classroom
complete
in the
control.
first 3 minutes.
But he did it
He
on
tried.
purpose. He did it on purpose. And
All right.
he,
That's
he
very
said
fair.
from
I
the
can go with
beginning,
that.
I'm going to present a topic. They each get 2 minutes, and I'm not going to interrupt them. He said he was not going to fact
okay.
check. He only fact checked for a court decision.
Right.
The birther thing, which has to be said because
Right.
that's so blatantly a lie,
Right, right,
and
right.
he's a black man addressing a man who
Right,
brought up
right,
one of the
right.
most racist moments
Ever.
of the last 25, 30 years. I won't say ever because there's cross
There's a lot of
and
them.
lynchings
Well,
and
there's
Jim
some
Crow
things.
laws.
Sure,
So
sure.
it's been a
a
while
lot of
since we've
things.
seen something that blatantly
But in
racist
the
as the birthday
modern
moment
age.
in the modern age.
Yeah.
And there was one other time. Stop and frisk, which I was like, I'm sorry, was there someone left that didn't know stop and frisk was like?
Right. Unconstitutional.
Unconstitutional.
You're not allowed to stop brown people just
Oh,
because
so I
they're
mentioned
brown.
that one. So that was twice. So I can't remember.
Yeah.
There was a third one where he was like, but it was stop and frisk. It was birther, and it was one other thing that he was like, no, can't let that one slide. But the rest of the time, he did let them go after each other. And he's talking. We have 2 shootings this week, so you have to talk about racial tension with the police when one is being the law and order president, and one has like 98% of the black people
Right.
and people of color
But
voting for
in
her.
in 4 years, he'll have 95% of the black vote.
Right.
Just so you know, he said that. No, he didn't. Wrong.
Also, is Dick Wolf a contributor? Because the number of times that
Law
man
and
says
Order?
law and order, law and order, law and order.
order.
You know,
I'm pretty sure there's a new spin-off
Yeah.
coming.
There was a meme
was
that
very
had
funny.
Mariska Hargitay that kept says, "Please leave."
Yeah, right. Dun, 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 you're a moron. Now, as far as this article goes, and Dan Savage, what I loved about this was that it jumps on what I personally, just my opinion, think she needs to do. I agree with him. Because he comes out, well, I didn't want to say it. I mean, her husband was there and her daughter was there, and I really like her. I mean, she's a nice young lady. and blah,
He
blah.
respects her a lot.
He respects
He
her a lot.
respects Hillary,
Yeah.
Chelsea a lot.
Yeah, I decided not to say it because I didn't want to be disrespectful, but Hillary has said very bad things. She's mean. Shut up. Trump then told CNN he's probably going to bring up these not so nice things about Bill Clinton at the next debate.
How does it matter at all?
Right. How
Bill's
is
not
it?
the president.
That's exactly it.
Oh,
and
I
love
found out
this.
something very interesting.
But
But they can put together as far as the women vote and going after the woman's vote, the fact that she's stuck with him, right? The whole Tammy Wynette, stand by your man, and I'm not gonna. So there's.
Are they going to be a
all of
country
that.
duo now?
And the biggest thing was that she blamed the victim, kind of, or called the victim a liar, blah blah blah.
Monica.
But I have said to I'm like, I don't know where Monica's standing on this, but wouldn't it just be fucking brilliant if she brought Monica out on some kind of stage and the two of them sat there and went, we both were duped. We both were duped.
Yeah.
And, whatever, lay it to rest, just be done. But what Savage says is that Hillary Clinton he says, Hillary Clinton hasn't sent me an email seeking my advice, at least so far as I know. Maybe one of those 33,000 deleted ones were to me. But I've pulled together some suggested language for Hillary. If Donald Trump shows up at the next debate, which is an open question because Lester was so mean and the mic was so rigged and attacks Hillary by bringing up Bill's affairs, here's what she should say. And he goes on to say, the fact that there have been challenges in my marriage, Donald, isn't news to anyone. Right? I mean, just looking at him being like, done.
My one marriage. How's
one
your
marriage.
5?
Yeah.
Right.
How's your
3.
5?
My
I thought it was
husband-
more.
Nope, just 3.
3, right.
Same as
yeah.
Gingrich.
My husband hasn't always been faithful. That's true. It's also not relevant to the question before the American people. And that question is this. Which one of us, you or me, should be the next president of the United States? My husband isn't running for president. I am.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about affairs, Donald, let's talk about affairs. Yes, my husband has not always been faithful. Again, this isn't news. It should go without saying that his actions have at times caused a great deal of pain for me, for our daughter, and for all involved. It should go without saying, but here I am saying it. Because you want to talk about affairs. So let's talk about them. But first I want to say this. I love my husband. He's not perfect. My husband loves me. I am not perfect. We managed to work through the pain and save our marriage, like so many other people who face similar challenges, and I'm glad we're still together. And I love how we bring, because how many people can be sitting out
Right,
listening to
but
this
do you really
going,
want to give that much dignity to someone who had 3 affairs and
no,
left 2
but
wives?
that's it. He goes
Yeah.
on to, I mean, if she were able to just be able
right,
to give this back,
but that's a
because
lot of time of your presidential
it is.
debate, depending.
No.
Yeah.
But I think that's his
Yeah.
whole point. Not during necessarily the debate, but just the idea of being able to say you've bragged about the affairs you've had, right? You
I don't think
divorced
she.
your
I don't
first
think she
wife
gets anything
and
out of that
married-
though. Like
Yeah.
I
No,
really
but-
don't think that.
and it doesn't put it to rest because
like
You guys
it feels
are
good. It-
going
no.
with the idea
It
of her
feels
being
good.
on the debate stage.
Right.
What I'm saying is take any of that out of it. It doesn't have to be this much. But if there were some way that it could just be
Yeah.
but
But no one-
power taken like
I don't
completely
think
out
it
of
matters where or when or how. Like I don't think Hillary Clinton gains anything from doing that
Yeah.
though. I don't. I in
It just,
fact,
it just
I
brings
think
her
it
down.
hurts her.
It
Okay.
brings her down
Okay.
into
Yeah.
the mud of addressing.
That's
something
exactly what it
that's-
does. It justifies. It justifies the bullies. You know,
And it's like
poking
him
at you,
saying,
poking at you.
I put an end
Okay.
to I put an end to it. He'll be able to say, I put an
Right.
end to all this talk about the affair because I made her talk about
This
it.
went up
when no
and
one
down
else
and up
would.
and down. Like this went through the news and the jokes and the night. You know, the SNL. This went through the whole gamut.
Sure.
What 20 years ago
Yeah.
when it happened? You
Yeah.
know, so like she gains nothing from doing
Yeah.
that. She is. I think that she has made her peace. And her and Bill have worked out whatever
Sure,
they're going to work out,
absolutely.
and bringing that up and defending it does
I
nothing
think-
for her.
It just brings
feels
an
good.
ick
It
factor.
feels good. I get
but
it.
I think that for me, it's a different point than about the affair. It's or affairs. That it's not about that piece. It's about the power that he is trying to control, and so he sits there and keeps throwing this stuff.
But you're never going to
And-
teach a 12-year-old to stop making a
no,
fart
no.
joke, which is what he's. It's
Fart
what it-
jokes are hilarious.
Yeah, they really are funny. That may be a bad analogy.
in Macedonia, they're not very funny.
I laughed about a fart joke earlier today,
I'm
and
just
not
saying,
yours.
not in Macedonia. Nope. Anyway, I'm super okay to agree to disagree on that.
We're
It's
yeah.
just the idea that.
But I
the-
like that
the
Dan
reason-
Savage is that thought provoking. Like he's
Yeah.
bringing it out of.
Yeah.
And I thought what she did handle yesterday from that very well was when he brought up the emails and she was like, "I was wrong. I made a
Yes,
mistake. I would
and
never do
done.
it again." And
Right,
done.
right.
And there was he had.
Oh.
They opened up the
Yeah,
airplane
yeah.
hangar. They let him see blue
Yep.
sky, and
Yep.
he just
went
because it wasn't
oh,
about him.
Right.
He honestly did not know how to proceed with something
The
that
power
was not.
was taken out of it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
and-
what I mean.
well, no,
A
but-
ju-
And that's a problem, and that's a big
very
a big
smart person.
takeaway.
Even I had a response ready. I was like, "Oh, if I was his campaign
no, I know,
manager,"
but
he
for
can't.
him, he can't.
No, he can't. He cannot.
because unless somebody gets riled up, then he can't respond.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it because it's not.
And if it's not
flinging
about him-
poop in the
Yeah.
middle.
Now, seriously,
Right.
go back and read
You're
the
right.
transcript.
You're
And
right.
NPR has like fact
That
checks
was
and the
awesome.
whole transcript.
That's what I did through the whole thing.
But go through it, and every point is
Mm-hmm.
about Donald Trump. Like it's
Absolutely.
not about helping
Sure.
people. It's not about
Oh, it's
poor
me.
people.
And at
It's
one
not
point he
about
says,
rich
"Me,
people.
my family, my business, my employees." Like it never goes beyond him.
Right.
Like even when he's trying to be magnanimous and bring it outside, he can't. He can't get it outside of the people he can physically
Well,
see
and-
in the room.
And wouldn't we, the people, like to see a president who we can at least imagine gives a shit about our lives? Like, I don't expect them to understand my life. But at one point, this man, and I posted something about it on Facebook, he referred to more money than I will make in my lifetime
Yep.
as not a lot
I know.
of money.
Right.
oh, it wasn't
Right.
that much money.
It's more money. Now, 600 and some odd $1 million is more money than I will, in reasonable thinking, make in my lifetime. From the time I started working at 17 years
You're
old
right.
until I stop working when I'm probably 85 or whatever.
Optimistic.
Well, sure, I'm going to live to be 100, so 85 seems a good retirement age.
15 years of leisurely living.
That's exactly drinking, really.
Start
But
now.
you know what I mean? Like, add all of the money that I'll ever make and put it all together, and that's not a fraction of $600 million.
Yeah, it's not a lot of
Right.
money.
And that's
Oh,
not
no,
a lot of money
no.
to this guy. So really, like, relatable's not what I'm getting out of this guy.
No.
Successful's
Right.
not what I'm getting out of this guy.
And when he says, "Oh,
I'm
and
smart.
I'm smart. Like I don't pay federal
Oh, the
taxes.
tax
That
thing?
means
Yeah.
I'm smart."
Yeah.
Nope.
But how brilliant was her answer?
Oh my god, was she? And again,
On
now
point.
the spin now that's coming from the right. Oh, so first thing, well, Nant asks, do you think that tax cuts for the rich was a little hard for Clinton to sell? Not really, because that's kind of the Democratic way.
Yeah,
So-
but wouldn't it be good again?
no, it's
for
not tax.
transparency
It's
for
tax
her-
increase on the rich.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yes, tax increase for the rich.
but
Is
The
I
the
mean-
Republican mantra is cut taxes
Cut
at the
taxes.
top,
rich, and it'll
Right,
trickle
right.
down, and it rains.
But
Right.
but the thing that for something like
unless
that,
of course the top just put it all back into mutual funds and shady mortgage deals.
down in,
right.
down on
here's
the
the
island.
deal. For
Cayman Islands.
something like that, to make her more relatable, right? Because you're saying you can't relate to Trump because of all this
Right.
money. For her to look up and say, "Do you understand that I'm talking about rich? I'm rich,
Yeah.
and I'm talking
Sure.
about cutting these loopholes for me.
Right.
Like I'm one
And
of
that's-
the people." And why can't she say
but
that?
she also has an American dream story. She wasn't always rich. Her dad was a blue
Absolutely.
collar guy. Like, she has an American dream story.
Absolutely.
That's relatable. That's what we all believe that our children can have. That's the what did
Apparently
Lincoln
I'm
say?
just a
The
moron.
shining
I don't
star in
know.
the constellation of our Constitution is that we believe that everyone has a fair and equitable shot at
With
a good
charity
future.
towards all and malice towards none. Brings a tear to my eye every time I hear it.
Anyway, like that's the thing that we all believe, whether it's actually true or not, and it's less and less true, but that's
Yeah.
the thing that we all believe from the time that we can walk and know the country that we live in, that everybody has a chance.
Yeah.
Like, everybody can start from nothing and become a gajillionaire and become Mark Zuckerberg. Like, everyone has that potential. You know, and she lives that. You know what I mean? She's got speaking fees. She had a very successful. Her husband was president. She may be president.
Came from nothing.
Came
single,
from nothing.
Another person whose mother would have had to gone in boy drag to do a father
Yeah,
to be
father
able
son
to
breakfast
look up and say, Trump, don't
from a
you
place
think
called
that I
Hope.
would love to have your tax plan? Because it would benefit me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I'll agree with that. That does
That's
get you
what
somewhere.
I'm saying.
That does
it
get you-
would benefit me, but I don't want to benefit
And
me.
she had a- she
you
had a-
want to benefit you.
She had a really, really bad, honest, bad optics moment where she described her and Bill as leaving the Oval Office flat broke.
Right.
And they were up
Right,
to their
right,
ears
right,
in
right,
debt, but they made it back, and everyone knows they're going to make it back in speaking fees,
Sure.
book deals. You're going to be broke for like 35 seconds, or
Right.
someone's going to give you some money because they like you. So she had a very bad moment with. So she has to really watch what she says about where she falls
Sure.
on the income scale, and she's kind of stuck in that I come from middle class roots,
Right.
and then no, you can't think of anything else after because she made that really bad blunder, and
Sure.
it really was
Yeah.
an honest story. But really bad optically.
Correct me if I
sonically,
heard
if you
something.
will.
Correct me if I heard something wrong, but I've seen it multiple times. They keep showing the clip. Did anybody else catch what she said with regards to what Trump was saying about? He says that women only deserve equal pay if they work as good as men, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing.
yeah.
She said that, and I think she
I don't
transposed a couple words. She did. That's not. I don't believe that's how she meant it. Not like. To me, it almost sounded like she's saying women can't do the same job as men.
Yeah,
Okay, I
her
didn't
wording
catch
on that was a
that,
little
yeah.
The
awkward.
awkward to me,
Okay.
but I have not heard anybody else bring that up. But to me, I was like, I don't think I would have said it
Right.
like that.
And I thought Clinton's response about race relations, while they were both old white people standing on a stage speaking about race relations, so they were never going to get further than awkward.
Right.
Awkward was as good as it was going
Right.
to get. But when you
Yeah.
get up there and you are talking about the problem we're having with our local police and our communities of color, you honestly can't just keep screaming law and order and stop and frisk. You
Right.
can't bring up the one thing that really, really made a problem in New York City and brought it really shockingly close to home that even the white people in New York City were like, I was smoking a joint next to that guy and he's in prison and I'm still standing here because of stop and frisk.
Correct.
And it was going on at such a rampant level and it was so obviously discriminatory. So he went right to that. Like it just went wrong for
Right.
him
No, no, no.
immediately.
And
So
it-
even her awkward, I'm an old white lady, even though I was the first lady of a southern state for many years, three, 4 terms, however long she was. It really was the right way to go, knowing he was going to go so off the rails with, nope, Black lives don't matter, stop and frisk.
Sure.
That was the best thing ever.
Sure.
New York was safer because of racist politics. And we're going to bring up the part of Rudy Giuliani that even Rudy Giuliani probably sat in the audience and was like, that's not the shit to bring up about me.
I kept thinking that he was looking down there because he would be like this, kind of looking and squinting, that they were sitting there with like postcards like, shut the fuck up.
Flashcards.
Oh, no, the
Yeah.
squinting really did look like he was trying to
It
get
did.
musical cues from somebody. I
Yep.
felt like, wow, he doesn't know what to say here. But she
Exactly.
was so lined up ready. And so her
spot
gun
on.
control, I thought was perfect. I thought her gun control argument was like
Oh,
smack on
Yes.
the nose, and that she went for no fly list. Her
Yep.
like she hit that
Yep.
right in the sweet
Yep.
spot where he had to be like, well, I agree with Secretary Clinton about
Yeah.
the no fly zone. Like, where's you gonna go?
However, Donald Trump, I think, is the first politician that I've ever heard say, I want to take away your guns.
Yeah.
when he said that, and I saw your Facebook note about that, and I was like, what did he say?
Yeah.
And then I later saw the clip of it. I'm
Yeah.
like, Where you can take away their guns.
Wait a minute.
Whose guns is he taking away now?
The first politician ever to say, "Let's take away their guns."
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Now
Red-
I understand he
I mean,
was just
seriously,
talking about brown people. I understand.
Here's a dramatic reenactment of Charlton Heston in his grave. Woo!
Seriously.
Flipped over.
I'm sure
seriously.
some of those good old boys down in Arkansas and Louisiana that are backing him are all of a sudden like, huh?
No, because it's us and them.
Yeah, and the them is
Oh, take away the guns from the
From
N-word
them.
and for the bad guys.
It doesn't matter who it is.
No,
It's them.
Them.
Yeah.
Not me.
We're the good
Good
guys.
guys.
Right.
It's always them.
And
Fair.
he did throw in the caveat that we will help people who are unjustly on the no-fly list get off the no-fly list, because you remember Ted Kennedy was famously on the no-fly list because
That's
of
right.
a clerical error. Not that he ever gave a shit.
I'm sure Ted Kennedy was all right with
Yeah,
it.
he was okay with that. I'm just trying to go through what was going on, and the immigration thing I thought was strange that it didn't come up. But I think one of the things, and I'll bring this up because I've had a lot of coffee. One of the reasons why I think it didn't is because Obama has deported more people than I think any other president. Somebody fact check me on that, but I think we've had more deportations under his presidency
I feel like that might be right.
than any previous president. So for him to bring up immigration policy when his big immigration speech here in Arizona was just basically reading down the checklist of Obama's administration's policies on immigration.
The first reply on Google says that Obama's government has deported more than 2.5 million people, up 23% from George W.
Yeah.
Wow.
More shockingly, Obama is now on pace to deport more people than the sum of all 19 presidents who governed the United States from 1892 to 2000. So yeah,
Yeah.
Obama's sending a lot of people home.
Right. So, and I think that's why it comes because you can't tell the bubbas down south that people
Right.
are being deported because they won't hear it, and that
Right.
net immigration in the U.S. is I think negative now. If it was 0 for a while, and I think now it's actually negative. That we're deporting more than are coming in any way, shape, or form.
Very nice.
It's an Ava Longoria talking point how aggressive he's been. So I think it comes up as a negative, and I think they told him, like, your speech in Arizona was just basically reading Obama's immigration plan.
Right.
And, so, I mean, I'm curious to see after how badly it went. And like I said, the first two things will give him one win, one draw, and then to bring up stamina when he changed it, like, I didn't say looks, I changed to stamina. And I was sitting at home because The Ringer, who is keeping it 1600, shout out to The Ringer,
Yeah.
they were doing, they did live prior and live after.
Okay.
So they went dead for the time in between, in the time of the actual debate. So I was sitting there without any commentary around me, and I'm thinking, did this just go off the rails, like, and just keep going off the rails? And then when he asked about the woman from Venezuela that won Miss Universe, and he called her Miss Piggy, and he went and walked her to the gym to tell her she was fat and said she likes food.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, where'd you hear that?
Well, even
It's
after
on the internet!
on
Right.
Morning Joe,
It
whatever,
actually
he was
happened.
talking about that, and he said, "Well, she did gain
an enormous amount of weight.
and her
Was it
attitude
15 pounds? It wasn't enormous.
It
Well,
was a
it
more.
doesn't even
was
matter.
more than
Even
that,
if
but
it's
it
an
wouldn't
ounce.
matter.
No, I know, but I mean,
you're right. It
again,
wasn't like 300
right,
or the
she-
400-pound person sitting on the bed. But it was very interesting because he's like, and then her attitude, and I thought,
Yeah.
oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, you are exactly what we're
Oh
saying.
my God.
Right.
And for
and when
those,
she came back and said, "Oh, by the way, she's an American citizen now, and she'll
I
be
loved
voted."
it.
she gonna vote.
I
honey.
thought that was brilliant.
That was great.
That
Yes.
was
And then
brilliant.
who should we ask about your better temperament? Well, let's just ask you. You
Sure.
are the only research.
Right.
Call Sean Hannity.
Nobody wants
Wrong.
to, but he'll
And
say
Wrong.
it.
I will say for my
Wrong.
Bernie
didn't say
people
that.
as we reconcile and make good to get our
Sure.
way through November. You Bernie people, you never Hillary's feel the burn fuckers have got to shut the fuck up because we pivoted to the general election. She got you not free college, never gonna happen. Affordable college.
Yep.
She got the rich to pay for it.
Yeah.
She said no more private federal prisons, and she wants to stop private prisons
Right.
on the
Hallelujah.
state level. And she was very clear about income inequality
she
and equal
was.
pay for women. So if you're one of those feel the burn fuckers that went to Gary Johnson,
Yep.
or whatever that crazy bitch's name, that
Jill
the anti-vaxxer.
Jill, I don't
Yeah.
believe in science, Stein.
She
Yeah,
is
yeah,
nuts. But if you're on that train,
Yep.
you got to shut the fuck up because she pivoted to the general
Well,
and
but
she
what were
stayed.
they
And this is
saying
the
on
uncomfortable
NPR?
part. This is the uncomfortable part. Hang on. This is the uncomfortable part of democracy is called compromise.
Yeah.
Where you don't get everything that you want.
Right.
And I'm speaking very simply and slowly to the Bernie people.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get everything that you want, but instead of free college, if you can get out of college with no debt,
Yes.
I feel really good about that.
Or you don't have, like I do, you don't have debts, like because I do have them, not that
Sure.
I don't have them.
Right.
That you don't have debts that you envy a loan shark's interest rates.
Right.
That you're not
Yeah.
sitting there looking at it going, how after 10 years do I still
Do I
owe
still
that
owe
much
all
money?
this much money?
I could have paid off like a car and a half in this amount of time.
Seriously.
Yeah, and a nice car too.
Sure, sure.
You know what I mean?
But what about that
Saturn
the
and above.
privatizing prisons or the federal government? Because that was one thing I read on NPR, where when they went down through the fact checking, and she said federal government is now
they're now
going,
I wonder if
they're
I
now
can
getting
see
away
this
from
page.
privatizing
but
prisons.
NPR said not true.
Oh no.
Which I thought was interesting. Not that it was a full lie, but it was.
Well, they're phasing out. They're not gone, right?
It was the way that they put it was no.
we'll have to Google
yeah,
that.
Because I thought there
I
was
wish I
some-
could search this page. I have the whole transcript up and I can't search it.
Yeah, that was the one thing
Why?
that I thought
That's
was
odd.
really interesting.
Because I can't find the way to search in my browser. I don't know
Which
how.
browser do you have?
Chrome.
How
How do I just search a page?
Go
So
find.
Oh, you're exactly right, Joey.
and Jenny,
Oh, fine.
there's a lot of
there it is.
there's
You have
if
changed my world.
if
Clayton
you
McKee.
look to the
More than once.
Gary Johnson seems. Oh no! Oh, Anant, there was not enough on climate change at
No.
all.
Okay.
but
No.
it was.
But there will be.
There will be because I
Yeah.
think that's more a global
Yeah.
conversation. I
and
don't
I
think.
think
I
this
don't.
was
I honestly.
just touching on certain issues.
I don't think he's
and,
gonna.
yeah.
I don't think he's gonna show up for another
Okay,
debate.
the prison thing on the NPR thing. My God, you have changed my whole world. You have no
Christmas.
idea. This
I
I'm
use
not
it
sure
daily.
what just
I'm gonna
happened,
go search
but
the
I'm
shit
gonna
out of
need
that.
Oh
to
yeah,
ask-
I use it daily.
I need to know what you just
Oh
said
my
after
God.
the show.
How to
Okay.
search web pages through the Chrome
Yeah.
browser.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
I can fact check so much faster because I'm really
All
good
right.
at
Well, why don't
keywords.
you start telling it?
Shut up.
Well, did you find it? Wrong. I did not say that.
The fact checking. So
Cheers.
NPR, and we'll post it into the chat room, took the transcript of the debate, and then they have inserted fact checking.
Got it.
Keep
Okay.
in mind, as they were typing along, they were able to get everything Hillary said. But when it came to Donald, they were like, blah, 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 blah.
Word
blah.
salad.
I mean, word salad.
Word salad
They
is
couldn't
my
keep up with them.
favoriteest
Yeah.
catchphrase
Yeah.
to come out of.
I never said that.
Sarah Palin.
Oh, so
Yeah.
good. Anyway, private prisons. The fact check is private prisons are not being phased out throughout the federal government. The Justice Department's Bureau of Prisons is phasing out its reliance on private prisons, but Homeland Security, which has more than 70% of its non-citizen detainees in private prisons, is studying the issue, but has made no commitments.
Commitments. Okay.
So, sort of true. Is
Okay.
is the the end of that, because Hillary's quote was, "I'm glad that we're ending private prisons in the federal system. I want to see that ended at the state."
Right.
Right. So
Kind
of.
of.
Kind
right,
of.
Right. Okay.
It's not a pants on fire.
So, right.
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 But it
so
is-
it was
but you-
leaning.
But you
toward-
definitely got her stance on prisons, like, and for the field of burners, you got your college thing. You got who was paying for it. We're gonna tax the rich, make sure they pay their fair share. You got to dig against a billionaire
Right.
standing next to you. You got your prison thing, and you know what I mean.
I thought about this last night as I was watching the aftermath. Remember, I haven't yet, and it's recorded.
And please-
I'm gonna
please
go
don't
watch
miss it. Honest to
no,
God,
I'm gonna watch it.
yeah.
But I was watching the aftermath of everything. We were talking about the lovely and talented Brian Williams earlier. Just after it was all over, Brian Williams, and I think when you started talking about it, you could tell he was excited to make this toss, and they tossed it to Chris Christie. And Chris Christie, they were asking him about. Of course, Christie thinks, hey, by the way, where's Krispy Kreme's, kiosk?
Right,
and then blah blah, about this all stuff. And at one point, and I wish that I had the audio clip. At one point, Chris Christie actually says something about they were fact checking as well. If you just want to go with facts on this, that's fine. Or something to that effect.
Oh, yeah.
And when they came back to the desk, Rachel Maddow was like looking at Brian like, it was fantastic.
And
There were that, and then the one with Marianne. What's her name? What's the Marianne? Whatever.
Oh.
when she
Trump's-
Right, his
Yeah,
campaign manager, when she's sitting with
Oh,
Chris
Kellyanne.
Matthews, Kellyanne
Kellyanne,
Conway.
right.
She's sitting with Chris Matthews.
God, she's aged.
Just in this week.
And asking.
Well, and specifically last night.
Yeah.
He keeps asking her questions and asking her questions, and I'm still in shock every time they toss to her, no matter what show. And they're like, "Well, what does so and so believe or feel about this?" Well, you'd have to ask him. You're the manager
manager.
of the campaign. Why do you not have
do-
answers?
and when you watch
I
Kelly,
have one vote.
whenever you have Kellyanne come on and she's completely clueless as to where his doctor is, where the notes come from, why he's being audited, if it's
Where he
federal.
even is?
So you're like, my follow-up question would be two things. Have you met him? Because it seems like no.
She was with him a lot. She said,
I was in Trump towers all the time, and I know this, and this about him, but I don't know any of that. And there's an old movie called The Cheap Detective, where Madeline Kahn comes in this beautiful outfit into Peter Falk's, who's the chief detective, comes
Columbo
into his
again?
office, and he says, I have to ask you a question. She's like, a woman knows many things. Who killed your husband? Well, why would a woman know that? And every time she talks, I just feel like she's going to go, well, why would I know that?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, how come?
A woman knows many things. And it's just so, it was just so crazy. And the things that she had loaded up and ready, and the best one, and you know they grilled her. And if you listen to Keeping It 1600.
Well, did you hear what she said when she walked off the stage? Oh my God, that was Jim or whomever had played the part of Trump in her debate practices.
Oh, and got it spot
And
on.
it was spot on. Like, apparently she was like, that's the first thing she said off the stage. Holy shit, that was, that was
Wow.
that guy.
And just the fact that
Yeah.
they were probably planning every poke up until the last one about Miss Venezuela, thinking, okay, it may take till the 9th or 10th poke till he unravels. And when she got him on poke number 2 and was like, I'm just going to stand here.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
And you just watch her face, and she's just like, she must be looking at Bill like, oh shit, you didn't tell me it's going to be easy.
And that's the advantage and
he just
disadvantage
keeps
that Hillary has is that
unraveling.
she just has to stand by.
Sure. Yeah.
Like
But-
that
And
pile
not-
of shit's just
and
gonna
not
burn
look
itself
smug.
down on your porch.
And not look completely smug and not
Oh,
take
no.
it,
And-
not take
Yeah.
it for granted.
The absolute
Right, you
beautiful part
can't
was
gloat. She
you
cannot
sit-
gloat.
Right.
You sit in front of Congress for 11 hours and
Right,
talk to me
I
about
loved
stamina.
that.
When the Republicans,
Well-
Boom.
when somebody comes after you, you
Yeah.
sit there and take it. And I was like, oh, bitch,
Wrong.
you just had pneumonia
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, and I haven't gotten,
Right.
I'm in
And-
this
and-
outfit.
and what does he have?
They're still talking about in delivery.com.
And what does he have? He has a bad mic and the sniffles.
And the bad mic was like, was there something I didn't hear? Because I heard your stomach.
Wrong.
rumble.
it was the mic that fed into the theater,
He
not
got-
the pool
but
feed.
he got cheers when he
Right?
should've.
No, exactly, he did.
But she was loaded. Let me just finish with she was loaded for so many things, and
Didn't need
the
'em.
one that I think landed so hard they should have just dropped the curtain is when she was like, "Oh, I think he's commenting on me not preparing for the debate. You know what else I prepared for?
Being president."
I was just gonna say that.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that was
Boom.
seriously like, I'm gonna go home. You know what?
Yep.
Felt good. Good talk. Like good
You've
talk.
got a point.
I
You've
gotta
got a
go.
point.
Yep.
I was equating. I almost put a post on Facebook today because of that very line. It's like going to, you're gonna go get your driver's license and you just watch everybody else drive for a while and figure out that's how it's gonna be done. You don't prepare for it. Why? Don't prepare. No, you need to prepare. You need to
Yeah.
figure this out. Oh, and they kept asking Conway, whatever the fuck her name is, Skeletor. They kept asking her if he gonna do mock
Skeletor.
debates. Is he gonna do mock debates? Is he gonna prep? Will he prep for this one? Well, Chris Matthews is like, well, not well.
No, I love when he
It
goes,
worked out really well.
He honestly got an Arrested Development her like huh? Like Chris Matthews was obviously like blindsided as they said last night on
He
Will and
prepared
Grace.
for this shit show.
Really, you're gonna sell that
You're
here?
gonna say that? You couldn't just give him a cold and say that he'd been under the weather?
Right.
Yeah, right. That's the time to pull out the pneumonia card. Oh, he had pneumonia this week.
Yeah.
So, but we have to remember as we're all gloating, and the fact that it really was just it turned into
God damn.
it turned into Christmas and Thanksgiving
did.
and my birthday,
But
mixed together with a really nice
You
orgasm.
didn't get to see it. But the response after, I still can't believe how these fucking people can sit there and be like, how do you keep a straight face when they're like, well, I actually think he won. I think that he
that was CNN.
on point.
Oh, Frank,
blah, blah,
Frank,
blah.
what's his name?
Lord,
Jeffrey Lord.
Dumbass.
Jeffrey Lord. And it was just
Oh
so funny
my
because the
God.
one guy, just the other guy who's Republican but not for, he was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
He's
Right?
like, he's like, I'll give you one.
But again,
one good
those
point.
first 2 points was the most
It's
coherent I've ever seen the man.
Right. He
Like,
studied
it
one
was-
thing because he's got that trade thing down. But
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and he did have that, but it blew my mind that anyone would even say, even for that first half hour.
oh yeah, that
He
should be
had
president.
No,
No, I mean he scored a
he
he
made
scored
a nice
debate
point, and he
Great,
sounded
yeah.
intelligent on a thing.
A thing. He scored
The
a
end.
debate point against
Right.
a really skilled debater. Hats
Really?
off
Right.
to you.
Yeah.
But then
Look-
you turned into a 12-year-old who fidgeted.
By the way, I think you're being very, very kind.
Okay, Nate.
Because I'm gonna say like maybe 4 or 5.
Stop insulting my children.
Exactly right. Stop insulting all the children of the world.
But see, no one here is factoring in the inherent and systemic sexism that exists in the country and
right. You're right.
the bias that she's up against. You know what I mean? Like if she had raised her voice and pounded that podium,
You're exactly right.
she'd have been. Oh,
Sure,
this,
she's a shrew.
This crazy bitch. She must be.
Right.
It must be that time.
Right.
You know what I'm
Well,
talking
even
about?
with with her cackling, kind of,
Right.
because they call it
she can't
cackling.
She can't
right?
laugh a certain way. She
Right.
can't smile a certain way. I saw people commenting on her smile. Like, and these are people that I know and love
Yes.
and respect. But they're talking to me about her smile. They're talking to me about, well, why didn't she wear a taller heel? Why didn't she wear a smaller heel? What the fuck do you care? What shoe? Do you know?
Correct.
Do you know what kind of Dr. Scholl's dipshit had on?
Right.
Nobody cares. So there's, you know what I mean? Like there's that subtle. You don't know it unless you know it.
Yep.
That
you don't know.
now you know.
Yep.
But you just, you know what I mean? She has to stand there and put up with the emails over and over and over again, because you know what, if she slams her hand down on the podium and says that's a fuck enough,
Exactly.
then
You're
she's
a dumbass.
crazy angry
She
bitch.
is.
She's
Oh,
unstable.
She is. She's
But-
on
You know
her
what I mean?
period
I
at
think
68.
she did the absolute best.
I do too.
Best. She's on point. She's intelligent. She's 100% prepared.
And is
she
this
didn't
bitch
get
cool? Like-
and she didn't get rattled.
Right.
No.
And
Not
she
a bit.
wasn't dismissive, and yet she dismissed the
Right.
fuck out of it.
There's this tiny little tightrope that this woman
Yes.
has to walk, and I
Oh.
swear to God,
in
a
heels
pantsuit.
And a pantsuit.
I love a good
And
pantsuit.
kitten heels.
Wrong. I love it, Clayton. You're right.
But you know what I mean? I've talked about it before and had a discussion with someone where I said that I would vote for Hillary regardless, because you know what? I could 100% disagree with her politics. I could be vehemently opposed to almost everything that comes out of her mouth, but the grace and the sheer force of will with which she's doing this, I'm on board 100%.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
And the fact that a
Did
tweet
any-
from Cher rattles him, and
Right.
she can
I
take
know
11
it.
hours in
Yes.
front of a Senate committee,
Yes.
Right.
or the House committee.
Yeah.
She can take a 90-minute thing and not
Right.
even not crack once.
Sure.
And when she was just like, "Oh, just blame me for everything," because she kind of put it in the hands of America. Like,
Right.
you're just blaming me for everything now. So what I learned today that I did not know previously, and I honestly would have sworn on a Bible and bet you $1 million, turns out NAFTA is not Bill Clinton. You know,
No.
it's Bush.
Ooh,
Yeah.
was it Bush? He signed
It's
it.
Bush the
right?
first.
Yeah.
It's Bush the first.
Right, but did he sign
think
it?
Bill
or
did sign
he
it.
come
Nope.
up with it
Signed
and then
by
Clinton signed it?
Signed by HW.
Okay. By the way, how fun was that when NPR at least twice got in that fact checking was like, okay, so the last time that the job rate was as high as it was Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
And
for
then
comparison, jobs per
Carter,
year was
and
strongest under this
then-
fine
yeah.
feature.
You're welcome.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, it was fantastic because
Yeah.
they did it at least
Strongest
twice.
under Bill Clinton, followed by Carter,
Yep.
then Reagan, then Obama, then H.W. Bush,
Right.
and then
But
W.
what
Bush.
are the numbers? Like, it's by going from Clinton to
2.8 million.
W.
Under Bill Clinton?
166,000?
Yes. 160,000.
That was the job growth.
Yeah. So I'm going to
I mean,
read this
it
from
was
PolitiFact because
fantastic.
I honestly was surprised by this information. So I'm just going to read it. I don't know. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has repeatedly criticized the NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement, and pointed out that it was signed by Bill Clinton, husband of his Democratic opponent Hillary Clinton. Now this, which spreads stories on social media, has accused Trump of getting it wrong repeatedly. Trump saying that Bill Clinton signed the treaty and follows 4 of them with superimposed comments in false note.
NPR saying that he did sign it.
Clinton signed the deal on December 8th, 1993. His speech that day is available in print form and on YouTube. However, should be noted that Clinton is the only one responsible for the deal. It was inaugurated by his Republican predecessor, George H.W., who signed the initial version of the treaty in December 92 before it was submitted to Congress for ratification, and after he had lost to Clinton. Clinton had campaigned for changes to the deal and sought side agreements requiring Mexico to enforce labor standards, improve working conditions, and create better environmental safeguards. Okay, so that's a good thing. After a tough political battle, he campaigned for it. It was agreed, and he did sign it. So,
Also, through the same fact-checking article, from a nonpartisan congressional research, it says that most studies show NAFTA had a relatively small impact on the economy, did not cause huge job losses, and the net overall effects of NAFTA on the U.S. economy appears to have been relatively modest. So, like, this big disaster,
and that's one that's the good politics, bad optics.
Yeah.
It looks bad, and it is the thing that you can always throw back in their face. You can always go back on NAFTA because everyone knows the plants that went to Mexico, the plants that went to Canada. We can all name a favorite cookie that's now being made in another country, and we blame it on NAFTA. That is a common mistake, and it's one of those things that like
Fucking NAFTA.
Talking about Nabisco?
fucking NAFTA. Yeah, Nabisco went to Canada right
That's
afterwards.
right. That's right.
Ding.
Yeah.
So it's very strange how that could go, but just remember that in 2012, Obama tanked the first debate.
Yes.
Really did poorly,
That's right.
and for a brief but glorious time, Romney
looked good.
Obama,
Yeah.
he surged in the Romney surged in the polls.
That was such a fun episode to listen to.
I remember being like, "What did you do?"
You guys
Yeah.
were so drunk that
Oh my
election night.
We were so
God.
nervous. We were on edge.
Yes, I know.
So it
We got one coming up, too. We're going to
Yeah.
be sitting here.
yeah, it really is going to be tough to watch, and the swing states are changing. It's very
Right.
interesting this year that it's going to be Iowa, Pennsylvania. It's the Rust Belt that's going to decide it, as Will and Grace pointed out so admirably.
I really got to watch that whole thing.
I
keep
haven't
getting
seen that yet.
interrupted.
So
I have
we'll
not
just
seen
go.
that.
No
Nope.
music. We'll just switch to entertainment really
We'll
quickly
watch
for
it
two-
after the show
for
if you
two
want to.
things. Yeah, we should watch it before before
Oh,
we
sure.
all
Yeah,
go
yeah,
home.
fun.
Very fun. Will and Grace, the cast of. I haven't read all the specifics. I'm assuming James Burrows had something to do with that because of the style of it looked so on point,
It was exactly
and the
the
fact
same.
that all four of them, and then Rosario shows up at the end. They fell back into their characters and their chemistry like not a day had gone by. It was so beautifully.
People were very
Done.
confused. Is this coming
I
back?
thought the series
Is
was
it-
coming
yeah.
back. I'm
Oh,
like,
I
well,
was
no.
so excited. I'm like, is there a
lot
whole
of people-
season?
I know.
But I
Yep,
honestly think
I
that was
lost
a
my
pretty
mind.
strong argument
that
for
it
bringing
could happen.
Right.
bringing
Sure.
it back.
10
yeah.
years later. Will and Grace
Because
10 years
they
later.
just hit it, and they got their argumentative side out that they
Sure.
still can have an argument, still bring up adult issues and have some conflict, and have it be genuinely
Katy
funny.
Perry loves her. I'm
And
with her.
bingo
I
was
know.
her name. Like, and the cultural references down to last week. Like, they
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
the cultural
Yeah.
references down to mere minutes ago. But when he goes, and bingo was his name-o. I'm
No,
with her.
I'm with her.
Just perfect.
The writing was just flawless in that. All of it was.
And
Who'd have known El Chapo was cleaning my bathroom?
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh,
to
the
see
only
that.
thing that's deplorable is that
it's
wall
so-
isn't
it's
high
super
enough.
cute.
yeah.
They're
Super,
bright.
super
They're
So many
bright,
funny
yeah.
things.
Yep.
So we're just gonna do the Death Den for a really,
I guess I missed.
really, really brilliant director that died
Oh.
this week.
Not worth it.
So we're just gonna go through, and hopefully this site, because I will not go to IMDb on any kind of a web form. So we'll go with his film
Why?
career. Oh no, I forgot his first name already. Jesus Christ. Curtis Hanson, writer and director. He won the Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay in 1998 for co-writing L.A. Confidential with Brian Helgeland. And he has the distinction of being the director of the only movie to win all the precursor awards to Best Picture and then losing Best Picture to Titanic, because Titanic was released so late and no one screened it because they assumed it was going to be a terrible flop because of all the gossip about it. So the steamroll of Titanic didn't start till the day it opened, because everyone was expecting it to be this horrible movie that was going to be awful, because they had all those problems on set with the cast being laced with LSD and going over budget. And yeah, they were all laced with LSD.
I did
And then the ship sinks.
The story about the
I
stories
heard
about
that the boat sank.
Yeah.
Like on the first
crazy
day.
stories.
Yeah, fucking almost ruined the whole goddamn thing.
So we'll go into what he did here. But LA Confidential is the big kahuna that really was on its way to winning Best Picture, and everyone had already written off Titanic, and then Titanic literally sailed into theaters and just stole the nation's heart, and it was pretty much all fucking over. So he did The Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
Oh, that was so good.
A movie that everyone loved back in the day, The River Wild
Brilliant.
with
Oh
Meryl
my
Streep.
God.
I don't know that I saw that one.
With Meryl Streep on
don't think I did.
she's on the river trip with her family.
I've
and
never been
I
the same with Kevin Bacon
did.
since.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Bacon.
Okay,
Always been really
right.
suspicious of him ever since.
It's
true.
Yeah, I thought he was a little footloose in that one.
He did Her Shoes, which was a wonderful movie with
Tony
Toni
Collette.
Collette, which really
that's so
it
cute.
seems
I
really
love that.
sappy, but it's a really
No, I
good
love
and
that
enjoyable
movie.
movie. He did Wonder Boys with Michael Douglas, which was really good.
that's it.
He did 8 Mile with
That was
Eminem.
good.
Eminem. He did Lucky You, and I'm trying to think. He has one more big one in here. He did the TV movie Too Big to Fail about the beginning of the financial crisis that he did for HBO. And he did. Let's get to the filmography.
Do you want the list of his director credits?
The Bedroom Window. If you've never seen The Bedroom Window, I recommend it highly. It is Maureen McGovern, Steve Guttenberg, and Isabella Huppert.
No. I
And
went with Rossellini. I thought I was going to be.
It is a wonderful thriller. Just wonderful. And I was unaware that he was the director of that movie and loved it. And it was one of those movies that the Chavez family and I went and saw on some holiday weekend. And went and saw it, and we're just absolutely like, wow, that was good. And I remember we saw it in the movie theater as a group. We rented it like later in the summer as a group, and we were like obsessed with The Bedroom Window. And so when I saw like with Wonder Boys and all the other great things that he had done, that he did that, I was kind of like, I was thrown for a loop that he had such a wide range. And LA Confidential, if you've not seen it, Kelly Spacey, his sister.
I know. Is that the long lost twin? that
Kevin
nobody-
Spacey at his best. There's just so much goodness in LA Confidential. So sad, and he died very, very young. Let me get an age on him.
Very, very young. You died. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I didn't know there was a song about it. Oh,
I
yes.
just came
I'm shocked to admit that he was 71 years old, so that's fine. But it's about time.
Well, you're still dead. Still dead.
Old enough. Bye, Felicia.
Old enough.
So there you go. So that was our death den thing. Oh, and then local listeners. I almost forgot.
Local listeners. Oh,
local
yes.
listeners. Big news. I'll tell you a short story.
Bigly news.
And I'll tell it fast because of the coffee.
We've got time.
In the high school, some of you might remember that I went to that. Sean Hayes is coming into the Arizona Theater Company in Act of God.
I don't know that is Sean Hayes actually coming with that?
he's
That's
coming
his musical.
because he toured with it.
It's
No, it's a
him.
one
is he
man. It's
touring
a
with it?
one man show. It was originally Sheldon from Big Bang Theory on Broadway. He took over and he's doing the tour.
Oh, very nice.
Kind of amazing.
We should go see that.
We should go see that. That'd be a great one too.
Let's go see all the things. I
Let's
wonder
go-
how much it
all
would
the
cost
things.
to just buy all the tickets.
So in the high school, which I went to, there was a drama festival in Alfred, New York, that we went to every year.
If you're looking for the list, it's that way. There you go.
Yes. So we would go to this theater festival, and you would take the show, whatever your spring musical was, and you would edit it down to whatever it was. I think you edited it down to a half an hour, and you put on your best 30 minutes, and you competed for prizes with all the other high schools around the state.
It's like the state fair for nerds.
It is. It is. And for people giving, hand jobs in the bathroom to a buddy they just met down the hall.
Potato.
Because you both love theater.
Right.
So, I don't know if that's a true story. That's just a friend told me that. So,
Hashtag asking for a friend.
asking for a friend. So, the first year that we went, and then then you as a collective come together, and the theater department of Alfred College puts on a show for you. And they put on a play called Veronica's Room.
Okay.
And Veronica's Room was written by the guy that wrote Rosemary's Baby and other horror stories. And I, to this day, have never seen another horror play put on. I've never seen horror presented as a play. And it was just delicious and frightening. And it's Ira Levin. And it's so well written, and the cast that we saw was fantastic. Their old age makeup was appropriate because you knew they were all like 18 to 22 years old, but there's an elderly cast that's elderly couple that's trying to like rent out the bedroom of their daughter that there's some mystery about, and it was scary, and just so much fun to be that scared in a live crowd where like there's people around you and you know there is actors on a stage, but they drew us all in, and like the entire audience was like scared to death when that show ended. And I was like, I just can't imagine how you pull off horror in live theater. You can pull off gruesome, you can pull off upsetting, but to actually scare you when you know, like, I can see the exit sign from here, and I know you're just pretending, like, I know that's old age makeup, but they got it done. And so here in the Valley, it'll come to me, I'll find it, at the Herberger, Veronica's Room is playing October 14th to the 29th, and you must see it. Like, honest to God, it's the Herberger Theater Center and the other troupe that they're working in conjunction with, which is the iTheater Collaborative. It's just and it's Ira Levin. Like, it's a really, really
Give me the dates on the Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes is
And where?
I have a copy for you too.
I actually have it in the living room.
Sean Hayes is October 22nd to November 12th at the Arizona Theater Company, ATC. Oh, that's in Tucson. In Phoenix, it's November 17th to December 4th. That's gonna be tough to get to.
We could go for my birthday.
I think I have to go to Tucson to see that because I think those dates don't work. I think I'm out of town for most of that run.
Which reminds me we have to update our out of town calendar.
Yeah, that'll happen. So I mean, just oh my God, Veronica's Room, and I was so excited to see that because I've never heard of anyone else putting that on, and I've never met anybody else that wasn't at that theater festival that year that had ever even heard of that play. Like, it's just been sitting in the dark recesses of my mind forever as one of those theater moments that I was like, how'd you pull that off? And the woman that was sitting next to me, longtime friend, and she was art director at the time, because we were sitting next to each other, and she was like, how the fuck did we just watch? And I was like, oh, I want more of this. Like, how does that happen? And I've never seen anything like it again. So yes, I'm in LA. That's it. So he just heard those dates. I'm in
Way to go, Aaron! I love that.
I'm in LA for Hedwig, and then I'm in the Niagara and the Buffaloes.
In the Niagara.
I'm in the Niagara and the Buffaloes. So that's
During
it for
what dates?
I'm here for Thanksgiving, but I'm gone all around it.
Look at me. I'm like, when?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But
We're potentially gonna have a new addition to the house at that point.
Oh,
And
no.
I don't mean another dog.
You're having a baby?
Not that either.
She's having my baby.
What a beautiful way.
Wrong.
Oh, how much she loves me.
I did not say that.
I sense some post-show conversation coming for this.
So that's it for what the little bit of entertainment we had was just those couple things.
Got it.
All right,
Kat,
two things.
go for it.
Number one, Americans, pay attention. Your government is about 100 hours away from running out of money. Read about it. Write your congressperson. I literally just found out about it a minute ago. I'm not even that
I
up on
just saw
things.
something, right.
Yeah, I just saw Elizabeth Warren just did a thing, so that's
Oh, you gotta
spreading
love
out.
her. Gotta love
I
her.
fucking love Elizabeth Warren. I can't even tell you how much. It's kind of embarrassing.
Yep.
But not embarrassing at all. I
I do
her a lot.
love the Mrs. Beasley.
Hey, Joey, I'm no longer in
kinda
the
makes
chat
me
room because
laugh.
my computers, all the things went dead. But yes, I'm going to be in Niagara Falls for a spell, so let's get together.
That'll be delightful.
fun.
And I'll be
Fun.
just off the Peace Bridge
By
for the
the
first
way-
part of the trip.
Oh, very nice.
Joey, the Marina, when you wrote us, that was very fucking funny.
Yeah.
And yes, the termites have been handled. Thank
Oh,
you.
Very busy.
But
I told you I
that-
passed along the
I know.
entire note to all of
It
them.
was
Very
one of the
nice.
funniest things. That was fantastic. I appreciate you.
Good night.
Go
All right,
Right.
pray
Fine,
continue.
Anyway.
fine, sir. I mean, ma'am. My bad.
How do you want your cheese?
Stacked.
Yeah, thank you.
Wrong.
Bald. What? I never said that.
Next time I'm gonna ask for it in stairs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Good night, Don. Thanks for joining us.
Government shutdowns are troublesome because essential services, like life-threatening services, don't get shut down. But
Parks.
you know, yeah.
Oh,
Parks,
yeah.
Like essential services, and then
And then
You
the
know,
veterans
auxiliary
things.
things.
Yeah.
How long ago did that happen? Were the
Two,
was
3
it
years?
2-3 years? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ted Cruz.
2013.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Ted Cruz.
Okay.
That was
Yeah.
his claim to fame.
Elizabeth
Oh,
Warren's
that's
statement
right.
says in less than 100 hours, the government runs out of money like they did in 2013. The Republicans are apparently willing to destroy thousands of jobs. But then I clicked on another article that was blaming the Democrats. Either way,
Well,
they can't
Democrats-
come together.
Yeah.
Like they're not coming together. And I want that to segue into the second thing, which is third-party voters for presidential elections. Friends, if there was a viable third party and none of the three candidates could gain a majority of votes and gain the electoral college, you know who picks your president? The House
Of
of
Representatives.
Representatives,
Right.
also known as the Clown College of the
Correct.
United States.
Of Paul
Correct.
Ryan.
Yep.
Almost vice rapist in
Vice
chief.
rapist
Yep.
in chief could pick a president. That's not an okay thing. Anyway,
Yep.
give up on your third party
It's-
guy
it's a
until there's a
real-
viable third party. I'm all about other
How,
parties.
there's-
I'm
how do
all
you
about
how
that.
do you guys suggest though that we talk people into that, because people are really
Well,
strong
I
on holding
honestly-
onto that, and I have not heard.
Well, and I don't think that I'm not 100% sure that the House has to choose from this pool of candidates.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
I'm gonna fact check that later.
Oh.
But how do we talk people into that? Is kind of lead them by the nose that way and say, hey, listen, like you're a third party guy. Like if we actually had a spoiler, which we don't this election, like enormous amounts of people that don't usually show up to vote would have
Sure.
to show up and then vote for the third party.
Right.
Yeah.
So all of the 42% of people that don't show up to vote would have to A, show up, and then 2, vote for Gary Johnson for it to actually be a factor.
Are we all four here next? I know I'm here next Tuesday. Are we
Yeah.
all here?
Next Tuesday, yes.
What's next Tuesday?
I'm just asking.
I'm
Tuesday.
asking. I know what date.
Oh, I don't know.
It's
It's
October the
Second,
fourth,
third?
Fourth. I'm going to go with fourth.
Yes.
okay.
survey says 4th.
Aha!
Perhaps not the next.
In
week,
charge of
but-
all math.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And if you're I will be back in the Niagara from I think December 1st through the 13th or 14th.
But anyone listening, someone will be watching.
Yes,
Hell's House.
armed Marine. And if you're listening to the presidential podcast and you realize during the 1800s, from Adams or Jefferson, there's third party candidates screwing up in how many times the Electoral College, the popular vote was not won, and it came down
Oh my
to
God,
the
it was
House of
kind of a lot.
Representatives. It's way more than you think.
Yeah.
Wasn't a new thing at all with the Bush and the
Okay.
Gore. This was
Really?
yes. This is
Okay.
this happens quite a bit. And a spoiler in 1908 or 1912, I can't remember which election now, but I think it was 1912.
It was actually only 2 presidential elections have been decided by
Quincy
the
Adams.
House, 1800 and 1824.
1824 is definitely John Quincy Adams, and the other one is Thomas Jefferson. 1800 is Thomas Jefferson.
And Aaron Burr.
And Aaron Burr, sir.
Sir.
I know that I know
In a
I
wheelchair?
s-
1800, ladies. Tell your husbands.
Fine,
vote for Burr.
fine, sir. Please.
I know
And
I said-
I don't mean her.
I know I sent the message out to all of you guys, but you were just bringing up somebody. You're in reference to the third party and the Bernie people and
Oh,
yada
yeah,
yada yada.
yeah.
I'm working on for next week's show to have her with us. A granddaughter of a dear friend of mine that I lost many years ago is back in town. She was. And I don't have a title as to what she was doing, but she was on the Bernie campaign, if I'm not mistaken, in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, great.
And when the Bernie campaign became the non-Bernie campaign, she came back home to Phoenix, and now she's working for the Arizona Democratic group, and she's all up in that. And I ran into her the other night, and I said, "Would you come in and talk with us?" She's like, "I don't think I'm going to be good on the show. I don't think this."
Can I
like,
give her my resume?
like you've already got.
Because we're so
You're
qualified.
fine. So I
feel
said,
good about it. Have you
she
seen
was
my
worried about
resume?
being entertaining. I'm like,
Ridiculous.
we're only really worried about. I said, you'll be fine because I know.
Oh,
her.
totally.
But the other thing is, I'm like, I would like to know, and I think some of our listeners would like to know a little bit more about somebody who worked on the inside of the Bernie campaign. What happened? How did it go? What were you told? How did it work? You know, what marching orders were you given? And now that it's over, what are the new marching orders? Clearly, she's gone on to the Arizona
Right,
Democratic.
so she did the right thing.
Right,
she
she
came to
did.
the Democratic Party, came here
And she's
locally,
all-
and is working for.
and she's all on it. But I just like to hear a little bit more of that behind the scenes of what happened with that, and I would just like to get a little different perspective. I thought it would be very cool. And I haven't reached back out to her, but I still want to get Arizona Senator Katie Hobbs, if she can still do it, to
Oh,
come
fun.
in before
Yes,
election
absolutely.
night. I just
Yeah.
think it would be fun to have her because she's
I wasn't sure if
a
that
good
got.
time. I haven't reached back out to her.
yeah.
I need to do that. But
That'd
I
be
just
fun.
the other thing with having Mackenzie Ewing is her name. Just she happens to be in town. I ran into her and I'm like, what in the hell are you doing here? She's like, oh, I came back to work for the campaign. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
so
Because locally,
on
there's
her.
a lot to fight for here.
There's a lot to do here, yeah.
It looks like Arizona has once again slipped away from like presidential politics, but Ann Kirkpatrick is still doing very well in the polls.
Yeah.
Joe Arpaio is not doing well in the polls.
Oh, thank God.
good.
So there's a lot to fight for locally. So it's one of those things where, last time in 2012, the last big election, we won the presidential and lost every other fucking thing down the line. Like,
Right.
we did really poorly here locally.
Right.
I'm not sure if I want to see it go the other way.
But believe it or not, we'd be better off.
We'd be better off.
But
our governor is not-
if we got to lose one or the other.
Yeah, but our governor's not up for grabs, so I think that's the problem. Like,
Oh.
you know what I
sure.
mean?
If you're not in the
Douchey is
chat room,
not-
Drew is asking if we will be doing an election day show. Hell yes.
Well, no, the fun question from Joey is, can someone marry me so I can vote legally?
Oh, we
please?
can get, we
Now,
can get
here's the
married in
thing.
Niagara Falls. It's the
This
honeymoon
is the
capital of
most
the world.
fun.
Hey.
This is the most fun answer I've ever been able to give on this show. Any one of us could.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
How
never
fun
thought
is
about
that?
that.
Oh.
How
It's true.
fun is that?
I feel like that would cause
And I
problems
think
for
Drew
me.
is border.
correct. And
I'm
quite frankly, myself.
I'm gonna
as
go ahead
well.
and bow out of that because I feel
And
like
Joey, I think that neither of us, Cat more than me, but are your type. But, sir,
now-
sir or ma'am.
Now
I'm
Drew,
just saying-
Drew
I'm
has
not
offered
sure how
as
to
well.
take that.
We have another
Well, I
border
just mean
adjacent
the-
listener
yeah.
offering. Drew has thrown his hat in the ring.
what's
there's
happening?
that.
Well, yeah, but Drew.
Yeah, he's near the
Oh,
border.
My bad. I'm like, Drew already is
is a fine,
yeah.
upstanding young man and could
No, but I
absolutely
was like,
marry Joey.
no, but I was like, Drew's already a citizen. I had not read.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I
yes,
see.
Yes.
Oh, you
of
thought-
course he is.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Joey,
He's my
if
kid.
that would have happened between you and I, we'd have to get there's gonna be a lot of bus parking somewhere because you're driving
Oh, that's
trucks
an
and
ugly
buses.
metaphor.
Yeah, I know, right? Wrong.
Remember, he drives buses.
park his bus in your garage.
My garage. You can drive your car on my block a few times, then park in my garage.
Funny how you all went there,
No,
dirty
very
motherfuckers.
wrong. Well, Al,
What else are we to do? Let's do thoughtful.
Oh wait, I got a couple pictures to show
Do you
you.
have some things?
Earlier in the show, those of you in the chat room now, I don't know if everybody was in there or not at the time. There was something brought up of a story that keeps getting sent to Kat.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
The
Jesus.
the dead cat purse. I want to make sure everybody could see this purse.
oh, stop it.
And remember,
So
these are
disturbing.
animal lovers. That's what disturbs me about these things.
So
it.
disturbing.
Now,
It's
this
real?
First of all, my mom just put a cat to sleep today. This is not funny.
Oh, honey, that's
I
awful.
know, it's
Well,
terrible.
but
I think we'll call
Christmas
her
is
tomorrow.
coming.
Think
The
what's
cat's
coming in the
name.
mail.
Christmas is coming, and it looks like you.
I know.
My mother
See,
would kill me. Are
by
you
the way,
kidding me?
time
My
out.
mother would make
Meow
me
Cow
into a
needs
purse.
to be the one that marries Joey. Sorry, Drew. I'm not, but there's a lot of buses involved.
Wow, Joey from Canada. I think you should have a little bit higher, really higher thought of yourself.
Seriously, like raise the dowry. Or
you
something.
can't marry me because you're out of my league.
Also, I think
No,
you just
he-
put
Wow.
Al down,
Yeah,
I'm out of your league.
I know,
which
but
I have
I'm
a problem
fine.
with. But I gotta.
hey, as
stick
long
up
as
for-
we're
I gotta
settling
stick-
that Al
I
guy's
gotta stick up
available.
for my
There's just a couple of years of difference between these
As
two
long as
garages.
we're singing the
and
lowered
then- well, and a
expectations
full head of
refrain.
hair and an awful.
Can we take the dead cat?
We're
down?
not done. If you all would
This is
shut
fucking
up.
killing me.
But I found on the same picture that I found the dead cat picture, I found
It's
another
awful, Aaron.
another taxidermy
It's awful.
project that had gone terribly wrong, and it's this one.
Funny.
Terribly,
Oh, here goes Alex.
terribly wrong. Terribly,
That's
terribly wrong.
hilarious.
Awful.
Because that was made by someone who spent
With
their entire
paper
life
mache.
claiming to be an animal lover.
Aaron did that.
That is
What happened with the mouth?
This
Is what
is-
I want to. Like,
it's-
what's going
There was a
on?
stroke.
Died yelling meow.
Cat had a stroke. Little kitty stroke.
I can't figure out why they dislike their
call, Meow.
clothesline
Good
that
call.
much.
Good
Because
call.
that thing
But-
is hanging right next to 3 T-shirts and a bath mat. Like what?
Oh, poor Drew. Wait,
not
time out,
okay
poor
with
Drew.
this.
He said, I'm staring at the cat purse getting
Yeah,
a proposal.
turned down. That's a bad day.
But I wanted
It's a
to,
bad day. I'm sorry, Drew.
but I wanted
Had
to,
nothing to do with
I
this.
wanted
Yeah,
to end
that's
this
funny.
sequence of,
And awkward.
I wanted to end this sequence of taxidermy that may or may not have
Good
gone
night,
wrong
Aaron, honey. Thank you.
with something that started us out so many years ago. Al, do you remember?
My absolute favorite because it was used to scare cattle, right?
Yeah,
To
something like
herd
that.
cattle or something.
The fur is flying.
The fur is flying.
What was that cat's
Oh
name?
my God.
That cat had an
Wilbur.
awesome name.
It was Wilbur or
making
Orville and Wilbur. Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
because it was
Orville.
the Wright
That's
brothers.
right.
It was the Wright brothers. Oh, that will
God
never
damn,
stop
you
being an
laugh.
absolute
Oh.
delight.
For
that
real.
Was, that was a funny
Because that
funny
person
show.
said they were
Hysterical.
An animal
an
lover.
animal lover.
Yes. Yeah.
Then bury the motherfucker. Don't
Right.
hang it on a clothesline with wings.
Incinerate it.
I'm with Jenny. Wrong.
It's just
It's not.
Not only is it just wrong, but the fact that they decided to taxidermy, put the clothesline cat up again.
Still.
That's the face they decided. The cat has light mange.
Right.
I hope they didn't pay for this
By the
particular
way,
taxidermy.
and has
No,
a-
no, no.
And
This
has
is
a
terrible
broken
taxidermy.
and has a broken back left leg. Obviously hit by a car, became an angel, and is flying.
This is not a good taxidermist right here. Do not pay this person.
Meow.
This one might still be in the
And
apprenticeship.
I can't tell, but I think it's actually missing an eye.
Oh,
Is
God,
this the
don't
work
close
they've done for you?
Fly, Robin, fly.
And
You
we're
gotta- you really have to take that down because that is
Yeah.
upsetting.
and we're gonna have political leaders on this show.
Oh,
She said she wanted to drink and party with us.
that's her own fault, really.
Yeah, the show went
Yeah,
off the
but-
rails faster than last night's debate.
All-
People, we were sent letters. This came from listeners at home that sent us this multiple times. They needed this topic addressed.
Oh,
Seriously,
sorry.
I-
I'm so sorry,
At
Aaron.
least
You
when I
poor
opened it
thing.
just now in my messenger, whoever sent that,
Trust me, I get it.
I've
Oh,
at
it's
least
awful.
seen that cat purse like 6 times in the last week. It keeps showing up, and
Yeah, but I've
and
not
occasionally because I will not comment.
Yeah,
like
I'm with
I
you,
open
yeah.
it, I look at it, and I close it. And a couple of times
who's
from
sending
people,
you this?
No, a couple of times from people that I'm like, we don't even talk in real life. Why the fuck are you sending me this dead cat?
You put all kinds of
As a
cats
purse.
on Facebook. That's why.
And I am
And
really
only-
with Meow Cow.
first
Why
of all-
must there be a close up?
First of all, I only Instagram my cats. I don't Facebook my cats.
Or stuff them.
Right. Second of all, I've never taxidermied anything in my life. I think it's weird.
Well, duh.
Yeah, kinda.
Third of all the people that sent it to me, and I would look at the message and then just close it and just walk away. One person had the decency to like circle back and say, "Oh no, I meant to send that to another person." Ha 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 ha.
Did anybody think about the fact that they're sending it to you because your cat?
Wrong.
Drop. Fuck you.
That's never occurred to me.
Did I ever
before.
tell you about my 10-year-old son who's
They wanna
really, really good with
They want
computers?
to make a purse out of you.
Oh.
I gotta go.
Stand by.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
You never know with those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, here we are.
Oh, I'm not ready.
Well,
I'm not.
Really? I thought for sure.
There's just so much.
menti.
Menti
Bigly
things.
question.
Bigly
Oh,
questions. Oh, come on. Somebody throw out a question. I'm just drawing a blank. Anybody got something?
Really?
All right. No.
Yeah, we gotta get
Oh,
something.
that's it. Flip through one of those books we've had for
Dear
4 years.
Book of Questions.
What do you do if you are adamantly opposed
Diametrically opposed.
Diametrically opposed.
opposed.
Foes.
to someone that one of your best friends is dating?
Oh,
Oh no.
I know how this is going.
Crap.
I have learned from experience.
By the way, this goes to Kat.
Oh.
We're gonna start immediately to
all right.
right.
To the right. By the way, I was just fucking with you, but
Plot
go ahead.
twist.
Oh, but I like that you shut him down.
Yeah.
But
It was
all
just-
right.
it
We'll
was
get
kind of fun
bullshit
for a
in, too.
minute. I liked it.
You know, nothing good ever comes of saying, "Hey, your girlfriend's a bitch."
Yeah.
So you
Correct.
smile and make nice and wait.
But what
And
if
G-
you
and then you have-
cannot
But you have to get out of social situations. Like you just have
Correct.
to find.
Right.
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to constantly make yourself too busy.
Yeah,
And
or
get your-
buffer, or invite buffer people.
Buffer people that
Yeah.
might like them.
Okay.
Like to double date.
what if nobody likes them?
To double date in that scenario.
You keep digging that
Sorry.
you're not gonna like any answer that's given because I know where you're going with
No,
this.
No, and we
No,
because
this
we've
is
all
this
done
is
it at least
okay
once.
because
I know.
I've lived in this scenario
I
once
need to learn
Yeah.
where
how
nobody
to
likes
handle
my
this.
girlfriend, and which none of them told me until after I was fairly thankful of. Which is, you know,
Yeah.
I feel like consider it like nothing good ever comes of walking up to a good friend of yours and saying, "Yeah, you're making terrible life choices with this person that you claim to love."
Sure.
Like that just ends a friendship.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that can't happen. If you like literally can't stand to be in the room with them, I like add buffer people, make excuses,
I
do,
threw
do
them
whatever
out
you
of my
got to
house
do.
once.
I'd like to.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't want him in my house to throw him out of, but
Yeah.
Then
No, but
I
there's-
say that's what he's saying. All of a sudden, things that were happening annually at your
Yeah,
house
I know.
don't happen.
Yeah, but that's the truly hard part.
That's a yeah, but you can't.
I know. No. And
you got to put
you
a lot
and I
of.
are in complete agreement.
And you invite them to a big party and keep yourself on the other side.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
And then let other friends trip on that
Sure.
noose. You know what I mean? Or if that's
Yeah, you
the
gotta
right
kinda-
metaphor.
you gotta spread out the fun with
the
that.
hard part is when you adore the person, but not the person that they're with.
Oh, and I think at this age we've all been through that.
No.
Yeah, but it hasn't been this hard. I'm 46 and it has not been this hard yet.
Well, no,
Like,
because
at
this is the
all.
first time you're trying to do the right thing, right?
Yeah,
Because before,
probably.
right, and that's
Yeah,
what's hard
you're
is now
probably
finally
right.
knowing from experience, like,
Yeah,
let
you're
that
probably
dog
right.
die, or whatever the metaphor is. I'm tripping all over him.
Let
But you,
that dog
honest to
die.
God, you really have to put a lot of people.
I didn't mean that.
But you have
That's
to let
all right.
other people, because if you invite other people in, one
No.
of them will make the mistake and say it
Okay.
and open their eyes. Just don't let it come from you,
Okay.
because no, there's no win.
No.
There's no good.
There's
that
no
will come
win.
from
comes from that.
Please,
Go
sir.
ahead.
Oh no, invite me. I'll open their
I
eyes.
know. Thank you. I was gonna say I'm gonna invite Clay.
I've already started that trail. You know, I've already started
Oh
that
no,
trail.
and that's the right thing to do. Like if you have somebody that you know is not afraid to do it and it doesn't have to come from you, then bring that steam train
Oh,
in.
I had a phone conversation with the person in question here.
Yeah,
I had a phone conversation.
Yeah,
and let
it's
them
hard.
know.
I know. And it just
Apparently, it fell on deaf ears.
Well, apparently.
Okay, so
Apparently. Well, okay.
what would you do if you were elected president?
Oh, I'd do it in the Oval Office in about 13 seconds.
Oh, well done.
Well, because I'm right by the bat phone. Bing. I mean, it rings. I'm there, but oh, you mean in general?
Did you mean you were gonna have sex?
Sex
in
in
the
the
Oval
Oval
Office?
Office.
Definitely.
We're hoping
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
I
else
was just
do you think I'm
confused by
gonna
the
do?
bat phone. I'm like,
Yeah,
wait,
wow.
Are you
Because
doing it with Batman?
everybody
by the way-
gets
He's a good
very-
finisher.
Huh?
Everybody
Believe
gets
it.
very upset with ew.
He
All the
brings
gadgets.
towels.
Kind of gloomy the next morning, though. I feel like he's a
Dark
one night
soul.
stand.
Uncomfortable. When are you leaving?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sun's gonna be up, and I'd rather be happy. Why don't you go home?
There you go. Could you leave
I don't want to see what's underneath the cowl.
Security.
Cat Carlson
Keep the
for
mask
president.
on. Gosh, those are. Could you just say that again?
Cat Carlson for president.
That's so nice.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's so nice.
I already have 3 votes. Go on.
Wow.
Yeah,
just
she's
saying.
Look at
campaigning
you.
while we're sitting here.
I have a campaign
Oh, I
manager.
fell down on
I
my
have-
write-in campaign again.
I have a chef. I have a chief of staff.
Yeah.
I have everybody.
I don't know. You know, I feel like president's too high. I feel like I can't wrap my mind around
need
president,
Jenny
and I
in
feel
my
like you don't do as much as president as people think.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You'd
Like,
rather be a
what-
director
right.
of something?
No, but what are you gonna do as president? Well, I'm gonna go to this 12-hour list of meetings that they've got lined up for me, and I'm gonna shake hands and smile and pictures,
Photo
and
ops.
photo ops, and I'm gonna have meetings and talk tough. But at the end of the day, like there's policy hacks and there's staffers and there's people that are making these decisions, and yes,
Speechwriters
and
and
yes,
everything else.
yes, it comes up to the president, and yes, the president is, in essence, a powerful person. But I think like what do you do? It's who do you bring with you, and what, like what policy people do you bring with you, and what trusted, educated, smart, very specific people do you bring with you?
So what office would
do
you
that
want to
job?
hold?
President of the world.
Oh. See, mine is mayor of
There
New
you
York
go.
City, because that's pretty much the emperor.
That
Oh,
is
good
the
call.
emperor.
What
They-
happened to mine
yeah.
inspector?
But you know what? State mine inspector.
We're dreaming a little bigger today.
Wrong.
We are going to go a little bigger. But you know what? I do, and I think about it all the time. I think you have a much bigger impact, locally. I think your mayor has more influence. I think your governor has more influence. I think beyond a state level or maybe the Senate level, I don't think I want to go higher than senator in this imaginary world, because I don't think you actually affect as much change as you think.
Right.
I think, and don't get me wrong, we have very influential presidents, and
Yeah, but you owe too
we
many people
think
too much.
fondly of them. But I don't think
To the victor
personally
go the spoils.
that I'm cut out for all that. I feel like I'm more of a worker and less of a dreamer. You know what I mean? Like if you have an idea, I can tell you how to get it done, but I don't have the idea. So I think something more practical and more work oriented would be more for me. So that
She'll
was-
be mowing the lawn with you
Yeah.
outside on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
I'm not much of a landscaper though. I don't have a whole lot of patience these days.
She'll be directing you.
You
Nope.
should. You
Not this
should.
boy.
I ain't got no boss.
You should see
Not
my
this
hedges.
boy.
There.
All right.
You
No,
should
thank
see
you.
my hedges.
I'm a
Sir.
little concerned.
No, thank you.
Calm down on your hedges.
Spent enough time worrying about your cheese before we get to the hedges.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, that cheese is a mess.
So you can imagine the hedges.
First thing I would do is I would instruct the entire cast of Veep to be my cabinet
Yeah.
and my entire staff, because I just get a kick out of Julie Louis-Dreyfus, and I'm like, well, she's got enough experience in there. We'll be fine. Have her do it.
Legit.
Fine.
Legit. I'm in.
I think I agree with Kat on the fact that I mean, if you're there and you're straddled, if you have no choice, you would then pitch and pivot and figure it out. I mean, you'd have no choice. But I don't think I would ever.
Like, how many people have to die in the
Aspire.
line of succession for me to become president? That's a
Right,
lot.
yeah.
I don't think I would have an aspiration that high. I agree with you. Like I look at things like I really like for the city of Phoenix right now. What I need to figure out more about the inner workings. I want to be the traffic light, street light guy. Like that would make me thrilled. If I could figure out why the fuck all this shit doesn't work and what's the priority level and how does it, just like a transportation director. I look at all the stuff that goes on. Like when I was just in San Francisco, you've got cable cars, buses that run on fuel, buses that run on electricity, trolleys that run on electricity. Who masterminds all that shit? I would love to know more about the inner workings, but literally just for local,
I think it's Secretary of Transportation.
it drives me crazy about streetlights. It really does. I don't like the fact that there's entire stretches of road that are dark and they're dangerous for various people, various reasons, whether you're driving or not. So I agree with you. I think if you go up to a certain level, that your individual effectiveness isn't quite as much. I think you can do more being somewhere lower, so you can be with the people, figure stuff out, and make changes.
I would Miss America that shit.
Would
I
you?
would, yeah. I would just go around
Elbow,
with
elbow,
pet
wrist.
pet issues and like just bring the spotlight there. You know what I mean? Just Brad Pitt that
Sure.
shit. Like you want to follow me everywhere, then we're going to Rwanda. You know what I mean? Like you want to follow me everywhere and you want a press conference and we're going to go have it in this place in this neighborhood and you're going to pay attention to what's going on behind me in this area, or we're going to stand next to it. Doesn't work all the time, but we're going to stand next to this bridge that needs to be fixed and rebuilt and brought to standard. And anytime you want to cover me, I'm going to stand next to this thing till somebody fucking fixes it. You know what I mean? Till we shame
Sure.
the senator, the mayor, the representative from this district that won't vote for the money for this bridge, even though we know it's not safe. Like, I would just seriously go around spot to spot and just use that spotlight to be like, and now we're going to look at this.
But you'd have to be a popular president to do that, because if you're an unpopular president, then you've just shit on that guy's district.
Right. But you
You-
would,
you know what
but
I
you would
mean?
help it. You would bring a positive. You would want to bring a positive message to it. Like you would want to keep it at stuff that needs to be done,
Sure.
stuff that needs to be fixed.
Right,
Make sure
stuff
that,
that everybody's complaining about and really wants to have fixed. And you stand there and go, "We're going to be here till Flint, Michigan's a great example."
yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
stand here in Flint,
Right,
Michigan,
spotlight.
till these fuckers fix this water. And if you want to be reelected, then you're going to fix this water.
Yeah, but think of the end of George W.'s presidency. Like, no one could get far enough away from that guy.
Oh,
like,
right.
W standing next to anything.
But you can't spend
was
your
fire.
first 4 years fucking everything up and dressing up in a
Right.
pantsuit
That's what I'm
and
saying.
standing on an aircraft carrier.
You have to be.
Or whatever that was.
You have to be a popular president in order for
Right.
your presence to bring
And
a
he had his
spotlight
moment. He just
and
peed
shit.
on
He
it.
did. Well, sure.
Like he had goodwill behind him for a good while, but then all he did was squander
Well,
it.
sure.
and-
Attack the bad guys always gets the people behind you.
Yeah. So I mean, you really have to. But I really think that's the way to go. Is just Miss America it.
For our next week, did anybody see the picture of Michelle Obama with
W.
W?
Oh, that was
and
so
everybody
cute.
it was adorable.
Yeah.
It was adorable, and so to end on a nice note, it was adorable. A lot of people think it's just that she was coddling him because he has Alzheimer's.
I always
But
said I would love to have a beer with W. I'll bet he's fun.
And if you haven't seen it yet, Hillary Clinton between two ferns,
Oh my God, hysterical!
proving
I sent
that
it to
she
you.
has.
Did you guys see that?
Yes, she
Hysterical.
has
so
a
annoyed by
really
that.
sharp
You
sense
were
of
annoyed?
humor.
I was so annoyed by that. I was like,
Why?
what the fuck?
Oh, but I mean,
my God, I thought it was
but have you seen other
hysterical.
episodes?
No.
Oh, Obama,
that's why.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah.
hope to have some extra special guests in studio with us next week. We'll see if that happens. We'll update you on Facebook. Follow along with us if you will. But until then, we're going to wrap up tonight's show
love you guys.
and leave you with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.